All right, lads. Welcome
to the Ponderosa party.
Oh, we're not doing that.
Let it go.
What'd you say?
What are they? Espadrilles.
Epidural. I said espidural.
Oh my god, you don't like espidural?
Espidural.
You don't like
Espadrilles
espidural?
are really nice.
No,
I love a good espidural.
Yeah.
She doesn't like.
The
Oh,
Chanel ones
espidural
are
can
really
really.
nice. I really wanted the Chanel ones. But
You don't like espidurals at all.
Oh, sorry, I pulled your cup even though you said you didn't want it.
Girl,
I'll have it.
It's fine.
That's all right.
I'm gonna send you a few good
Money
options.
up the road.
Thank you.
I'm gonna send you a few good because I think it is that the
She's
designer
seen a few
espidurals go
good
well.
ones. She's not.
Thank you
The
so
Chanel
much.
one.
The Chanel one, no,
I'm
but the
easing
Chanel
her
ones are.
into she doesn't like the front bit, so it's the ones without the front bit that she
Ooh,
can.
I think
those
they all
ones.
have it.
Let's
I like the
good
front
ones
bit. It
have
gives it
exactly.
character.
No,
Yeah, I
see
think
today's
all of
pod,
them
I
have
can
the
see
front
where it's
one.
going because
Do you
right now there's about
Cheers.
10,000 conversations going on.
I poured your cup.
No, let me just cheers with an empty cup.
Cheers, yeah.
Let's try and regroup and recenter because today's conversation is rather serious.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
So we can talk about Chanel and material girl thing.
Material
What we
girl.
done.
Sorry,
That was really like
I know,
loud
and I was
and
really
bright
trying
on
to.
the mic.
Sorry, girl.
Hold on.
Wow.
Sorry to the listeners.
No, not
No,
really.
not anymore. They were upgraded.
No, what? Oh, thing.
Well, and your cheers.
Yes.
All right.
You got to look in the eyes when you say that.
Oh, you got to look at someone's
Oh,
eyes.
bad
Shit.
sex.
Yeah, exactly. I can't afford.
What? Bad sex. You know,
Boy, then I ain't been cheesing for a while.
You haven't been doing the eye contact.
Oh, wow. Okay, so guys, welcome. So hi guys, it's just Gina here with Kahra, Bev, Christel and Sade, and this is Meet Us After 7. For some D's on that.
Wait,
All
where's
right.
the sample?
Please, Yusuff, you say. So our brother is not here with us today, so obviously we have now got our own version of
The Ponderosa party.
we're not
over.
having the Ponderosa party, but we're just here about to give you guys some black girl magic. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Love that.
So yeah, welcome. I'm not gonna do the formal introduction because I thought that we've been here and we've been gisting. So everyone's had a great day. Everyone's good. Some people are hot and flustered.
Yeah. Great day. I'm like,
Put the thing
Yeah,
back
I'm
on
like-
your body.
you know when you're like, give me 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So,
Loosen up.
but yeah. So, how's everyone though? Generally,
Good.
yeah.
Good.
Tired.
I think we had an intense day. To
Tomorrow's
be
going to
honest.
be even worse.
Yeah. But good.
yeah.
Managing, getting through it. You know.
That's what we love to hear. You know, us
Make that money.
just
Yeah.
surviving in this cruel.
We're
cold
not surviving,
world.
we're living, please.
I was about to say, you've started already on the road.
Oh,
Yeah, just come back from the day.
Sorry.
I'm just
Okay.
extremely jet
Must be
lagged.
nice.
Oh, it was.
I was about to say, yeah. That's a problem I'd like to have, to be honest. Jet lag.
Jet lag. Oh no,
Like,
jet
8
lag was
hours.
intense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was there for 2 weeks, so on the way there, I was
Okay.
already like, yeah.
Yeah.
And coming back, like the other
2
day, I
weeks.
woke up at 2 a.m.
I
and
saw
I didn't
it
go
on
back
your
to bed till
stories.
2 p.m.
How long does it take you to acclimatise though? Because I feel like it's at least, for me, it's like a week.
Apparently, it's a day for every hour you've gone back
Yeah,
or forward.
allegedly.
8
Is it?
days.
Yeah, so it says 8 days
I'm
should kick
normally
off.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
apparently.
It was. I thought you just had to stay up in the
No,
time
it's
zone that
a
you're in.
bullshit. It's a bullshit.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's a
work.
bullshit.
Because you're so tired.
Yeah.
Beverly's
In
like,
my head,
Yes,
like,
Sleeping isn't the problem. The problem
but I
is
don't
your
wake-
body feels like it's had a lot of sleep because your body says you should be up.
Yeah, I don't wake up.
Oh,
Like,
no,
you know when people are like, oh, I've got a natural alarm and my body just
yeah.
wakes.
No, the thing, I don't have a natural alarm.
No,
And
I
that's
need an
what
alarm
makes
to
me
wake me up.
No, I don't have a
Otherwise,
natural alarm,
I'll
which
be
is why I'm
sleeping.
shocked that I'm waking
Yeah.
up at today I woke up at 6
But
p.m.
2 weeks is a long time.
Yeah.
2 weeks is a long
I'd
time.
love to be able to do that. You know that
Remember
confusion, like,
Miami?
where am I?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember. I don't remember.
No,
You were
I
there
was
for
fuming.
2 weeks.
Oh, when it's
No, but
Yeah.
everyone had to
there.
do, well, when you were doing Miami when you were 21, you had to do 2 weeks.
No, but why?
Because you had to
No, I didn't
exhaust
do 2
yourself
weeks.
of that sickness.
No, but
I
you-
left early.
Yeah, but you didn't
I
do
went
that
to
much
Miami
early.
for
No,
5
shit.
days.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What, when you were 21?
What's
It
that,
came up on my
2010?
memories today, 10 years ago.
Oh,
so
gosh,
maybe
yeah.
I
I was 12.
That was 2021.
wow.
That was when everyone was
I've never
dear.
been.
Since we're here, Bev,
You
yeah.
haven't been Miami.
I know.
You haven't been Miami?
Can
Oh.
we relive to that lady's story? Because obviously, I've told them not to that lady's story.
It
But
does
she was
link
there.
in.
And it links in with what we're right now going to talk about.
Actually, yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so all I remember was, what club was it?
Was it cameos?
Cameos.
Yeah, because cameos did it to everyone.
They're rude.
Oh, wow.
So we've got cameos, we're in the
It was
queue.
Dream and Cameo, yeah.
They did it to everyone.
We're literally in the queue. Like, you know when you feel like, I look sweet today, like my hair been big.
No, but where are you looking sweet? Because sometimes you have to look back at the pictures.
No, honestly,
For the time.
For the time, I think I was either wearing that green dress here. No, stop it, Ruth.
Picture here.
The green one.
Were you wearing Jeffrey Campbell's? Oh, is that when you were still altering your
I'm
heels?
actually going to find them.
You need to stop it.
Was that when you were still altering your heels? So you're wearing it
story
to
really.
We're not doing this.
No,
That's
no.
not. No.
Imagine.
Because I've looked at
going to
pictures where
find
I went to
these
Miami
heels.
and I knew that I wasn't doing shit.
No, basically, my hair was nice. I had a bob,
Yeah,
Okay,
and
yeah,
it
that's
was a
Premium
leave
too.
out. It was a leave out.
Ooh, okay.
It was a leave
Oh,
out,
leave out, okay.
and it was like
You were doing
layered.
Ooh.
For back
No,
then,
your hair was nice.
okay.
Your hair was
Hair was
nice.
nice.
It
sounds like
Because
Can
when
I
you pulled
speak
up
to
at
the
pictures, I was
manager?
like, yeah.
Thank you.
No, your hair was nice. My hair was if I show you my hair.
And then Beverly, don't kill me because I remember your hair.
Can you please insert picture here?
I need to see it. I need to see.
I
what
need to
Beverly,
find
I
these.
remember your punk rock. You literally.
Oh my God, yes, baby, that's when you were
pin
still
it
doing
down.
Kelly Rowland.
Yes.
Yes,
The
yes.
fingers.
We had to.
So guys, really think about this one.
Hold on. Anyway, yeah. Have you found the picture? Hold on.
Let me
That
see
was
it.
our way to the airport.
Let me see.
I was wearing a Ralph Lauren polo.
And did you go to the Ralph Lauren store?
Yeah.
What was it called?
I did.
Dolphin
Dolphin
Mall.
Yeah.
And we nearly got shot up in the McDonald's.
What? No.
We decided
Everyone
to stop
looks so
halfway.
happy, and that's the main thing, okay?
No, you're rude.
Oh, Kahra.
I need to find the night that we went to that party.
No, please.
I'm not gonna lie.
I want to see as well.
Nice.
Anyway.
Give it to
I need
no,
to breathe.
Shoulder.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I feel like in the grand scheme of things, looking
No,
back,
I
obviously,
guess it's all right.
Don't point me out.
You know what it is?
look at Beverly's hair,
You know what
please.
it is? In the context of the conversation we're having, I can understand
Oh, is it?
why we were all upset.
Okay, cool.
Because when I look back,
Yeah.
as to the girls that were raining,
Yeah,
it wasn't us.
it wasn't us, sis. It was.
It
not.
was not us. It was those Latinas.
Yeah.
Them
Yeah.
Racially
Remember,
ambiguous.
Remember, it's
Racially
Miami as well,
ambiguous.
right?
Yeah.
It's Miami.
Latino.
so
That's why we were not
literally-
raining.
Look at you.
And you guys had one light skinned person. I had no light skinned person.
Who's the
on
light
Who's the light-skinned person?
the
Hannah.
end? Yeah.
No, it's not Hannah.
Is she not light skinned?
It's gonna have to be Hannah.
I was gonna say.
Either Hannah
the
or
person to the
Titty.
end. The sun is.
Yeah,
just
she's a bit
on
light
there,
skinned.
Yeah,
right?
Titty.
I don't know. It's just.
We had no light skinned person in our roster, so we were.
It's impossible for you.
I pray. Oh no, it's the sun. It's the
You
sun.
need to stop
I was
it
gonna say.
because the shade you're giving is
I'm
really
not.
Not tonight, ladies. No, in hindsight.
No, but Bev, how much maintenance for the hair though?
No,
It wasn't that. That's
It
why I
wasn't.
did it
Serious,
because it
yeah?
was the one that was already
Remember, it
curled.
was gelled. It was gelled.
Gelled.
And it was already like synthetic hair curly.
Yeah, but it was
in like a
waving all over the gap. So I had to get
synthetic hair. Synthetic. It's synthetic hair.
But that hairstyle that you're describing here.
it was like a mohawk to the side.
Beverly's hair was literally a mohawk to the side, but with pony.
I had the cheeks to do for my 23rd birthday
and
as well.
synthetic hair.
2 years later, so I liked it. I liked it.
Don't let them
You know
chat
what
to
it
you
is,
like
yeah?
that,
My thing
Beverly.
is, yeah. Yes.
Oh, you had like a
Yeah.
fringy.
Like a-
Oh, okay, I like
yeah.
I
that.
remember that.
Like you
Can
can.
I speak to the manager?
The thing is, okay, whatever.
No, it definitely is. Can I speak to you?
The thing is, yeah. At the end of the day,
Not Beverly taking a picture of the in-screen entertainment.
Was that my first flight? No, it wasn't. My second flight. It was my second flight. Was that Virgin?
no, Crystal, can you stop going through the pictures?
There's hundreds. I need
There's too
I need
many.
to find the heels.
No, I'm
I
not.
know
I'm
the picture you're
looking.
talking
I'll find it.
about.
I'll find it.
I know the picture you're talking about. But anyway, so obviously we've got Miami now, and
Let me see.
hold on, I need to breathe.
I need to see it.
I need to breathe.
You guys are bringing back memories.
Very pretty. It's even Was it this night that we went? That was wearing. Yeah,
Oh my God.
are those Steve Maddens?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, everyone loved a good Steve Madden.
Steve
though.
Maddens.
That's
yeah.
what I was wearing.
This was a nice
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
guys.
the-
Don't
The
be
colour's
rude.
lovely.
No,
The shoes were
the
the shoes are banging. No, the shoes
Yeah,
are
Steve
banging.
Madden.
Steve Madden.
Yeah, the shoes are banging.
No, so basically, in the grand scheme of it,
Yeah, that was
you
nice. But again, we were still not doing it like Latinas because they were doing
of
cut
course,
out.
but what
They were doing.
what I'm saying is,
Too much.
For the like in the grand scheme of things, considering the era,
Yeah,
and
this
the
was
time,
nice. This was nice.
I think I looked alright.
Yeah, obviously we all look back and think what we were thinking, but
No, in that era, it was working.
it was working. Yeah.
But
No,
we,
but some people could do
we
that
were not
outfit
working.
now,
The
to
problem
be
is that
fair.
we were not working in
Yeah,
that.
what was underneath wasn't working
Yeah,
from then.
whatever you had worn.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
What I remember,
Because them Latina girls were.
what I remember is basically
We were
right.
dark
So we're in a queue. We're trying to get into the club. Yeah, bouncer literally looks like we're a group, and he's just like, "Not tonight, ladies." But then behind us is these like racially ambiguous girls. You and you come through. So obviously we're just like raw, like.
Look, we were there the night before. But that wasn't the night the ballers were there. So we heard that night was going to be...
Like the celebrities, like the, you know what I mean? So
But we didn't go with Naquan that day. That was the mistake.
Is it?
Naquan didn't come with us that day.
But we
Naquan.
pulled up and we ended up, what did we do? We just went and
We
got
went
pizza.
back. Yeah, we got in the cab and went straight back.
Yeah, the thing when you got was it because I was in Washington, wasn't it?
Where?
Cameos, like the
Yeah,
end of
14th.
Washington.
14th.
So when you gotta make that, when you gotta make that journey back,
But
to
we're
South
like, we
Beach,
only lived on 5th.
Was
So
on
we,
On
you
South
know where
Beach?
the-
Yeah.
yeah, on
Yeah.
Ocean Drive.
I stayed on 6th actually.
Yeah, so we stayed in there's an apartment on the corner. So we stayed right
Wait,
there. So it
what was
wasn't
it
that
called?
bad. I have no idea.
Was it where they shot?
You know where the TGIs was?
Yes.
So on
Right
top of
there.
it was an Airbnb.
So strange enough, I was literally a block. That
This
same
way,
thing block.
going towards
but-
Wet Willie's.
No, yeah.
Was
keep
Airbnb
going.
a thing
And
then?
there's where they shot
like an apartment
Jersey,
that we
Jersey
got.
Shore.
Yeah, but like
Really?
actual
What?
Airbnb.
With the colours, because the
That
thing
whole
was
bit they
yellow.
shut down
I was
for,
about to say.
for Jersey Shore.
Got it,
So my
okay.
hotel, they changed it for them to attend into a big thing. And a lot of the stores next to it, they changed it for Jersey Shore so that you didn't see like where it was on South Beach. Yeah, it's
Man,
interesting.
But it was interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't enjoy that holiday. Purely
not?
because do you know what? Yeah, I think for me, not saying that like you want to go where you're desired, yeah, but it's like that stuff knocks my confidence. I feel like I've always been that person who, like, I've grown up knowing that I was never like first pick, right? Do you get what I mean? Being dark skinned, like even with like from my own men, and I grew up in a white area. Like the school I went to was predominantly white, so the black guys we did have in our school only went for white girls anyway. So it was always like,
No.
and this isn't like a sob
I
story.
wasn't there for the A skin.
No, piss off, bruv. Because
What is she talking about?
don't mind her.
My first boyfriend went to her school.
Cool, and he didn't cream his skin, so I don't know. I don't know.
Basically, that's not the guy you was checking for, baby.
No.
No. What I'm saying is that he like dark skin girl.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know, but what I'm saying is like generally speaking, the guys at my school weren't. Do you know what I mean? We was always the man them to them, innit? So I guess it's just been.
But isn't that always the problem? That you're always seen as the friend and the mandem.
Yeah.
You're just
everyone's bestie boy.
friendly, the friendly person, the wingman. Oh, tell her I like her.
You were the
person that went to go tell them that you like
your
them.
skin tone. And you say,
I think for me, yeah, it was the full package because one, I was quote unquote big. Two, I was dark. I didn't think I was attractive, and if I'm honest, I was reminded that I wasn't attractive. If that makes sense.
Oh, they made sure to
So
remind you.
people around me, like for example, like you just said, like guys, not like always talking about other girls around me or asking me to holler at this girl or do you know what I mean? And then even getting called names, like in my school, like the black boys used to bully us lot, but like because we're all like friends, you don't see it as bullying, do you know what I mean? But like they used to call us the boys, they used to call us
How
apes,
mad is
the
that?
lads.
Oh, wow.
Literally.
The lads, you know?
Yeah, like I had one friend in
Mixed school,
particular.
innit? Wasn't
See,
that bad for
I
me?
didn't go to a mixed school.
Neither did I.
So mine was mixed, and obviously,
Yeah.
and we used to hang around with the boys, so we literally
Mine was
would be
mixed.
the mandem. So like,
And you learn to become
and they were
that.
like, "What's going on, apes? What's going on, boys?" Like,
Pardon?
legitly, yeah.
That's mad.
Listen, so like we just.
And then, oh God.
I'm getting upset.
No,
Yeah.
but obviously it's like when you're younger, and again with me, you laugh it off, innit? You just see it as banter. And remember, I was very rude, and I gave as good as I got, so it was like tongue in cheek. But you know, like when really and truly deep down it's pissing you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very offensive.
You know?
And it's like you're going through puberty, like you want to be fancied by a guy, or you want to like, you know what I mean? You want to feel like you're attractive, because why not? But it's like, no one's checking for you like that. So it's like...
Boy, my first boyfriend felt like a fluke.
I shouldn't laugh, but...
When I bagged him, I just felt like...
What year were you in?
He was in year 9.
Okay.
I think it was. And we only got together because we were pretending that we were together to make someone else jealous. And then he ended up...
And then you liked each other by mistake.
Yeah, so then when he told my friends he liked me, I was shocked for weeks.
That is
I genuinely was like, what the fuck he likes me for? Like, like you, it was like, the concept of someone liking me seemed so far that I didn't even believe this guy liked me. And I even sabotaged that relationship. So it felt really weird to even have a boyfriend. And when I got with Nathan, even if he didn't cream his skin.
Wow.
You know what? Sorry.
Even
Nathan, man. I love you still.
Don't say sorry to that nigga. Even that felt very odd, because even when my friend told me, oh, he likes you, again, it still felt very foreign. The thought of somebody liking me felt very, very foreign. And it was still like, why are you here? Like, what's going on? Like, why do you like me? Like, there's these other light-skinned girls that you could be liking. Yeah. And especially when the person that likes you is Caribbean. I think there was also something extra in like Caribbean men not liking me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
None of them.
It was something
digged
weird.
me at all. They are the worst.
Yeah, and both of them were Jamaican, so it was really weird to have two Jamaican Caribbean men like me. It was still a bit like, why do you like me?
I didn't have that experience.
I don't know.
I think like with myself, obviously I'm a bit older than you guys, so the
How do you?
Yes, Auntie Sade.
I am.
Your auntie could never.
So like,
I mean, I am a little bit older,
than me as well.
so our era was a little bit different. So I think what we had, unfortunately, and what you're seeing nowadays coming out is a lot of older guys getting with younger girls. So that was my experience. So like when like 13, 14, and it's just terrible thinking back on it now, but dealing with guys in their 30s, that was like a normal
Trigger warning.
Gina's favourite age gap.
occurrence. I would say as well, just I can only really speak from my experience, like Caribbean, African wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
It was mainly Caribbean men just by who was in the country, in a sense.
No, Sade.
And then, no, but seriously. I mean, this is
I
like,
talk about the Guild DJ.
How old are you? How old are you?
Crystal
I'm
said,
31.
how
oh
old
yeah,
are you?
I'm 10 years on you, babe.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off, Sade.
It's Auntie Sade, bruv.
Seriously. On who, though?
Hey.
Crystal.
Sade, you should tell me to greet you properly when I see you then. You can't just be letting me tell you hi.
Good afternoon.
I should double it to you. I can't just be doing hi when I see you. Wow.
I mean, I was born and raised here, you know, so
you know what that's supposed to
I'm
be.
accustomed to your
I'm accustomed.
To your childish behaviour.
Wow.
But I mean, like, back in the day, it wasn't like being dark skinned was actually seen as a good thing. So I had light skinned friends who wanted to be darker.
When the fuck did it change?
That was really like, you know, they always wanted to tan, they always wanted to be darker. So growing up, although I had quite a traumatic childhood, when I kind of went through puberty, I was super confident.
Really?
I knew that my body looked good. And there was
So nice to hear, isn't it?
To be fair, when I went
At all.
to Napa, I was calm. I don't know when the transition was.
Beverly,
I thought
do you not remember how insecure you were?
Literally.
Do you not remember how insecure I was when
You
we went to
remember?
Napa?
I'm sitting here.
This is
Wow, when did
2008.
this change?
2008.
But I don't know when it changed.
Where did you grow up?
South London, so Wandsworth and Brixton.
Oh, that kind of makes sense though.
Yeah, I think
Because of the
it
cultural.
and it depends on like your community and like you're saying you grew up, you had a school, you were like predominantly white.
Yeah.
What do we expect?
No, legitimately.
They've been treating us like we're second class. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not good, it's not okay. But when you hear that, then it makes more sense as to why your experience was so different.
Yeah.
And then when I think about the boys in my year group here, I get it. Like, the school's predominantly white, innit? So you're seeing loads of white girls, and all the boys were going for white girls. So it's like, again, you're kind of watching from it's like, we're hating from the outside of the club because we can't get in. Bitches just waving like, hey, like we're here. But nobody ain't checking for you. And do you know what was really interesting? It was only when like So my school I had like a sixth form. And obviously sixth form was like people from everywhere. So it was only when I got to like year 10 and then like the sixth formers were from like Leighton, Hackney, like just off ends. And the man then were assembling. And then you'd hear whispers, this person fancies this person. Or then it'd be like, oh my gosh. Like it was only then that like it started to be a thing where you might be seen as attractive to someone. But generally speaking...
Brent, sorry, it's hot.
Really, thank you, thanks.
Brent.
It's a bit warm.
Literally, I'm about to melt.
I don't know why you lot are hot.
The menopause is upon me.
I'm in a hoodie and a t-shirt and tracksuit bottoms.
Yeah. To be honest, I'll drink it for a second.
But to be fair, you've been in Ghana for how long?
Yeah, it's true.
To be honest.
This is freezing.
But yeah, no,
yeah.
I think
If you came to Newham, you would have been fine.
Do you know what? And
I disagree.
No, and I was going to say...
Yeah, but you was in Kingsford. Like,
No.
And I went to Angeles after that.
No, but Crystal, if I'm going to be honest, my life changed. Wow, that sounds so dramatic.
When you came Angeles.
But no, when I started hanging around in Newham.
Yeah.
So
Canning Town.
100%.
Hotel 7.
Yeah.
Please, we're not going there.
We
We're not
actually
going
had
there.
beef. So yeah.
We're not going there.
I hear it.
Excuse me, hello.
I hear
But
it.
generally speaking, yeah, my life changed when I like started coming around Newham because there was a massive African community there, massive Ghanaian community there. It was like, and I didn't feel alienated. Like I felt like I belonged. I was among, you know, in terms of like a social group. But can I say, yeah, that when I think about it, even though like man them done me dirty growing up here and like have played with my insecurities, do you know a lot of my insecurities came from girls?
Really?
Yeah, I think women.
Mine was guys.
It's the same as like when we get ready to go out though, isn't it? It's like, yeah, it's so easy to, like my friend was saying that she's been with her partner for years and years and years, and she goes, if I put on that dress, it's the plainest dress, but because it's tight and short, he will be happy with that. It's like, it's more about that sisterhood that makes the difference. You get, when she gets dressed, she'll be like, I can't wear that. Like, a guy's not going to notice whether you wore it last week or whatever, but the girl, yeah.
I saw an article, one girl, she's been wearing the same dress for the last 8 weeks from Boohoo, black dress, every week. All she does is hair
Change,
up, hair down, hair back, and no one notices. And she still takes pictures, selfies.
Why not?
But it's only us because we grew up in that Facebook era when everyone took pictures, their cameras everywhere, so we don't wear clothes.
Gosh, remember that? You had to wait a week to see
why
where your pictures came back.
pictures from 12 years ago.
I found a picture the other day and I've got in the rave a camera. In my actual camera in my hand.
That was Beverly.
Everywhere. But now I don't take pictures.
When it was you, Charlotte.
Your camera.
That was rude.
She had Polaroids. Literally.
And big ass cameras.
Yeah.
Literally. That's true.
Say hi, guys.
Did you want it?
My friend has, you know the VHS tapes?
Yeah.
That's what you used to record them.
Yeah. Christel in the
barbecue. Like you said, adorant. Or they'll call it adorant.
Yeah.
They call it adorant.
To be fair, that's what I remember Ghanaians calling it.
Adorant.
Well, I'm going to adorant. I'm like, okay.
Name it, but okay.
I'm not going to lie.
But yeah, so you're saying women.
No, yeah, I say women because, like, okay, so for me, and it mainly happened, yeah, when I was going out with somebody. We're not going to go there. But anyway, yeah, it was like, he was very popular, right? And a lot of people desired him. And the crazy thing is, I didn't even desire him like that. Like, the way we got to... No, it sounds rude.
Name him.
It sounds rude.
You weren't shit. That's what she's saying.
No, as in, I didn't desire him in terms of his looks, if that makes sense. Like, it weren't even that for me. So I didn't even get why people were like... And again, like, I knew him differently. So I didn't know him, like, being in ends and the hype around him, innit? So when I'm seeing it, I'm just thinking, oh okay, but whatever.
What's going on?
But it was like, a lot of girls had something to say about me being his girlfriend. Who, she's not nice. Why is he with her? Like, and you know when you hear it all the time, and me, yeah, I just want to be my own little corner, innit? Yeah, I'm bubbly and I'm, you know what I mean? But you see, underneath all of that, I say this all the time, I'm underneath the fug of the family. I'm very fragile. I'm like I'm a flower. I'm rather delicate, you know? You have to pluck me with care, yeah? So when I'm out here doing, I saw your mum, I saw your dad, inside,
You're
I'm
crying.
bleeding, bro. Yeah. So everyone's just coming for me. And
Over this nigga.
literally. And I'm
Literally.
thinking, nah. So then what that done, yeah, and this is where what that done was, yeah, I then adopted this thing where like, I'm not gonna act like your girlfriend. I'm not gonna act feminine. And this is all part of my whole mandem like persona. Do you get what I mean? So I'm not gonna act like your girlfriend. I'm not gonna be like lovey-dovey with you, show you affection, whatever. Like if we're out together, people are gonna think we're friends. Or like we're gonna be playful and boyish, because I don't want it to ever be a situation where someone sees us together and it's just like, ugh. Do you know what I mean?
The
So,
judgment.
so then that's how I started to behave. And it's like the whole talking to your boyfriend and calling him bruv, fam. And, do you know what I mean? And obviously when you're young, like you don't see those things as an issue. But I remember one time where we went like, this is when we were both no longer in London, so it was in like Manchester. And I think I went to one of his games, and then his teammate said to him, he was like, "Is that your girlfriend?" And he was like, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "No, you lot literally are like friends." Like he was bewildered, yeah. And then that got on his nerves, and then he started kind of like complaining about my behaviour and how I was, and
That's messed up though. So, because if you're happy, not saying you should or shouldn't be happy with it, but if you were happy with it before somebody else comments on it, then
if someone just plants that seed,
then
they will run with
then
that
it becomes an
shit.
issue.
Yeah.
So then that
Yeah.
became an issue, and then it was like I was transitioning between being trying to be a girlfriend, but also being like this guy. And to be honest, I've not even gone out of it, to be honest with you, because even in my last relationship, it's like I'd speak in a certain type of way, and he'd be like, "Don't talk to me like that," and I'd be like, "Touchy," but not in a rude way, but it was like, "I'm not your boy," kind of thing. And it's like I adopted that, and it was like my
security.
right, because I was so insecure about how I looked. I didn't want people to like judge me, or if people asked me if I had a boyfriend, I'd lie, legitly,
that
right?
could have been problem number one.
No, I'd lie. No, not because. Not even if they're moving to me like this. I'm talking like in general
No, that's what I'm
conversation.
saying, but then
I'm
news
lying
travels.
Yeah.
because I'm lying because I'm in my head. I don't want you to be like, oh, she has a boyfriend. Like, how does
I
she have
get
a
you.
boyfriend? She's, do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
The
it's
things
like,
that people do when they're judgmental.
it's so magic, because it's only obviously as I've got older, I've realized that I used to like do all these things, and in the moment you don't see it as a thing, but it's like it's things that I'm having to unlearn.
That's so interesting.
Do you get what I mean? And it's mad, right? Because it's so far, not far-fetched, but it's like, why would you go to that extreme of lying that you had a boyfriend because you thought people would think you were too ugly to have a boyfriend? So to save that embarrassment, you'd rather just say you don't have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a powerful revelation, though.
No,
It's a powerful
literally.
thing for you to
I feel like I might
understand.
cry in this episode, by the way.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing it.
No,
And
do you know why?
I think
Because
I'm crying.
as I'm
You're gonna cry and I'm gonna get angry and go outside.
as I'm talking, yeah, I'm
You're thinking
like,
about it.
I'm not getting emotional, but
Yeah.
like I can feel it, like I'm, this
Like the damage that the
going
outside
on.
world does.
Black table talks.
No, 17 years. Like,
That's what we're calling it. This is what we're calling it,
bro.
black table talks.
It's horrible.
It's
It really
crazy.
pisses me off, actually.
But it's strange because I feel like I'm now reliving all this stuff.
When you have to
Really?
talk about it, and when
No, I just feel like I'm reliving being
in-
insecure now.
okay, same.
I think Corona's made me feel like that. Yeah, I feel like because I've become so antisocial because of like quarantine and staying home and just being in my bubble, and then you're on social media and you're seeing all these conversations and all these commentaries going on. I think it's made me revert back to like the 16-year-old that I was, and it's making me have to really question like what the fuck is going on with myself.
so naturally, you'd say you're introverted, as in like
I think I was. I think I've always been a quieter child. And I think I only kind of got extroverted as I got older.
But now
I think I'm going back to how I was. And I think the introversion was very much so because insecurities. And my two best friends in school were also dark-skinned girls. And everyone really made us the outsiders.
Yeah.
Like I remember
At school?
At school, yeah.
Really?
I remember one of my friends, she lost her virginity at 13, and that was like the biggest thing that happened in school. Like they would bully her, they would harass her, they would
You
make
know, we're
it
only
about...
the second year in your school, though, isn't
Yeah,
it? So it's
we were
only
the
2
second year,
years.
yeah. So they would make it everything. Like they made that one thing into everything. So they talked about her looks, our looks.
Got it.
And it was just like, we were just these 3 dark-skinned girls.
Association, yeah.
And just being hounded. And as it by women. Like it wasn't really by men. I think one of my most painful memories was by a guy, actually a Ghanaian guy. But I think in totality, it probably was the women that made that quite painful.
Bruv, do you not remember when people would go and make those websites?
burn
Obviously, this
book.
is the
Yeah,
burn books, right? But back
Yeah.
for us, it was like you make a website about a group of girls or school or whatever, and then you literally just be cussing everyone's looks in the comments.
Even the Bonds boys, they did the list and then they put numbers next to
Oh, my school
who
did
the buffest was. Obviously, no one can say nothing about me because it's who my cousin was. So
You hear that?
I was the part, like literally, I was part of the man then. But girls were like people got negative
Oh, I was bottom.
marks. Do you know what I mean? Like imagine seeing and you're -1.
I was bottom, and they said because
Girls-
I was dark skinned with nobody. Because
Oh,
they
they
said
even
that
had
my
the
Sorry, what?
So my
Yeah,
my best friend was above me because she had thighs and she had a bit of a bum. And when I asked, and like a dickhead, I even asked. I was like, oh, why did I come bottom? And they're like, no, because you're dark skinned with no body. And like they made
Explaining it as
I
well, the
remember, like,
audacity.
How old
Yeah,
are
and I
you,
remember
like,
they pick up everything. Like my back knee was an issue, like everything. I remember like I wore like a top once that was like non-uniform day. I wore like a backless, not a backless top, like a off-shoulder top, and they saw my back knee. Oh my God, that was a big deal. So after that, I stopped wearing anything that showed. There were just things, just all.
Yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
like, girls' schools loads so catty.
But I do get what you mean about identify. You do learn how to be. You do learn to be very male identifying
The
to
thing is,
survive.
I wouldn't have wanted to go to all-girls school. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, people say that.
Do you know why? Because I genuinely find women weird. Not in a no. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, but you only find
No.
them. Did you find them weird at 10 years old?
No, but I'm saying like when I met you lot, and I'm hearing the stuff you lot are going through in your school, I don't want parts.
Yeah, but
So
yours
that's
wasn't rosy either.
No, I'm not saying that. But even
I don't
like
think the
even
grass
as
is
an even
greener.
it's
No,
even
definitely
no, but
not.
even as an adult,
Yeah.
I'm saying women are weird.
Do you know
They
what?
Men are weirder.
Men,
I
No.
hear-
Weirdest.
No,
I hear what she's saying because I think I went through a phase of like not having many female friends at all
I agree.
because there was just too much
cattiness.
like
There was too much.
cattiness
And competition.
Like,
You're not competing with
I
men.
think like some men in particular, they can be a bit more upfront with you.
Yeah.
You kind of know where you
that
stand.
was a
and
narrative
that
when
sort
we
of
were
thing.
speaking. Now we're
But
up.
like,
Now we're growing up.
I love
Men
that
are
you
more
said that.
straightforward.
I
No,
love
no,
that you
no,
said
no,
that.
yeah.
That was
No,
the
it-
narrative.
Yeah, what's the narrative?
It ain't true.
Every girl would say, "Yeah, men are more straightforward. If they've got a problem with you, they'll just
but
say out."
I think
No, but I do agree with
In
that, though.
friendship, in friendship.
Yeah, no. I'm
No,
not
I
talking
do
about
agree with-
relationships.
yeah.
I'm just talking about as your
As a person,
person.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They
But
were
like,
more straightforward.
women, it was just really. I found it just really confusing. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like, are we
One day you're
friends
friends or one day
or
you're
not?
not.
Yeah.
Do you know
What,
what I
we're
mean?
And it would,
girls?
it
And
would
then
always
now
be
you
a
know
very
that if you have to question that,
Yeah.
they ain't.
I think that's.
Like-
I was quick to cut people off. Like till this
Yeah.
day, my mum's like,
What
"Do you
happened
not know how to
to-
forgive?"
Yeah.
I've got 2 friends from secondary school. Because if you're not my vibe, see you later. Like
I have none
honest-
from secondary school.
Like
I was still
I
friends
never
with
want
all
to
my
see them.
secondary school friends.
exactly.
I mean,
Never
I
wanna
would
see
say
them.
no, but
Friends.
we're not bona fides. No.
But
No, but them lot are bona fide.
I never want to see those people
Like-
again in my life.
Do you know what it is though, yeah?
Not one
I
day.
think for me, yeah, when I say
Don't like
weird, I don't mean that in like, when I say weird was the wrong choice of words, yeah, but I think it's just because, again, like, I was very insecure, right?
Yeah.
And with the guys I was around, they made me secure because I knew where I stood. You don't fancy me and we're mandem
Yeah.
and we're bedrooms.
And they'll protect you
And
as
I
a
can
friend.
deal with that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you're not, even if you are gonna judge me on my looks, we're not competing.
Yeah.
I was dealing on the other side. with,
Yes,
You're
exactly.
competing.
She's not good. I'm talking about people that I thought were my friends.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people bringing their bedrooms to my house to tell them who's pretty out of
yeah.
being that person.
Do you know what it is?
You
It
know
happened
what?
to me.
You know what I'm
It
talking
happened
about.
to me in primary school.
Oh my God.
So when I was in primary school, like the guys would go with the lighter skin girls, all the Caribbean girls. So when I got to secondary school, I was just like, men ain't shit. So
Still true.
the girls that I formed relationships with, but again, when I saw their shitty behavior, I was just like, you can't be my friend.
Yeah.
Like,
So like
see you later.
for me, it was hostels. So I left home when I was like 15, 16. I was in like the hostel system for a good couple of years, about 4 years in total. And I was the youngest, and like you literally had a choice. Are you gonna be mandem or are you gonna be a hoe? Like those were basically the choices.
No.
No in
Do you know what I
between.
mean?
Yeah,
So
literally.
it
I
was
can
just like, it was just really, I don't know, I just found it like really confusing because I wanted to like, you know, I wanted to explore my sexuality, to be honest, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that like
in peace,
my
basically.
Chest, like, you know what I mean?
We
Like,
couldn't do that
couldn't do that at all.
Caribbean
so you
girls
had to.
could. We
No,
couldn't.
I don't think not in
my school they were allowed. They could do
them
whatever.
And the white girls, them and the
white girls, I would say, and I don't want to like really
I'm under
generalize by race, but I do think it's more accepting for white girls to have
100%.
boyfriends earlier to
even in their family setup.
There'll be like
boyfriend to come home and say where. It's mental.
Like that wasn't a black girl thing when we was in school. Like, do you know what I mean? But
And
like,
it's not even a black woman thing.
Literally.
No, here, because I remember when certain, like, there was a rumor that one girl in my year group, she gave head to a guy, and like right now, if I heard someone
destroy you, bro.
Right now, if I heard someone gave head, I'd be like, good on you, sis. Did you suck his soul?
Did you suck it from the bed?
Yeah. But at that time,
no, that could destroy you.
And I'm gonna be honest,
Oh my God,
I
finish.
only thought that was a thing that Oyibo girls did. Like when I was a teenager, I couldn't fathom it being a thing in our community.
Yeah.
No, but I'm being honest, right? Because of ignorance.
As well,
it wasn't a thing that I feel like was spoken about. And it was always like,
But
in my school, it was always
don't you
them
think
lot.
it's good in a way that at a young age that was seen as something that, oh my God.
You're not meant to do.
Yeah, because
our family setup
I
and religion,
think
mostly.
I just don't like the judgment.
No, I don't like the judgment to do with I don't like the judgment, so don't like get me wrong when I say it. I just think in terms of any sexual act, if you think of like kids now and like how women are hypersexualized anyway, but especially black girls, black women, I'm glad in a way that it was kind of, I was aware that there'll be a time, but it's not now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that was a thing in my household when I was growing up, that it was kind of like, I could talk to my mum about anything, but I wasn't in a rush to go there at that time. And that's like, I think partly a cultural thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, in religion in the house, and fornication.
But it was just the reaction when there was
actually
a rumour.
happened.
It even happened, just
it happened to me once.
Or you were caught in the wrong place
like,
at the wrong time with a man. It could destroy your whole school career.
No, it happened to me.
A lot of that is to do with religion though, the shame and the like, I agree.
But, and then also it's like with the guys your age, it's just not the same. That's the thing. It's just like, my thing was always like, this is an injustice. Like, even though they're your age, this is not fair that I can't be the way my friends are. Like,
shut up, you was like,
I was going to say, you want to
say that.
Get
that. But I've lived.
Enjoy.
Fully.
No, I hear it. But I think the problem is once they did find one quote unquote hoe, they ran through that person, bro. And that was also the problem. That there was always that one, because it was so taboo for the rest of us, there was that one person that they would literally sexually abuse and violate and dehumanize.
And that's not even an overstatement. That's what's scary. Yeah.
You know, there was a 2 or 3 girls that everyone knew in all school.
Of
course. I got a t-shirt in my school.
Oh dear.
And I feel so bad because it's only when you actually...
Exactly, yeah.
But it's only bad because it's only when you actually realised her family background and what was going on that you're like, shit, like you people are actually...
I remember
sexually assaulting someone with issues, with family traumas.
Yeah.
And it's just like if you were just so open with everyone else doing it, then you wouldn't have to dogpile one human being. Yeah. It was just very weird.
I was about, I think, quite old really, but me and my cousin, we always used to go to like them, you know, those summer camp things. Like we used to go away like PGL for a week and stuff. And I think we must have been in secondary school, maybe like year 7, which sounds wild because it feels like old to go there. But anyway, we met this girl and she was from our area, funnily enough. She was from North, and then she ended up moving from the school she was at to my cousin's school. She was starting, so this was in summer, and she was starting the following September because of that. Because basically she had done what she had done and she had been so bullied, like ridiculed and just like torn to shreds basically. And it was a mixed school that she was at that she had to leave her school. Imagine that at 12, 13.
I can't remember any girls. Like all the boys, because obviously you went to a girls' school and the boys' school's around the corner, but the boys used external girls to do their thing. And because I was part of quote unquote man them, I would go with them. They would go into the toilet one by one. They're all getting their shines one by one. And then the girl
shines that showed our age.
She'll get on the bus and go back to the house. And then maybe a month later, 2 years later, she's back again.
So
I'm like, brother.
In our day, it was like, well, in the hostel, it's just so, the thing is, the way we're so desensitized to stuff at those ages is insane. Because literally, like, I had a friend and she just disappeared, and she had been, like, it was called Beirut at the time because of the Iraq War and stuff, and literally you get taken to a house and then everyone runs to you and you can disappear for a while. You can disappear for a couple of days, but that was like...
Fucking mental, isn't it?
Like, it'll be like, okay, she'll be back on Wednesday. Like, do you know what I mean?
And no one
saying nothing.
Yeah, it's mental.
We just didn't know, you didn't even know any different, because like, I guess in my situation, there weren't parents around, there was no rules, do you know what I mean? Like, no one could really tell us anything.
Like mentioned that to, you know, a parent or an adult, a couple of things could have happened. Maybe they would think you've got it wrong and you're confused and that's impossible, it can't be true. Or there would have been concern, or like it would have been a different story. But like either way, an adult would hopefully in that situation be like, what the actual fuck?
If they had adults around them that cared, and that was...
What about police?
But I'm saying if you had mentioned it, or like I know if I had mentioned something like that to my parents, it would have been like...
I wouldn't even mention it because one would be like, why did you know?
Well, then there's that as well. So what was your involvement?
Because remember, especially for me, I felt like back then it was like you were guilty by association. Like
100%.
Your friend did this, that means you're doing it.
My dad always used to, up to now, by your companion. No. Yeah, but you know, you know what I'm trying to say.
I'm not.
Fuck together.
I'm not mentioning a peep.
No, you have to be quiet. Oh no, and I remember. Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna cry. But I remember like back in the day, because my family didn't have much money. My mum bought me like a set. You know the sets where you could get like the backpack, the gym kit bag.
Yeah.
And it was by head.
Yes.
And then you remember in Stratford there was that
but that was cool.
Place.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of buying a jumper that had 69 on it. I didn't know what it was. I was 13 years old.
I wouldn't know that.
And I remember, I didn't know. And I remember someone being like, well, that's how you know she does it, because she's got her jumper at 69 and her bag said head.
Also, 69 is cool when it's written, you know, as a number.
I refused to wear that bag after, and I couldn't explain to my mum why.
Then she spent her money on that bag.
I'm about to cry because I couldn't explain to her why I can't wear it.
She just told you, take the bag.
Yeah.
And she took her money to buy it.
Yeah, I refused. And obviously we didn't have much money, and I think that was even like...
I was about to say, those bags were it bags. They were it bags.
It was like £20 for like 4 different bags. So my mum was like, but that's a gym kit. And I could not for the life of me bring myself to wear that hoodie or that bag, all those bags ever again.
People
because
are
it was
so
just
wicked,
that one comment was like, I lost my virginity at 18.
Was that a girl or a boy?
It was a girl. I lost my virginity at 18. I had no interest in guys because no one liked me anyway. So you're just coming up with these lies. I'm like, I wish I was.
Yeah.
Like, I really wish there was a nigga who liked me enough to fuck me right now.
I'm trying to...
Like, I wish a nigga would. Honestly, I wish a nigga would.
18.
So I was in love in sixth form, boy.
And the thing is, I lost my virginity in uni.
Do you know what?
I didn't do anything.
I finished junior virgin. That's what I...
and my friend was like,
what's that, 21?
What did you do in uni? I was like...
Study my books. That's what my mum sent me there for.
No, but you left the house, everything, so that's why people questions. Yeah.
Right.
That's really good. But yeah, man, school, fuck that. But
I love school, honestly.
Do you know what? Yeah, I feel like I was thinking about this today. Like my experience was, and I was like questioning myself, like what is it within me? And I don't want to say arrogance, but I think there must have been an element of that as well, because I was well aware that to a lot of people, I wasn't desirable in that way. But it was like, that's a them problem kind of thing.
No, I respect that. I wish.
You know what?
I wish I had that.
And I definitely, I can't really think of another way to articulate it other than arrogance. And it was like, And I remember literally like, as a kid, when I was about 12, like one of my best friends, she said to me, like, you know, like it's really special, the relationship you have with your dad as well. Like you're close to your mum and your dad. And that was the first time I really pennied it. But my dad, like, when he used to get me ready for school in the morning, it was like drummed into my head. Literally. Don't even go in there thinking you're on the same. You're not. You're not the same. You're not the same as them.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. You're going there for one thing only, which is to learn. Exactly. Yeah. Anything else that happens outside of that, we don't care. Literally, so for me, when I went in there, it was like, I was aware. I knew what was happening. I knew that this person, that person, a lot of what's happening here is whatever you can't really understand and you can't put your finger on it, a lot of the time, that's going to be to do with you being, and my dad used to say, you see that little black skin of yours? And that's what he used to say.
My dad's straight.
Yeah, so I was aware of that. And so, because it was drummed in at such a young age, it was like, I knew all of these things. I knew that to that them lot, those dumb lot, that I wasn't desirable, but it wasn't.
Black folk, we were on the top table, getting our A's and whatever. It wasn't until uni then I realised, there's other people in this world.
I love that though, because I was talking to one of my other friends before, and like we realised the difference, because again, she's very confident, and like men have never had her in a chokehold. Me, on the other hand, Jesus Christ. Yeah. They stay having my ass in a chokehold. So we were kind of like talking about like how we kind of were raised and stuff. And I realised that, again, like you said, her dad played a massive role in her like upbringing and continuously drummed it into, and she was like how they used to drive on the way to school, and her dad would like, there'll be boys who'd be like, you see, look at these stupid little boys. Like he literally would these boys and be like, you see these lot? Don't like literally. And she was like, so from young, her dad made her confident and she had this kind of power in her. So it's just, she grew up with that. And I was like, well, okay, I didn't have that. And I feel like that's probably where the lack comes from, if that makes sense.
I think that's another reason why I probably give black men so many chances, because in my head, I'm like, my dad gasses me to the maximum. What's wrong with you lot? Because at the end of the day...
Oh, no, you don't give chances. Beverly, you don't give chances.
No, but as in, I still allow room for someone to do something. Do you know what I mean? I give chances to men more than I do to girls.
But I mean...
Exactly.
But I do feel though, because you, like... you don't have a high, I'm not going to call it a pain threshold because that sounds really bad.
Yeah, no.
But do you get what I mean?
An emotional pain threshold.
But I have a lot of patience.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So
I'm working on my
patience, I think, comes from my dad. Because if you meet my dad is calm and collected. But like you said, from year 2, I remember, teacher, you always used to get on me. He said, the reason why she's getting on to you, you're black, you're white, and she's upset because you're so smart. So me, Michael Boateng, Daisy Boateng, we were the top of our class. That woman hated us because to her, why are the people that look like me not top of the class? So from primary school, like literally, it never changed. Like the top of the class all the time were people that looked like me. So I'm like, yeah, sailing. Then I got to my uni. Then I realised there were white smart people. Do you know what I mean? Like, then that's when I think...
You're like, oh.
And that's where my insecurities then was like, so I'm not number one anymore. Because again, I'm taken out of... And that's another reason why I didn't want to go to my uni. But that's one thing my dad always said though.
But I think the important years had happened. So
exactly.
You had been established as...
Yeah, and I think I always expected men to just be like my dad. Like, I'm not saying my dad is the greatest guy, but... 100% gasses my brother. You know, some people always say dads don't have, but we'll go to school, he'll play like Nas, I Know I Can in the car. Like, my dad took us to school until I was 17. What's that? What's the first year of sixth form? Literally, we'll be the first one at the gate. Me and my brother, he drove us to school, playing shoes in the car all the time. He's like, do you know why your brother did well these GCSEs? Because of the Nas song. Nothing
to do with hard work and study revision.
No, literally. But he's like, you see, like you can always, anything you put your mind to, you can always do it. You can do it. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I always say. I loved school, and no matter what the guys were doing or girls were doing, I had my intelligence. So like you said, you niggas ain't shit. You can cuss me, call me black, you can call me this, but I'm the one walking away with an A in maths whilst you're there like
struggling.
Can
you read?
Do you see? Exactly my point. But then, if you got to uni and then you realise there's a bigger world out there and
it just crushes.
Do you see what I mean?
My stepmom in my house, I grew up with my stepmom and my dad, and my stepmom basically drummed into our heads that no one, unless they're Yoruba, just don't worry about them. So I had a really warped sense of like
Yoruba
other
only.
people.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Because it
The
was
others.
and my dad was an imam and he was well respected in the community. You know, like I went to madrasa every Sunday, had a congregation of people. So it was like we knew that he had respect. Like some people's mums, some of my classmates, their mums would work in Sainsbury's and they'd have to get out and kneel down to him.
Wow.
So it was like to have like, I think that really made me understand that, you know, you can be respected in your community and stuff.
Yeah, and that's what's important.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I actually respect that, like, because I think that is what, like, any community, it doesn't matter about whether it's to do with race or to do with whatever it's to do with. If you're respected where you're loved, I think that's the most important thing. So looking for any of that outside is where like insecurities start to seep in. And it sounds like you laughed a little bit and it sounds like extreme, but actually when you're dealing with young people and you're teaching them, it has to be very black and white for people to understand. Fucking respect
I think
it.
I took that respect and being respected thing a bit too far though. I think, no, because for me it was just like, well, after I broke up with Nathan Erskine, I was just like,
Man's doing full government names. Yeah, man.
My brother would be like, government?
I was just like, I'm gonna make sure that he's never gonna get a girlfriend smarter than me, makes more money than me, respected than me, and I think I've taken it too far.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
No, I have. No,
but
internally.
Because
for me,
it's almost like you're hiding behind it.
Yeah, because it's like,
rather than
the minute I feel like, it's when you go to uni and there's someone smarter than you, like, shit, and I went to King's. So you're with people that are smarter than you, richer than you, do more things than you, well-rounded than you, and you're like... Ooh.
That's when I realised white people were rich.
Yeah. And
That's where I'm from.
Yeah, honestly.
They were not rich.
Honestly, like, one of my classmates, his sister married, like, one of the heirs to, like, the people that built the Russian railway.
Where are they now? Because
Sis was wearing... She got married.
sanctions.
No, they live here. They're not Russian.
They're not Russian.
They're not Russian. Maybe they are. No, they're from Azerbaijan.
Got it. Nice.
And sis, Azerbaijan's like, but sis was wearing lubes to school, carrying shit. That's when my world was like, people. Like, when you meet international students,
it's mad.
Yeah.
But I think, no, the reason why I say I took it too far is because then achievements became my identity. And it's something that I'm even having to break now. I was even talking to Gina earlier. It was like, achievements become my identity, and if I'm not achieving, I don't feel like I'm worth anything.
100%.
Because you're basically put everything
and
inside.
so, but
exactly
that's trickled into everything, because that's achievements to everything. That's achievements with how far can I take my body. That's achievements to everything that I can control.
But that's something that is like, unfortunately, it is just what it is. Like, in order to do anything, you had to be the best at it. Even in school, just to achieve or even be recognized as mediocre or even acknowledged, you had to be, and that's another thing. And this is something that I kind of battle with, because I think, you know, with these getting ready, doing my tie, these same talks that we used to have, it used to be like, unfortunately, in fact, I don't even remember him saying unfortunately, but the fact is, you're going to have to work 10 times harder. And whilst it's true, I think about this all the time. Whilst it's true, it's so unfair. And what I'm trying to achieve from my kids, if I have them, is that they can be mediocre as fuck if they want to. I want them to be able to revel in mediocrity.
And I just make a phone call.
Because I think the problem is, in our situation, all of us, it's like we didn't have that choice, really. We didn't have that choice. My parents definitely didn't have that choice. So if my kids are thick as shit, if they're thick as shit, I want them still to be okay. I want them still to be okay if they're thick as shit. If they're extremely intelligent, don't be fucking lazy and get off your ass and do what you can do. Reach your potential, but I don't want my children to be at a disadvantage to their peers because of whatever it is. So that's why I feel like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I want them to be able to be.
I get what you're saying.
Without the pressure.
But the only reason why that can happen is because what you've done. You haven't been mediocre. So your kids, can be because
of
our white counterparts.
I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it.
You don't, because I feel like that's a problem. It's kind of going in a different area, but it's a problem with like a lot of like millionaires and billionaires now. Their children,
that's what I'm saying.
They just don't have any drive, no ambition, no nothing. And you know, if they had all the money at this point, they would just squander it.
Oh, let me tell you now, I'll be a mediocre bitch.
I agree with both of you, but yes, Sade, because I know that I'm working my arse off, right? And it's extremely hard and tiring. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not doing this so you can come, you little shit.
Is that?
I am. I really am.
The thing is, you could do that.
This is generations of hard work.
Do you see what I mean?
No, but I'm saying
I don't think it breeds good.
I still.
But even if you don't do it, they can still end up
let
like
me
little
experiment.
shits.
I'll let you know how.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, they can. You
But-
don't want them to suffer. You want them to be in like
And this is
some
another
sort of
thing.
luxury.
So people,
but please, like at least
I don't
have
want my
common
kids.
sense.
I want my
You
kids
don't have
to
be
work hard for their
academic,
money.
But
why?
at least have a vocation. At least have a good work.
I'm not
ethic.
saying that they
People don't
shouldn't
care.
do that, but what I'm
you
saying
can,
is,
but what she's saying is the attitude of you can be mediocre. It doesn't mean that you are mediocre.
my
but
kids ain't gonna be
we're
mediocre. It's
constantly
impossible.
No, because I get your
No,
point.
she's saying about trying to feed
Our
it into
brain
them.
power. No, but because I get what you mean, because our brain power is always at this.
Yeah.
And the minute
Because
that you're
you have
not
to
at
be.
this, your anxiety kicks in, you think you're failing.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're someone that just coasts on here and you're achieving what you can do on here, but no one tells you that this isn't excellent, you're okay.
That's why I work.
It's because we've been told what excellent looks like.
Yeah.
Whereas white people are not taught what excellent looks like.
Because
They're
they're
just taught
the
this
norm
is what
of
you do.
you're
They can
fine.
see, but they can see what excellence looks like. So for example,
then-
Bill
but
Gates.
no,
but
And it
that's not
always looks
excellent.
like them,
That's not even, no, but I think that's
I
not
don't
even
know, man.
excellence to them.
But
This is
What,
why.
I also forgetting
Bill
though,
Gates' children.
that obviously white people have that privilege that we don't know.
Yeah.
They can.
They're allowed.
They're allowed to not have this stuff injected.
They're
into
allowed.
them.
Yeah.
But how
my
do
kids
we?
will have
Yeah,
I
and
don't
the
think
only
we
way
should
we
get
could do
complacent.
it.
That's
No,
all
I'm
I'm
not
saying.
saying that, but
Because this ain't our country. Let's remember.
Sis.
yeah, but I'm not saying they have to do it here.
That's what she was
But
saying.
if you
yeah.
can't, if you're not excellent, then you'll be stuck here.
Not necessarily.
No, but that's the thing. I disagree. I don't think it is. Do you know what? I think one thing is, especially working in music, I work with so many mediocre men, black and white,
Yeah. It's mad.
that it's like, wow.
Literally.
Every conversation we have, she's just like, men are not. What's the
They're not impressive.
They're not impressive. She's like,
They're
not
impressive.
Shania
No,
Twain.
not impressive.
She thinks.
How did
Men
we
are not
get here?
impressive.
I agree.
Every
They're
night.
not.
No, I don't anymore.
They're
Now,
not.
I'm just
once I
saying.
got
like,
the
every-
realization
They're
that
not.
men are not impressive.
Exactly,
yet.
and that's what we're saying.
They're not. Why?
I
Because they
agree.
exist.
They are
No.
not, because they
It's not enough.
exist.
No, they've already.
The propaganda that we were sold is that they are so impressive.
Yeah.
I am not eating that propaganda anymore because I've
Thank
spoken to
you.
enough
Spit
of
it
them.
out, girl.
I've worked with enough of them.
Yeah.
I've dated enough of them to
Honestly.
realize
They
you
were-
are
We've
not the
always been
impressive
smarter.
one here.
We've always been smarter.
Yeah.
So
You're
I've
not
never.
the
I
Why
never-
allow ourselves to be
Because
be
you're-
brainwashed with
Yeah.
this nonsense?
But because
Yeah.
it's something different that
It's
you're looking
enough.
for. It's because
It's
of something you're
enough.
different. You're looking for the
No.
companion.
Like, they'll tell you
so jarring.
They've
Yeah.
been allowed to live this way for too
Yeah.
long. It's enough.
Kill them all. I'm joking.
The reason why they're mediocre is because they also learn their own PR. We don't learn our
Yeah,
own PR.
our parents.
We're not our own PR. We're not our own natural born PR machines. Men are, so they can be as
Just existence enough for
as
them.
they-
Possible.
Like, I was on a phone call yesterday with a
supposed to be
lawyer
impressed.
of
Yeah.
an artist that we've signed, and why am I on a call telling you why your document doesn't work? Something that you've drafted, I now have to take time out to tell you why this doesn't work. Something as simple as, I don't even know who this person is that you claim you entered into a contract with. Like, is this a company? Like, do they have an address? Do they have a company name?
These
Who the
times you've got
fuck
your
have
own
you-
job to do.
Who have you
I
contracted
did
with?
it.
What's crazy is I was having this conversation with my mum literally today, maybe 3 hours ago. She was away, she was on training, and to do with her job, she works with judges. And every time I ask her, she's like, oh yeah, I'm just helping one of the new judges. Why are you doing that?
It's above my pay grade.
Yeah.
Are they paying you for it?
It's because naturally, remember, as women, we're very not even, I don't even think maternal is the word, but
Nurturing.
we're nurturing, right?
Yeah.
So
We're conditioned to
believe that like we have to help, like, you know, it's the right thing to do. And
Not at work, honestly.
Do you know what? It's jarring.
Even when people like Microsoft tease me, lunch break.
Lunch break.
Please. I'm already stressed about what I need to do. You want me to add your... No. Lunch
Do you know
break.
what it is as well?
Focus
It's like
time.
they always think, she's going to tell me, but like, that there's something that you can add to this. Sometimes just shut up. Today, I was at work. Today, I went to work. And I only work part-time in it, so it's good.
Oh, I love that for you, sis.
Yeah. Well, no, the rest of the time is a lot, but yeah. So I've gone in, and the way it works is like other staff are rotational. So my manager's gone to me, like, hi, Cara. Do you know everyone here? And I was like, it's only X, I can't even remember his name, that I haven't met. And then he was like, hi, we didn't. Have you met blah, blah, blah? I said, yeah, that's why I said it's only. There's nothing you can add here. Like something simple like that. You've asked me a question, I fucking answered it.
Move on.
Like you think you're so smart.
Yeah.
And you know when you're like, on your fucking best day and on my worst,
I'm still better than you.
I already know that the basic level of intelligence, because I wouldn't ask you something that dumb.
At all.
Like,
I don't care.
and you know this was at 8:33, considering I started work at 8:30. Do you know what I mean? Like,
very specific.
He was bored.
Yeah, like, shut up.
He wanted to do something.
Do you know what though? On this on this topic of men not being impressive, I remember I was in Ghana and I went out to eat with my friend, and then his friend came, and then we happened to talk about weight loss. Like it came up in it, and I'm gonna be honest. Whenever like people
Was it the
talk
day
to me,
when I was there?
No, you weren't there.
Oh, 'cause that conversation was hellish.
no. When we talk about when it comes to like talking about like what I do and stuff around like people I don't know, I never speak up. I never say what I do. I just sit there in it. Like I'll act like I don't know in it. So my friends, we start talking about food and diet. And
Are you sure I wasn't there?
No, sis, you
that
wasn't.
conversation also happened that time as well.
No, I told you about this conversation.
No, that day that also happened.
No, it wasn't that day.
Okay.
So then he's coming and then my friend's like, we're talking about food and diet, and he was like, he just came back from some exercise thing and he's lost like 100 pounds. He's lost like a lot of weight, and I was like, that's really amazing. Like, I'm so glad you've done it, whatever. Then we started talking about boxing, and then he was just like trying to correct me on certain things. And then I thought, you know what, yeah? You don't know what I do. So I'm not one to be like, I know, like, I does this, innit? So,
And that's where you're wrong.
and I just let him have his moment, yeah. But he was rambling on and on. And you know, in my head, yeah, I'm correcting him. So he's saying, I'm like, no, nigga, you chat shit. No, that's not right. Like, I'm literally in my head, just like, nah. And I thought, I'm not going to do what you're doing right now because you're like trying to argue with me. Like I said something, he was like, no, that's not, talking about like, do you know what it is? It's this dumb, okay, not dumb, but like this whole misconception of, you need to do loads of cardio first to lose fat before you start doing like weightlifting to build muscle.
Still,
and I'm just like, big man,
still.
that's childish. Like if that's what if in 2022, with the amount of information out there,
How do they think girls are keeping their weave straight?
If that's what you're still thinking, then it's childish, innit? But whatever. And I was just like, oh no, but you know, it doesn't. And then he was like, no, but trust me, I've lost. I said, okay, sir, you've lost 100.
I'm happy for you.
Happy for you, have your moment. Then we started talking about boxing and was just like, yeah, he does boxing and you know how long it is to skip and 2-minute round. I was thinking boxing is 3-minute rounds, babe. But you know what? You're a man in it, so you know better than me. And he was rambling on, and in my head I thought,
don't you see it as your duty to just take him down a peg or two?
no, you know what? Yeah,
Because that's how I feel.
No,
I'm like,
you know what
because
it
the
is?
next person.
I'm the same.
No, you have to.
I don't know why I don't, yeah. The reason why I don't, yeah,
I'm
is
a cuddler.
because
Why?
it's not like I don't
hear
care
why.
enough, yeah, but sometimes I'm just thinking,
You're protecting your peace, yeah.
I haven't got the energy to go back and forth with you because I have a short fuse. So when it gets disrespectful, it's long.
Yeah,
It's
because
honestly,
they won't back down.
That's
true.
why I
Unless you
never
bring out the Google, and
Literally,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? They won't back down. They'll keep going and
I just
going.
realised that, you know what, for my own peace of mind, and because
Makes sense.
if it's things that I'm passionate about, you don't know, when I'm passionate about something, energy, it seems like I'm arguing or I'm getting angry and I'm not, but that's just how I talk when I'm
But don't
passionate.
apologise, even if you want to get angry. So Like, if you're chatting shit, why are you apologising for...
No,
like, do you know what I mean?
No,
it's so jarring.
That's his fam.
Sometimes
That's
it's
what
that
I'm
that they
saying.
deserve
Like,
as well.
with me,
Whether there's a swing.
it could go
Don't
either
promote
way.
violence.
Whether there's a swing.
Obviously, I'm joking.
That's the reason why I say they're not impressive. Like, I've had so many conversations when I'm like, oh, you people... Like, do you know, there was a weird... God. There was a real interaction that I had with a man that I actually thought had like a semblance of
I'm
intelligence.
done because I know what she's going to talk about. The parking thing.
No, that one.
Oh, the parking thing.
No, that one.
We're going to need
I
to
will
hear
share
both
after.
stories now.
Okay, yeah, okay.
That one.
Yeah.
God. No, so there was one where a guy was like, women, how can men be better allies? A woman wrote very simply,
Sorry, say that again.
how can
I'm
men
even
be
tired
better
of the
allies?
question.
In it, I'm not going to say
A woman
nothing.
wrote very simply, check your
cancel me.
rapey friends. That's all she said, right? Let me tell you the exchange.
None of my friends are rapey.
Because Charlie, so he now wrote, it was one of those answer thingy ones. So he posted, I was hesitant to share this one because how do you police what you don't see? And I said, well,
Literally.
actually,
It's the world.
yeah. I said, well, actually, the problem is sometimes you do see it, but two, you agree with the opinion, so therefore you don't see it as rapey. Two, you laugh about it because you think it's a joke.
Yeah.
Or three, you're too scared to check your friend.
Yeah.
So it's like you saying, how do you police it? No. It's like, it's not that you don't see it, it's that you don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Then he was like, yeah, but I just don't like the phrasing. I said, she said 4 words. Check your rapey friends. She said, no, but it's just like saying all black women do. I said, my friend, go back.
Why is it
No,
always...
how do we get there?
Yeah, why?
How did we get there?
I literally said, go back to that and see where she phrased anything in a bad way. And now we trying to have... Okay, so I'm going to read out the exchange, right? I said, men say rapey shit all the time, but men either... 1, ignore it. 2, agree with it, so don't see it as rapey. Or they see it as rapey but are too scared. He goes, I understand it's a tigerish topic and thanks for your feedback. I personally have never heard or entertained such jokes. I think for the conversation to move forward, the language should be less inflammatory.
What does this sound like? Doesn't this sound like when you're talking to a racist person,
Right?
They don't want to hear it? That's
He
what
said
it
the
sounds like.
language should be less inflammatory. So I said,
Get out.
what was inflammatory about the language? He said the pluralism. It's like if someone said black women do X.
Why does it
No.
always have to drag us in? We're not
No,
And I
involved in this.
literally was
not
like,
that.
I literally was like, but the person clearly didn't say that. It said check your rapey friends. No assumptions
no
were made.
gender-specific,
No,
nothing. Yeah,
no
yeah.
assumptions were made. No pluralism was said. He said, okay. I said, if you said your issue is the pluralism, which is black men do this, no pluralism was said. He said, you are a very good lawyer and we are being pedantic. We can be pedantic till we're blue in the face. Da, 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 da.
Thanks.
And I
Blah,
said,
blah,
no.
blah, blah, blah.
Because I needed your
I
validation.
said your issue is, you said your issue is language. The problem isn't language. You asked, how can you be a good ally? Someone's told you how you can be a good ally and you've gone and said that's not good enough.
Yeah.
And this is why I say you're not impressive. Men, sorry to say, but it's like, it's very simple.
Say it
Even like with the
nicely.
gym thing. So you know the gym thing last week where the girl posted the thing about...
Darling.
Yes.
Posted a
Oh,
thing
giving
about...
them
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now
I
men are
only saw
doing
that
TikTok
today.
saying...
He was trying to be nice.
Yeah, so now men are doing TikTok saying, well, I would help you, but you're now going to say that. It's like, you guys can never take a lesson and learn from it.
No.
Like, you go to the most
You wanna punish
extreme
us
thing
all the time.
to be like, well, I'm not going to protect you because you're going to think it's rapey.
Okay.
I'm not going to... No, it's
'Cause you can't
consent.
answer
All we were
questions.
teaching you about was consent.
Yeah.
Do you want to come up to me?
How
Do
dare
you want
you,
to talk
though?
to me? If you want to invade my personal space, consent. But now they've made it into an issue of, yeah, we're not going to protect you in the gym. We're not going to help you in the gym because I'm going to be cool. I'm just like, you people are not fucking impressive. I just cannot.
Honestly.
But it's... I would go as far as to say it's even less than not impressive.
Yeah. It's Neanderthal.
You don't rate them though.
Do you want to get married?
Yeah. Are you saying I'm gay? Like, I've had that before as well.
No, I'm
you know,
just saying.
I'm considering.
If I could be, I would be.
Honestly, because...
Really?
And that's how
this
I
is when I
know
that
sexuality is not a choice.
It's not a choice. Because liking black men is ghetto.
But you can like other men.
I don't even think it's black men.
I mean,
I
date
don't.
black
I'm
men
not.
primarily. I have dated outside of my race. But liking men is just ghetto.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say black
yeah.
men. I'm not gonna say
liking
black
men is
men.
ghetto.
You see
It's
how
men.
But you see how in school, how you were like, oh, you didn't want to be friends with the girls because they were more straightforward. Do you think being in a relationship with a girl quote unquote, would be more straightforward.
I don't know if it's.
I
don't
box her a
think.
bit, man. We can fight.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think
what
it's.
I mean?
I've got gay friends, female gay friends, and I know that it comes with its. Of course, every relationship, regardless, even platonic, male, female friends, you're always going to have that, and you should expect it. That's normal, but. Yeah, it's fucked.
I think women are mad.
The game's
agree, but
are you in a relationship?
Exactly.
I knew
that's why
No.
Okay, no, hold on.
She's living in the land of the living. That's
I'm really
right.
not.
You
Trust
see
me.
Beverly, yeah?
She's...
Did I
like-
lock my car even?
It's okay.
It's okay. Everybody say yeah.
Insurance.
No, I'm not. I know that you're not speaking like this because you're in a relationship. Like I would never. You're not like that.
I'm not
so-
reducing it. I'm
No,
just saying.
I know, but
Reduce.
no, I get what you're saying because before this current relationship, I hadn't been in a relationship for 2013. What's that?
9 years,
Yeah.
8 years.
But you need to remember,
Exactly.
friendship with men is very different. Friendships with men are straightforward.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Relationships
even
with men.
think they are because I have a friend. He's like, oh yeah, why wouldn't he tell me that he's doing this? I'm like, because men still lie because you think they're being straightforward, but there are other things that they won't share with you because they don't want to tell you that.
No,
they ain't
I hear
shit.
that. No, but what I'm saying is friendships with friends. Like if you're just my platonic friend,
And then you don't care as much.
no, it's not even that I don't care as much. There isn't this inbuilt need to lie to me as a friend.
No, but people still do it. Is
No,
what I'm
they
saying.
do. But there is, because what I find weird about relationships is we're in a relationship and there should actually be no reason for you to lie to me. There should be actually be no reason to deception.
You're getting up
Don't
to
think
no good.
that's a human
And
thing.
then
No, it is, and that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. With friendship, because the expectations are lower.
That's what I mean. You just
People
allow
don't.
it.
No, I
If
don't
your
think,
friend lied to you, would you
it's
cut
not
her
that
off?
Yeah,
But when would
because
you find out that she lied? Like, for
when
example,
I find out that what you said, is
even
a
if
lie.
you've been friends for 10 years.
I don't think so. I think,
No, if my
do you know
friend lied to me
why?
about-
It wasn't
I'll call
the
you out.
magnitude
If my
of
friend
the
lied to
lie.
me about something that was significant, yes, I would.
Yeah,
That's
the
what I'm saying.
magnitude of the
Because
lie.
the way you answered it was as if to say, that's why I don't believe you. Because she said, if your friend lied to you, would you cut her off? He said yes. So I was going to say, I think there's levels to it.
Yeah,
Because
there's-
if
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying about friendship. I'm saying that because friendship requires a different level of relation, I find friendships with men a little bit more straightforward. I'm not saying they're great, than being in relationship with men. Because I think
if I'm honest, I think
The
friendships
same.
and relationships, regardless of whether it's men or women,
They are a
it's the
different
same.
level.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
I'm
any
not
di-
saying, no, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that people don't have the capability to lie on both ends, right? I'm just saying when you're dealing with guys, there's not much for them to lie to you about.
But they still lie.
No, I'm not saying
I'm
they
not saying
don't.
everyone.
I didn't
guess
say that they
everyone
don't.
can lie.
I'm not, no, but that's the
think,
thing.
like,
I'm not saying that they
But
don't.
your level
had
of
some very
expectation.
No,
is
and it's not the
different,
level of
no?
expectation. It's also the
Very,
things
very
that you need to lie to me about. Either they're not material, so you can actually tell me because it's not going to hurt me.
Yeah.
Or two, it's just not something that you need to even tell me or lie to me
I've had
about.
friends, quote unquote, that I've met my other friends. We've been talking for 4 or 5 years. Month 1, getting engaged, cut off just like that. Never speaks to me again. Why did you need to lie to me that you had a girlfriend the whole time, then get engaged? And everyone's like,
Did he
yo,
because it's easier for them to do
No.
that.
Did he fancy?
How
No,
do you
like,
can't
honestly,
say that.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I don't
say.
know.
I've
But
got
what I'm
personal
saying is-
experience of people lying, and I'm like, why would you
a
lie
lot of
about
men are
that?
just not-
And then
Sometimes
later on
they
down
fancy.
the
This is why I
line, you're
always-
like, oh,
and
okay, it
this
makes
is-
sense.
And this is my thing about
You're
like
trying to
male
off
friend.
my
Like,
pan.
I'm like, if
Like-
you're such a friend, why can't you tell me that you got a girl, that you're getting engaged?
that's
Because you're not just a
That's
friend.
not your friend.
That's what I'm saying. That did he fancy you?
Yeah, he
Was
must
that the
have.
basis of
And
your
you
just
don't
not
always, but you
accepting
don't always know if a guy fancies you because they could be
No,
riding with you for 10 years.
Of course.
Do you see
And
what
that's the
I
point
mean?
that Crystal's
Yeah.
making.
But I'm saying in that scenario, he clearly was not your friend because there's no reason, like you said, if I've just met someone, and this person's my friend, and we're building a friendship, me telling you I don't have a girlfriend, my only intention is going to be because
To keep
either
the
I'm
door
trying
open.
to keep the door
Yeah.
open for me and you to have
What
a thing.
else
or
can
do
you
it.
But if
achieve
that's the
from
case, then
that?
why just cut it off
What
as
else
soon
can
as
there?
you
He's
get
got a
engaged?
girl.
Why?
It's like somebody
you know-
that you're not going to approve
Do you
of.
know
It
what
can
the
be one of
weirdest
those
thing
two
is,
things.
The day that I was just like, oh, I haven't heard from you in a while.
I'm
It's
like,
the day he proposed to the girl.
is
And then my
it?
friend sent me the screenshot. And when
Look
it's
at
like,
God.
I'm talking like my group.
He probably knew he was weak for you.
It's
Fem.
mad.
Exactly.
That's
But
why
that's how
it's
you-
happened.
No,
But
because
it's
he
happened
probably now.
too
But see, that's the
many
reason. No, but that's the
times.
reason
But
I'm
that's what
saying.
happens.
If he was just a platonic friend, like you were
There would
saying,
be no need to
there'd
lie.
be no need to lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of male platonic friends. I feel like I've got more.
How many of them would tap though if you gave them the chance?
A few.
All of
There's
them.
no point in it. And I say this to
No,
my
of
friends.
course,
them.
of course, no, not all of us.
Not one, not two,
Probably.
but 1,000.
Probably.
No, to be honest, I can't blame him. Have you seen his body? I'm
Not just the
joking.
body, girl, the face. Come on.
Everything.
Stop. Anyway, I'm
No,
joking.
receive it.
Cora's like,
Receive it with,
don't listen to me.
Jesus' name,
with
amen.
vim.
Right, but I'm saying
Don't know
like,
your eyes either.
yes, mum. But I think it's no, of course, innit? Like you have male friends that you can be platonic with, and I've got male friends that I'm platonic with, but I know you want to tear open the bum.
Yeah.
Like
Whack your bum.
No, I get it, but I feel like I guess it's basically kind of how I am, and also even if you want to tear open my bum, yeah, we don't hide things from each other. Like I'm very fully kind of aware of like what
What's
your
going
setup
on.
is
Yeah.
in terms of like your not your intimate details, but like I know what you got going on in it. Do you know what I
You can
mean?
still do that and still hide things.
Yeah, I just
That's
think,
my problem.
you know, like in your head, we
The
build
hiding
all
is 'cause
these
there's an
rules.
ulterior motive.
Do you think so? Every time that someone hides something,
No.
from you,
That's
you
hap-
think
no,
there's an
that's
ulterior
hap-
motive.
no.
That's happened to me
No,
twice
some
with
of it
guys
comes
that I
from
found.
fear. Sometimes it comes
What
from
fear to
Judgment.
tell me that?
But I do
I'm married with a
think-
kid.
I do
I've
think
got a child.
a lot
here.
of men are just not good people. Like they're not
Oh,
socialized.
Sade, we
with
are
good
good.
people.
Oh my God, you
Honestly,
are my friend.
Literally.
You are my friend. I always say
I think
that.
that
They're
I
not.
think it. If you,
Wow, this is becoming a men bash.
I was
episode.
thinking.
I mean, that's not.
We're
This
just
is
talking
This is
facts.
not why I gathered you out here today. We haven't even touched on that topic, but
We came together to slander.
We have to.
When I
start
said
having
Ponderosa, you said
real
Ponderosa.
conversations.
I feel
Because
like
I had
it
a lot
goes
of male
against their
friends.
nature.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do you know,
I
I had
agree.
a lot of male friends, and I literally had to kind of start distancing myself because they would treat me one way with respect.
Yeah.
But the girls they're dealing
Yeah,
with, they're treating
agree.
them like shit. It's not right.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean in
And,
terms
then,
of
and they
that's
feel
why I find
comfortable
it
to come and
different.
tell you because,
Exactly.
but at the end you're not cutting them off. But if my girlfriend said that she did something, see you later.
and it just
But
goes
because
to
it's a guy and he's up front and
Yeah.
he's telling me about it, it means we can be
shows-
codeine.
Yeah, no.
You know?
And it
I
shows
hear
because when
you.
you meet a decent or who you think's a decent guy,
Cara, that's what I'm saying. Do you want to marry a man?
you see the conversation I have with her on a daily basis. She rattles me.
listen,
Just like
it's
shit, man.
cold out there, yeah?
It's very cold. Trust me.
Freezing.
Ice.
Minus one.
Yeah, like even how we look at, like if somebody meets like a good guy, what's your first reaction? It's almost like shock.
It's
Oh my
fake.
gosh, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's too good to be true. bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, what is
Are
it?
you sure?
What is it? What
There is always
it?
something there, but
There
there's
is
always
always
something on
something.
the
And then,
opposite side
yeah.
with us as well.
No, there isn't.
There
I know it.
There isn't. Do you know what it is? Yeah, I think like
God.
what I'll say is this. I think there are good men out there. I know a couple.
They're taken.
They're taken.
That's why they're good.
And I think they
Do
actively
you think they're all the way good?
they actively
No, I think
work
that's-
at being good.
Yeah, I just
They
different.
work at
Yeah,
being
that's the
good
difference.
rather than
I agree.
it's like us. I've had conversations in relationships. I'm not going to expose anybody in here. And the conversations, you're being a mediator and you're thinking, fucking hell, why am I? But it's like I've had women say things like, do you think I've never looked at another man with desire? Do you think I've never thought certain things? Do you think I've never wondered what it is to be outside of this relationship? But my
And I don't.
commitment, literally,
Yeah.
I've managed to, and I do think the way we're designed, like biologically, I'm not going to go all the way there, but like, even if you think about how women can conceive one baby, you're pregnant one. I mean, technically, you can get pregnant again, but that's an anomaly, yeah? So, whereas a man can go and impregnate every single day for that 9 months. So, the way our bodies are designed are not the same. Unfortunately or fortunately, whatever way you look at it, we're socialized in this way towards monogamy or...
Oh, I'm cheating.
As in women.
No. All of us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like the societal norm. Even for men who don't want to do it, they're looked at. Even in business, it's like once they have a wife.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
You know. So
Ministers, presidents.
yeah, they need to do that.
I'm not gonna lie. My best bosses are ones who have a family at home. The ones that
It's about balance. It's about what they can't achieve as a man that a woman can, or just another person, to reflect all of these ideas and thoughts and stuff off. It brings balance to any person. And I just think that men, and it's all throughout the animal kingdom, not just in humans.
I'm just saying. That's why we can play around.
No. It's not why, because if you make it, the problem is the lying. So if you make a decision, you're going to adhere to this social norm of, okay, we're in a relationship, we're doing this, then do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. No one's forcing you.
But there's no consequences to their actions.
There's even a term for it now. It's ethical non-monogamy or something like ENM.
I've heard of
I saw it on Hinge.
Fair enough.
You know.
Wow.
Anyway,
Someone's added that to their bio.
you know I'm swiping.
I get confused about that as well because I'm like, babes, if you wanted polygamy, you know you could just discuss that and find a girl that
Literally, because people are about it.
You don't need to.
You don't need to lie.
But why would you do that when there are girls out there that don't mind? Like some man can go home
and
to
that's
his
what
woman
I'm saying.
4 times. Like you don't have to accept
It's
it.
wickedness within
But
them.
there's no consequences to their actions.
No, there is,
I feel
because
like-
I'm
I feel
cheating
like
in my
there's a-
relationship. If my man cheats, no, I'm not even gonna leave him. No, I'm not joking. No. If my man cheats,
Are we the same person?
if my man cheats, no, we are.
I was never faithful.
No, if my man cheats, I'm giving him 2 options.
You've never been faithful.
If you are begging me,
I have been a couple of times, but not many.
oh no, I've never cheated. No, I've never cheated in relationships, but
No.
because of the consequence thing, and I don't like the lack of consequence.
Yeah.
If my man ever cheats, he has 2 options.
Yeah.
If you're begging me to stay in this relationship, know that I am cheating because I cannot be the only one in this
happen.
household.
You fucking
No. I don't want to cheat.
Yeah.
I don't want to cheat.
But you're forcing
I
yourself to go out of character.
I cannot be the only one in this household paranoid about what the fuck you're doing when you're No, what I'm saying is if you
he's
want me
begging
to
you because
stay,
he's begging you.
if you
But you
want
can
me
still
to
leave.
stay, understand that that's the consequence.
But you can still leave.
No, what I'm saying is if you want me to stay.
Yeah, but even if he wants you to stay, the consequences
No,
you walking out
because
the
you
door.
want me to stay. So let me tell you the conditions on which I will stay.
But you know what?
And
Man
if
are
you're
wicked,
willing to
you know.
agree to
And if you
it,
don't
so
want to
that's
I'm
on you.
out because I
You
cannot
don't want to
be-
agree to you cheating.
Sometimes people
No,
say,
but I
if I
cannot be
cheat
the
and I
only
get
one.
caught, then I have to break up with her. Can you imagine?
No, it was
I have to
Marv,
break
yeah.
up with
So I was
her.
thinking, so
Your
Marv,
face.
hear what Marv said, yeah. And the thing is, the reason why I got what Marv said, yeah, but I'm not gonna lie,
She has no self-respect.
No, it enraged. No. I got what he was saying, but it enraged me at the vim and the confidence that he came with it. So he basically he was just like, basically, if I cheat on my missus and she finds out, I'm breaking up with her, yeah. And it annoyed me because I thought, how dare you dickhead, yeah. But his reasoning made sense because
She ain't gonna leave him.
He was just like, he knows that moving forward in that relationship,
She's gonna
there's never
punish
going to
him.
be
Yeah,
peace,
yeah,
and he's
yeah.
continuously going to be punished,
100%.
right?
I think
some people-
rather than deal with like that turmoil, because it's not going to be healthy for either of them, he would rather just walk away from the
I hear that.
relationship.
I hear
This is a
that.
good segue, actually.
Which I got, yeah, but I'm not going to lie.
Sit down and shut up and be
After
into it for a
10 years,
little
after
bit.
10 years marriage, for example, and you've got 2 kids, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I said. I'm cheating. And do you know what? Do you know what I'm going to do?
It's the way you keep saying it.
I'm cheating. Like, I'm going to
With his
Costa.
best friend.
No, I'm going to cheat with
his
the favourite
brother.
player
What are
on
you
your
talking
football
about?
team, so you will never watch.
Because you're
football
marrying a
again in peace.
footballer.
Or your barber.
No,
Yeah.
just anyone.
And that's somebody that did
That's the best one.
They're married
Anyone
now.
that will not allow you to live life in
In
peace.
peace, yeah,
You
like
can't live
what
life
you
in
done.
peace.
That's a reminder.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when Chelsea's on,
Yeah,
you know that me and
Answer the door. What you saying? Tell me,
You have to go
Abraham. What you
medieval. You
saying?
have to.
because
Yeah,
I don't
man.
because there needs to no because I think men do need to be taught consequences.
Lesson.
Yeah, and then-
Women are taught consequences.
There's
about
not enough
actions.
women
Yeah.
who will provide those consequences.
Yeah.
So it's going to be it's hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Who mentioned segue?
Me.
She did.
Yeah.
What was?
Because you said about forgiveness and
Oh, yeah.
when you what you told us to watch.
Yeah, no,
the
it's on my
key
notes.
point that she mentioned was
That's
forgiveness
Yes.
and faith. And I
Yes.
thought, oh my God, it like made me feel a little bit emotional because I
literally.
struggle
Yep.
with both.
I pray every day for I can't
No,
forgive.
I don't believe in the general concept of forgiveness.
Social construct.
I don't agree.
For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, so to be honest, I brought these lovely ladies here
Homework
today
time.
to talk about the Viola Davis Finding Me interviews that she's been doing. Obviously, as you don't know, Viola is my mum. Like legitimately, she is my mum. She's my mother. So when I saw that she
Needs
did
another glass of
the Oprah Netflix special, like it was so weird because I was like, I'm gonna get emotional watching this. I've never resonated with somebody so much in my life.
That
Like,
was the opposite. I was like, I don't want to watch this because I knew pain was coming.
yeah.
If you didn't tell me to
But-
watch it, I don't think I would have
But
ever watched
she didn't.
it.
The interviews weren't that painful.
No.
Her eyes.
But
yeah, in the Oprah one.
Yeah.
She cried. They didn't show
You
her
could show,
actually
yeah, you
crying,
could tell,
but they
yeah.
edited it in and out. I was just
Yeah.
watching her thinking,
In the
this
Oprah one, that was
pain.
hard.
And
Yeah, that was hard.
I know that when I read the book, I'm
Game
gonna
over.
be in tears
Yeah.
because
you said that
I've
the other day.
literally I've never resonated with a person so much in my life. Yeah, like she
What, the
literally-
rat eating her door and that?
Okay,
like,
no,
come
no,
on.
no,
Bev.
Bev.
Listen,
No, but that level of poverty was
No, but
insane.
I know,
Yeah,
obviously,
As Oprah said,
What the
"Oh,
fuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You were
oh,
poor.
Oh, I was
So
like, Oprah,
obviously-
you didn't need to.
Yeah, Oprah was taking a piss
Oprah
with that
was-
one.
She was flexing,
Oprah was
innit?
like, I know I was poor,
but you were
poor.
So it was crazy. I was
But,
like, wow, okay.
I just, do you know what? I think, especially where she's such a pioneer in her industry,
Yeah.
and like, I see her as Mother Goose.
Yeah,
the mother
she
hen,
ain't-
yeah.
she's not mediocre.
She's and you can tell she's had to work
Oh,
twice
yeah.
as hard just to be in the position that she's in, and even her talking about like the fact that she's like a lot of the things she accomplished weren't like when she was young. You know how like with us like
By
not even
30,
with us,
married kids,
like,
25,
yeah, like,
whatever,
so she didn't get
whatever,
married
yeah.
until she was like in her
Late
her 30s. She'd adopted a child in her 40s. Like you can
But
tell.
do you know what's
Sounded
mad
like
that
my
I found about
trajectory.
that story? The people that lifted her up were all white people. Like her teacher, the
Her
white
the
lady.
guy
As they
the
should,
actor
as they
who
should.
was white. No, but do you see what I'm saying? Whereas for us,
She got
well,
the
not
hatred
us.
from. She got the hatred from us, and she still does.
and the black
But
and the
also-
white guys that chase her
But
down the road.
also,
though.
and that's the thing, right? Even
That made
like-
me so fucking angry.
But then it's
But
like,
saying that, I got things by black boys.
but this is the thing, right? It was that because for me, it was
Brother.
like, okay, I could like the race. People in my school weren't like overtly racist, yeah, but it's like. I guess our version of racism is colorism, innit? Which is what she was saying. Like in our community, like it's obviously it's not racism, but that's the closest thing that you'd get, and it's the colorism, innit? So it was like when she was talking about like running home from school because the boys are gonna start calling her nigger, and chasing her down and cussing her because of her parents. That resonated with me because I was like, but mine wasn't from white guys; it was from like boys my age, like people that were meant to be my friends or like
Black boys.
right? Who
Right.
would be cussing me based on my parents and making me feel some type of way.
Yep.
And yeah, no, I just there's levels to it. There's so many
Plenty,
layers to what
plenty.
she was saying that like literally I was like, do you know what? If I can't wait till I get to a place of like healing to be able to like to speak like fully because I feel like
You think
I'm
you're not there? I was gonna say.
no, because Brent
You can't hear you.
Brent knows I'm not there. Like I'm
But
transparent.
what's stopping you
I'm transparent, yeah.
to a certain point where you
But
feel
there's things that
comfortable?
I've not dealt with, yeah, that I couldn't bring myself to talk about.
What's
Because
stopping
I've-
you from?
Because it's. Do you know what it is? I kind of went through like a. It's weird because I'm not looking at anyone's faces. I have to look up there now as I'm talking. No, because I went through like not a revelation, yeah, but like I'd say 2019, yeah, where I started to like relive something, and it was the most awful experience. So like, have you ever like? Sorry, I'm trying to like articulate myself without talking too much, but like, so basically, I realized that like I had an experience here that was so traumatic that I blocked it out completely. Like it
It
didn't,
happened,
it
disappeared.
didn't exist,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was only one day when I was with Dana, funnily enough, and something happened.
In Ghana? Or?
No, in London. And something happened. It was like a family matter thing. And it was just drama. And it triggered me so, like, it was like I got slapped in the, like, I can't even describe that feeling, but I just thought, oh my freaking days, like, do you know what I mean? And then, like, I had to start dealing with it and stuff. And then, it was just really hard because the reason why I said it is because I know that I'm not over it. And I know that I'm not over it because I know what I need to do not to get over it, but I know how.
It's hard.
Do you guys get what I mean?
Work. It's exhausting work.
It's long. So I know that I'm not in that place yet, but I just found so much comfort in seeing how she was able to, how she's been able to like write her book and be so honest and transparent, because that's changed my life. Do you know what I mean? And it's given me hope to be like, one day I'm going to get to that place where I'm going to be able to fully, completely bare my soul and in the process find the healing that I need.
But do you think it's because of where she is in her career? So going back to what you were saying about being the best. So do you think this moment would have still happened, not taking anything away from Viola, if she hadn't won all these BAFTAs, all these Emmys, all these things, found a loving husband? Because I find for us, I'll say black girls because that's who I know. If we don't have a husband, if we're not like making loads of money or at the highest of our career, I feel like you don't ever get there because you don't feel like you deserve to be happy unless you're at 1,000. And again, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Viola, but because she's at a place, how to get away with murder, fences,
do you know
all
why?
of this stuff, she can come and say, this is the shit that I went through.
Do you know why I agree as well? Because even she said that it was after like the pandemic and she just literally finished How to Get Away with Murder and she just thought, what's next? Like, where am I going? Like, what is... And she even... And I think this is what was mad when she was like, what is the purpose of my life? And I thought, big man, how can you achieve all that you've achieved? And now you're coming to question...
It's our fucking chokehold that we have with struggle. And this is the point that I was making. Like, this is the point I was making.
As a black person, you're always striving. So does that mean anytime... I'm not saying you have to be like getting C's or whatever, but in the equivalent. But if you're always striving for that A, your almost worth of living becomes worthless if I'm not getting it.
100%.
I'm the same thing though. I'm the same thing. I'm definitely like that. Like if my career, Christel knows this all the time. Whenever she always says it's Gina, stop using work as a distraction. Whenever my social life, in regards to like relationships, whatever, whenever that is like,
you have 20 rules.
I don't desire to work at all. I'm not gonna lie.
No, Beverly, I will film 20 rules.
She's like, baby, I'm here 9 till 6. Okay, cool.
I will film 25 rules a day. Legitimately. I'm throwing myself into that work here because work is the only thing I feel good at. Work is the only thing that makes me feel confident. Work is the only thing that makes me feel secure. And it's so annoying that my being is in something so...
I think there is some joy that can be found there as well. Do you know what I mean?
It's a part of it, but it shouldn't be your whole...
It shouldn't be a whole thing, but I do think that, and I know this isn't a popular opinion, but I do think that there is danger of being complacent. Do you know what I mean? Because we still need role models that aren't just Viola. Do you know what I mean? We still need people like you, Gina.
But that's, I think we need mediocre role models too.
No, I mean...
happiness role models.
Yeah, but you can
work hard. No, you can. But I think there's also a huge emphasis. Top of your game.
Without cussing anybody,
I'm mediocre as fuck.
No, I would say
I'm going to say a name.
Same thing.
And
you think you're mediocre?
Honestly, I don't think you're mediocre. Do you know what? And this is and this is bad. But do you know who I find mediocre? Cuppy. And I think she's living her great mediocre life.
But she's rich. So you can't use her.
No, but that's exactly it.
Yes. So she's in the same position almost as a white person.
No, because she goes and does whatever passion projects that she likes. She can DJ and not be great at it.
And
she can be a producer and not be great at it. And as much as, and I don't want the readers to think that I'm being bad. I don't think it's even 100.
I was going to say.
What did you say?
I think it's at
people
no, I don't think it's at 100. I think it's at a level that it needs to be for it to work for her.
Yeah.
And it's okay. And that's the thing. It's okay.
It's like, as soon as she said it, it's like it's a
I
diss
think
when
we need
it's
to
actually
stop
not.
looking at things. I think we need to stop
Do you
looking
know
at
what?
things
Yeah, I'm
like
taking
a
it back. I'm not
negative.
mediocre as fuck. I
know.
wish I could be, though.
I know her.
I
And that's
really
the thing,
do.
we need to stop looking at things.
Honestly, I'm
No, but the thing, we need to
right
stop
away.
looking at that in a
Yeah.
bad way.
I
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's someone that's understood.
Your problem, I think,
What's my
sorry,
problem?
Sade, your
Yeah.
problem is the word mediocre.
Yeah, and we're only using that because
If we
the
go
only
to
thing
the
that we have is
dictionary, what does
excellent.
it actually mean?
If we just say, I don't know what the word is, maybe just like
Because,
living.
and when we're saying excellence, do you think she's the best DJ?
No, I just think that
Do
she's
you-
got amazing work ethic. If you,
No,
I
but
mean,
we're
like,
not talking
I'm
about
really
the work
spoiled
ethic.
with, like,
We're not
music
talking
and
about the work
DJs and
ethic. We're
stuff, so
talking
I
about
can't
the
compare.
quality
But-
at which you do things. I'm not talking about the work ethic. I'm talking about the quality in which you do things.
I think that is part of like kind of being mediocre, right? Because you can have a hard work ethic, but your product
You're still
isn't
not great.
necessarily
No,
received by
but that's the thing.
market.
The hard
And it
work
isn't
ethic.
necessarily,
No,
like,
but if
the
you're
best.
not perfecting
But-
your craft, I'm going to doubt your work
But
ethic.
there's some people that are always
you
going to
shouldn't.
work hard, but they can
But
never
you
be
shouldn't.
great.
Yeah. So like, if
No,
you're
but
like
then
a-
I don't think they're
So then you're not
mediocre.
if you're like a
I don't
short
think they're
guy,
mediocre.
Okay, so mediocre is not connected.
You know what?
Sorry, in your opinion,
Let me
to
get
success.
let me get
No.
the dictionary.
Okay,
version
okay,
of
that makes sense.
mediocre. And again,
And I think that's where the issue is.
You know who's mediocre to me? J-Lo. She's
Yeah, I'm
mediocre.
not gonna-
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to disagree with that.
Alright, guys.
mad at her.
Mediocre is of only average quality, not very
Average.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
And I
very
think,
good.
and I think
So you think people
and do you know
work
what,
at
yeah?
A and then they don't
and then
get
they're
there?
not good.
Yeah.
But that means they're mediocre, even with the work ethic that they have.
But no. I think the converse
I
can
can't lie, I have a
exist.
prob-
But
in
I
my
think
soul,
in
It's physically making you uncomfortable.
no, because I
No,
think the
literally, and that's
no,
she's-
I think
that
the
word
converse
scares her.
can
Yeah.
exist. The
And that's
converse
what I
can
want you
exist.
to be
You work
freed
hard and
from.
never make it. But for you to make it, but you're not but for you to make it and for your
aircon
quality
gone
to
off?
not be great,
Yes.
you are mediocre, and that's fine.
Even if you work very hard at it.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Brand.
I will always doubt if you're working really hard at something.
Brand.
If you remain
But is that
mediocre.
because everything you work hard at, you achieve the top
No,
level?
because everything that I decide I'm going to work extra hard at
You
is
get
because
it.
I want. No, it's not that I'm getting it. It's that I want to be great at it, even if I don't get
some
the
people
job.
want to
But
do
you know-
that, but they don't get there.
No, and I said that's
No,
a very
I don't-
different
I don't
case.
agree.
Yeah.
But
You
for
don't
you,
agree?
I don't agree. No,
do you know what?
In principle,
Yeah.
I don't. Sorry, I wasn't. I didn't catch everything.
Yeah.
But, like, I just don't agree in principle because I think you need at least a system that can order.
Like, I
things.
think I'm great at maths.
okay.
That's like-
I don't think
Order.
so.
You said
Yeah.
order.
But we're not
But
being,
hold
the
on
problem
a
is that
sec.
We're not being rewarded enough for our excellence. That's our issue.
Exactly,
So is
but
that
you
what makes
said
people
you
mediocre?
said you used the
Mediocre.
word
You said
order.
actually that's what we shouldn't.
You
aspire
use the
to that.
word order.
Yeah.
If everyone's excellent, there's no order there.
but I don't
There's
think-
just hold on. There's just
believe in the
excellence.
I believe
So
in-
what we need to be,
Hierarchy.
but we need that's fine. But in order for there to be a hierarchy, there needs to be people who are shit,
And there's people that are
people who are
excellent.
mediocre,
Yeah.
and
But what
people
she's
who are
saying is-
excellent. Hold
Yeah,
on, let me
no,
finish.
I agree with
And
you.
in that,
Yeah.
we need to be able to exist as Black people, as Black women
Yeah.
in
In
each of those
mediocrity, yeah.
categories.
And be okay.
And be okay. Whereas
We do.
no, we're not.
We're
Because
not. Yeah,
what
Black women
happens is we to achieve the bare minimum, we have to do the
Excellent.
most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So an example of this is in where I work, done like loads of work with like equality, diversity, all of that shit that never really goes anywhere. But that's
Such
another.
an enthusiastic person.
I'm a realist. I'm very enthusiastic. Let's do it, Beverly, tomorrow. Anyway, and you talk. The crux of it is that in these jobs, there's an underrepresentation of Black, and then you got the next layer, which is women in the band 7s, 8s, 9s
Yeah.
within the NHS or within, and I know that's
Most
represented
organisations,
exactly, yeah. And the only place where we're meeting quota and exceeding quota is in the jobs that are underpaid.
Level, yeah.
Well, not even
Low skilled.
nursing,
Low
So so it will be like, and what makes it even trickier now is that even to do like some of the lower bands have become obsolete. They don't exist anymore. But even to do what would be considered a low-skilled job, you have to have X, Y, and Z. And those are the only positions that Black people or ethnic minorities, I'm not going to use I'm not even saying it, that's the only chance where we can. And I don't, So to me, that's what I'm...
Because that's what we should be doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We should be allowed to exist in proportionate levels at every level within mediocrity. So when I say that, and what you'll find is that most people, black people, who are judged as mediocre, they're fucking not.
Yeah.
Well,
they're not mediocre. And that's what's not fair. If I'm going to be judged... if I'm going to be...
mediocre.
So we're talking about...
I want to. And that's why I said... That's why I said what I'm saying.
So you're looking down.
No, but that's why I changed my mind and said, no, but you know the reason why.
No, but you know the reason why.
Many people are considered mediocre.
In mediocrity.
Sorry, I just want to finish because I was.
Yeah, so it was just, I was just saying that, like, it's not, we're not represented in the right way, and I want us to be. I'm not saying that, me personally, there wasn't actually room for mediocrity in my household as a child.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I want there to be and I understand it in a way because I think in the time, we're talking about 80s and 90s, there wasn't room for black people to be mediocre in this country.
But we're not all excellent. We're not.
No, which is why I said
exactly.
But even
the people who are
okay.
But what I'm saying is the people who are there are people who are excellent who are considered mediocre or who are overlooked.
Yes.
And I want for my child to be, if they're mediocre, let them exist on their on the same level as their white peers who are mediocre.
And
that's a privilege that regardless, I don't care what anybody in this room tells me, you ain't allowed it, you ain't allowed it, you ain't allowed it, you ain't allowed it, I'm not allowed it.
I don't think that's going to disappear in this generation. I don't think it's going to disappear in the next generation to come. So that's why I'm saying don't be complacent.
No, but the thing is,
because it's not our reality.
No, but the reason why
I play the lottery twice every week.
No, but I think we're just going to give our kids the tools for it to be easier for them. If we have kids, sorry.
Yeah.
If you want kids, if you have kids.
And being mediocre, like when I mentioned copy, it genuinely wasn't from a like, oh my God, I think she's bad. As in like, I don't get this. I'm not saying she doesn't work hard. I don't think whatever. But what I'm saying is I'm actually jealous of that.
Yeah.
I'm actually jealous of someone who can just decide to have passion projects, not have to work and be as excellent at it and still thrive and be okay.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, she's not the best DJ. She's not the best producer. She's not, and she even will tell you she's not even the best vocally. But do you know what? Yeah. The world has allowed her that space to do that.
But she's rich.
No, and that's what I'm saying.
And that's the point we're making.
That because we had to work hard.
We're the generation.
Yeah, because we're working hard, we will be able
but
to give our kids that to be like, you can do whatever you want, survive, exist.
I think we're the perfect balance because we know what it means to be excellent, and then we're also going to have the tools to give to our kids to be excellent. And then on top of that, God willing, we will also have the money to allow our kids to be excellent.
I think in so many ways we've been on the cusp of so much transition. I think our generation as black people in this country have had been the benefit of being
regardless.
No, I think it's
because
dangerous.
a lot of parents,
especially in this country, the thing is, if you think about how the government treats its own people, you don't want to be that. You don't ever want to be that.
Yeah, but Sade, us that are excellent, we don't want to be here.
It's hard to work.
Like us that's excellent,
I'm striving for mediocrity.
People don't want to leave.
And the thing is,
let me get my pounds, then I can go back to home.
But the thing is, us that excellent are having strokes at 30. Because we know
I work on a stroke ward at the moment.
People are jumping off buildings. People
that have had strokes, that are having cardiac arrest. These are not all natural things. This is because we're working at this capacity that is not, that a human being is not supposed to work at. Which is why I'm saying that when I gave that example, don't get twisted. I want to be able to operate like her. I want to be able to walk into Sony, be mediocre like some of the men I work with, and be okay.
Yes.
I love that.
How many security guards do you know?
I want to be. But I can even give you an example. In Sony, I'm across the most number of labels, right? And I work with black men who are very demanding, very like, they'll call me at what time, and I have to be accessible, right? It's not even, for me, I'm losing my mind. But I have to keep doing that. Why? To still just have a job. And my frustrations I'm having is I've been at my job for 3 years. I've had no promotion, no pay rise. But I'm excellent.
What? No one can tell none, 0%. So not even the one with inflation.
I had a below inflationary pay rise. It was $1,000. By the
Which
time
means
they taxed it
nothing.
and did whatever,
A grand
it was like
over
15
divided
pounds.
by 12. That's less than
But you get what I mean? It's like, I'm excellent. No one will not tell me. Because if I'm not excellent, you wouldn't give me
Very
these
rude.
labels.
Keep it.
Yeah, I'm not.
I should just be
I
able to
know
be.
we
This is
have
why
to-
at my
Yeah.
job, you just call
And so that's why I'm not even like, I don't give that example to be like, oh my God, let's all shun her, because I want to be like her. I want to just do
But
that.
that comes with, that's privilege. That's something
Yeah,
that
I want to have the passion.
your
I want to do my
kids-
passion
There's
project.
nothing wrong with
Your kids will be able
privilege.
to do
I
that.
just
want it for
do
my
it.
kids.
And for
God
people to
willing.
be like, she's having a good
Also,
time.
I just think like sometimes we forget our own privilege, right? Do you know what I mean? So even working in
What
the
is it?
industry that you work in is a privilege. Doing what you do, it's a privilege. Do you know what I mean? Not everybody has
That's what I'm saying.
that.
Absolutely.
Times.
It's a privilege.
It's a
But I want to be
privilege.
mediocre
Because some
in
people
that
can't.
industry.
My brother said to
Some
me
people
once,
don't have
like,
the
for him,
qualifications to even get a job.
Yeah,
As a guy
it's a
from
privilege,
England,
but
it's a
it's all in
privilege.
context, isn't it? Because I don't feel like what bit was the privilege? The bit that we paid student loans for to study, work our asses
There's
off.
some people that can't even get a job in Sainsbury's.
No, I understand that,
what I
and I'm
mean?
saying it's in context.
Yeah.
So in the context of
Levels.
where we are, like, of course, I just think it's reductionist in a way to think that just look at it as a privilege. The privilege
I just think that people
is gonna
don't
be
acknowledge it at the forefront. Do you know what I mean? That when they're looking at their perspective, like looking at their like I constantly like check my privilege that I've been working for myself for almost 15 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's insane. Like, do you know what I mean? That doesn't happen. It's not
Again, but
normal.
it's-
but you
that's
worked
the thingy.
for it.
But it's still a privilege. Do you know
No,
what I
I
mean?
hear that.
Some
I'm
people
able to
do
do
that for
that.
15 years and don't get there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I understand, but I just think like
Do you think you're not privileged?
no, I would say I'm very privileged.
Okay.
Very privileged.
Yeah.
And I think
But in the context of that privilege, you also understand other people are privileged more than you.
well, not even that, because I've also been raised to not really be running race with anybody else. I think what it is
That's
is
even a privilege in itself. Because
Yeah.
some people are told you're running a race against this person, so they're
So
obviously
you have
constantly
to.
watching.
Yeah.
My dad
side
was
to
like
side.
the Indians, the Indians and the Chinese. Were the biggest
It's not funny, but it's real.
yeah.
My parents
As a
weren't saying the
black
white
person,
people,
you're
they're saying the
taught not
Indians
to.
and the
You're
Chinese.
almost taught not to be allowed to use that word privilege.
Yeah.
But in the context, okay, we live in the UK, we're around these people,
That's a
but
privilege.
we
Yeah,
do have
yeah.
our
Yeah,
own privileges.
of course we
that
do. We
can-
all do, but it's context.
Yeah,
So
100%. No, but everything will always be context.
yeah.
Because
But
why
I,
don't-
of course, I've got
Yeah,
privilege. I'm dressed. I'm not here naked. You know, like I came from my house.
Some people
not
in
the
a
car.
car.
Yeah, I spent nights in that car. But yeah, that's another story altogether. But you know, like it's context. But I just think that there is a danger sometimes, especially, and this is because of. This is indoctrination, yeah. We've been forced to, like, of not accepting that whilst it's by design that you're where you are. So you've worked for, did you sit back for 15 years? Or did you work your ass off?
No, but like there's definitely some things that are naturally born that I have had no control of over that gave me an advantage. Now, obviously, in the grand scheme of things, I am disadvantaged. Like I'm black, I'm dark skinned, I'm dyslexic. I was brought up Muslim. Do you know what I mean? All of these things, they should have been against me, and then obviously
And would have been.
traumatic. And yeah, for most people, like even going through what I went through as a child, I shouldn't really be here, you know? But at the
But you
same
should.
time, like there are things like, you know, being confident or being, you know, having a dad that I had that was like a role model to be a leader. Do you know what I mean? Those kind of things. My work ethic, I don't know, come to my Nigerian culture, it just is. You know, if I didn't have that, then I probably wouldn't be in this position. Like my thick skin, not to really like be bothered by other people. Do you know what I mean? Like not everybody has that, so I can just keep working and keep going on, you know? And also in my early days, my lack of tact, to be honest, which I just didn't have that kind of viewpoint where I sounds so bad, but I think it's like held in men, but I just didn't really care what other people thought.
No, it's
Do you know
good.
what I mean?
You
Like,
need that though.
yeah,
You
like-
need that in the world that's
That was me
set
before.
up against you in a
No,
lot of
that one
ways.
care too
And I
much.
think the thing about privilege and using that word privilege is it's almost like it's a it's like we're not allowed to have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let
But
me
we
have
it.
my privilege. Sometimes I remember when like I used to hear it. I've got, you've got like, they call it flashbulb memory. You can remember the smell, where you were, like everything about something that happened. And somebody said, yeah, but you're lucky. And I wanted to say, like, me, I'm lucky. But
you don't know.
my mum, you also don't know. There should, like, okay, even if I was just lucky, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Is that okay for me? Like, what difference does it make to you that I have managed to come upon luck? And the thing is, like, yes,
because we're not allowed to.
Yeah, exactly. We're not fucking allowed. I'm lucky in a lot of ways, But when I think about what my luck actually comes from, which is really everything, is my mum and dad. Yeah. That is my luck. I lucked the fuck out with them. Their circumstances, I wouldn't say has got anything to do with luck.
At all.
Hard work.
Hard fucking work.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that segues perfectly to the forgiveness and
I was literally about to say that we didn't even really like touch on it. But
and then
no.
We're going back there. So obviously she spoke about forgiveness mainly in relation to like her dad because her dad was quite abusive. Yeah. Did I say it right? Mm-hmm. Sorry, it sounded weird. It sounded like that's why. Abusive. Like Yusuff. I thought, wait.
If. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. So, but she managed to forgive him, and before he passed away, and just talking about how that was for her. And do you know what? Yeah, I relate to her because I had a bad relationship with my dad for a very long time. Like, I would walk past the street and not talk to my dad. We lived in the same household. Like, my friends would come to my house and it would be so awkward for them because obviously they'd greet him and I'll just be like, like literally. I'll never forget when my friend Topper came to my house and we was chilling, and then my dad walked in and said, hi, uncle. I didn't say anything. He looked at me and was so rattled. He was like,
what's going on here?
Dad? I was like, what for? Like, where do you, I would, at that time, I would have definitely said, yeah. So, we had like, and it was hard because I was such a daddy's girl growing up. So it was such an awkward transition, like from going to being glued to his hip and being so close to him to literally hating his guts. So growing up and stuff, like I used to find it so hard to forgive, right? So hard. And I held grudges and I'd say things like, I can forgive, but I can't forget, or like, I feel like I could. Do you know what I mean?
Is that bad? Just for my own personal reference.
No, because if I'm honest, I don't think you ever truly kind of even get over something. If
forgetting is not within your control, is it?
I don't think that's the thing. But my mum used to always say this to me, and she used to always say to me, obviously, again, she's coming from like a Christian background of like honor your father and mother. And at the time, I was like, phooey. I didn't care. And then it got to a point where she was just like, she kept saying to me, do you know what, the reason why I want you to work on your relationship with your dad is because if you don't fix that relationship, you're going to have issues with all the men that you meet in your life. Because that is the first
love, isn't it?
That's the first like male relationship that you had. So if that is broken, that is going to affect how you are with everybody else.
Fuck it.
And again, it continues to be an fooey.
Fuck it.
And I was like, But then, to be honest, I didn't forgive my dad because of even that, to be honest with you. It just was like, I just had to accept him for who he was. My dad is 82. I am 32. My dad had me at
60.
No, that doesn't make sense.
50.
No, 50.
Oh, 32.
Yeah, he had me at 50, right?
Yeah, it's not too
it's
bad.
Even worse for Georgia because did you see
I saw
you see Young Fly? That is my sister.
That's my grandbrother.
My dad had Georgia at 61. Georgia is 21. Yeah. So like my dad's honoured to be my granddad. He's not from my generation. Like my dad has pictures in black and white. My dad was alive in the Second World War. Like it's that
Jesus Christ,
fam.
82.
My dad was born in 1940, big man.
Yeah. 5 years.
Never put it in that context.
Jesus. My father
39 to 45
was born in 1940.
Yeah, my dad was born in 1933.
They never born in 1933.
So he met the first from the beginning.
But that's what I'm saying.
39 to 65.
He met it.
Sorry.
My dad has black.
No, Gina's dad met it.
My dad has black and white pictures.
Yeah.
Like
my dad definitely has black and white.
No, but
and do you know what's worse? I don't know, like the black and white pictures that they coloured, but it's like colour. Like as if a child went over with a colouring pencil.
I'm done.
There's 3 colours in
but
this.
he's from that generation, so it's like I had to realise that he is never going to understand me because we're just not.
But do you think that's what the breakdown in relationship with?
Acceptance.
It's acceptance. If I'm honest with you, it is acceptance because it's not forgiveness. But I just had to, because for me it was like, he's never going to give me the apology I feel I deserve or that any of my family members deserve for the trauma he put us through. But I'm gonna stop waiting for it to happen because the longer I do
they say forgiveness is more about yourself.
Me, right? Exactly. So for me, I just got to a place where I was like, I just need to let this shit go because all it's doing is it's eating me up inside. It's making me not hate men, but like it's do you know what I mean? And it was just so intense.
The first colour photos came in the 1800s, apparently.
Oh, I don't know.
No, a lot of the people couldn't afford it.
Yeah, and we were in Africa.
Privilege.
No, but even I accept all the fucking privilege.
Your parents had coloured photos.
No, I told you it was like colouring pencil. That's what it looked like.
Bro.
No, my mum's still got a black and white TV. She can't throw it away because she said it was her lifeline when she went to uni. She bought it off a posh white boy that she lived with. She said, he had all the nice stuff. He had his flares on his bell bottoms and this, and he was selling his TV, and she's still got it downstairs in the basement.
That's very cute.
Oh, you got a basement
antique,
privilege.
Antique retro.
Literally though, like it's red and it's black and white. It's even wine. So,
I remember a TV like that.
I remember Viola was like, I realised that my dad did the best that he could with what he had. And I said, you're a better bitch to me because my dad did not do the best that he could. Literally, I said, no, and you know what? That's also okay.
Yes, and the honesty, like
it's also okay to be honest, because I think a lot of people say they did the best. No, they didn't.
Yeah, but the abuse part...
That's what I'm saying. No, that is what I'm saying. She's a better bitch.
Don't hit me.
That's what I'm saying. She's a better bitch than me because I cannot believe that a human being did the best with what they can. Because I've seen people do the best with less. With my dad, I've seen people. I think my resentment with my dad sometimes is it's not like we grew up poor, but it's not even like a money thing. With my dad, it was like we were poor and you still made things harder. Like my dad could drive but would not take us to the supermarket. So my mum would get us on a bus and we'll drive, or we had like a Jehovah's Witness called Jennifer, bless her, who used to come on Saturdays and take us. So I feel like you didn't even do the best with the small that you had. Do you get what I mean? It's like you made our life so much harder that my dad would not, all the times I would tell people that all the times I've driven, like I've flown and whatever, my dad's taken me to the airport 3 times. And when I see people say that, oh, my dad, I'm like...
My dad's never taken me...
I'm not gonna lie. I love my dad.
Taking me back.
No, but that's the thing. It's like...
Last time he told me...
No, but that's the thing. He could have.
Fucking
There was a lot of times in my dad's life where he wasn't working. So it's like you could have just made this part of our life a little bit easier.
Yeah, as in he could have used his... It was more time than money.
Yeah, no, but it's not because my dad would nap. Like, when I knew that there was a... No, I'm being so honest. And I had to...
No, but it's the way
like he's a baby.
No, but that's the thing. I remember I was having it because my sisters and my mum had my sisters and my dad had a really bad argument on Mother's Day. And I remember having to call my mum. This Mother's Day. Because it was like... My dad, and I was talking to one of my friends in LA and she broke it down a bit and she was a bit like, my dad has a really weird thing about food. So if he thinks you're hiding food, he gets so aggressive about it.
Why?
Because did you grow up without?
That's what my friend was explaining to me. And she was like, you should talk to him. But like, I remember back in the day, my dad never used to hit us, but the first time he ever like struck my sister by accident is in my room that I used to share with my sister, we had like a little like built-in alcove type thing. And my sister put juice there. My mum, my dad and my sister are they're the same person. They just think that they're not. Because my sister also has the vulnerabilities of people taking stuff from me, so I got to hide it, which is fine. I don't mind. We were poor. Quite cool. But my dad takes it really personally. So this year, my dad found like a piece of chocolate that fell in the room, in their room. It's weird because I don't even call their room, I call it my mum's room. And I call that house my mum's house because we're so removed from my dad. And he got offended, like, oh, why are you hiding the chocolate? Mum was like, no, it probably just fell when I was doing stuff. That became such a big argument in the house. On my 30th birthday, they had an argument because my sisters bought a pack of chicken and my dad cooked it all.
I'm sorry.
You say a pack of chicken, what do you mean?
Like my dad, you know
full-
those family 10 packs?
Yeah, with 10 drumsticks.
Yeah,
No,
and
it's
thighs.
like usually like
My
6
dad
drumsticks
cooked it all.
and
Yeah, what's
My
wrong with
sisters
that?
were like,
4 or
no,
5.
cooked it for himself.
Oh, I thought you cooked it to put in the fridge for the
Were
week.
like, my sisters were like, why did you do that? And he was like, well, it's there. Da, 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 da. That became a big issue in the house. So they argue about these little random things. And so when I was talking to my mum about the breakdown, I remember a memory and I said, do you know the reason when the time when I stopped respecting my dad was my mum was sick when I was 10. I remember this, I was 10 years old. Mum never really gets sick. My mum was always the breadwinner. My mum had 2 jobs doing key job in the evening,
bro.
doing
Up and
whatever.
down.
And my dad, I don't know what he was doing at that stage.
If she
I
was
don't know
only
what he
allowed
was
to
doing
be
in that stage in my
mediocre.
life because my dad's done so many different things. My mum was crying. I remember my mum was like, can my dad take her to the hospital? My dad said no because he needs to sleep, but she should take his oyster and go. That was and I'm going to cry, but that was the point where in my mind I said, okay, you are useless. As a 10-year-old child, I said, you are useless.
And
because
it's
you are
something a
useless-
10-year-old shouldn't have to
Yeah.
even
And
understand.
because you are
Eldest?
yeah, I'm the eldest. And because you are useless, I need to make sure that everyone around me understand you are not to go to, they should just come to me. And when I told my mum that, she was like, wow, you remember that? And I was like, yeah, of course I remember that. That's actually the foundation of who I am as a human being. That my dad is useless. My sisters, I grew up being husband,
Are
dad.
you one of how many? Sorry?
3.
Yeah.
So I grew up being dad, husband, everything. So with my dad now, it's like, I like how Viola's been able to get to that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure even with forgiveness I'll be able to say he
And
did the
do you
best
know
of
what?
he
I
had,
think
because he
it's
didn't. And
so
I'm not
im-
gonna lie to romanticize it. Sorry, yeah.
No. I just think it's refreshing to hear people say that, especially with somebody who, it's not that I can't move forward, I can, but if something that could have happened, 10 years ago, if it comes to my mind, it's going to piss me the fuck off.
Yeah.
So this is something I'm working on.
What pissed you off to what extent? To the
I'm going to
point-
kiss my teeth loudly in public. Or I'm going to go to my mum and say, I still can't fucking, Do you know what I mean?
It still causes a
It
reaction.
still
now,
causes
right?
a strong reaction
Yeah,
because
okay.
I think a lot of it is to do with, I wouldn't do you like that.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? Or,
One lesson, nobody's like you.
yeah.
No one's in your
And I
brain.
know all of these things
Yeah.
logically,
But it's still, yeah.
but trying to get there, it's a different thing.
You know what?
And which is
Into
why I
that.
think it's so important that people say honestly, like, right now, or
I
even in
can't
the
do it.
future, I can't. And I think it's great. Yeah, she's managed to forgive. I'm really happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you've managed to do
Do you think
that.
that's also because she knew he was dying?
I think a lot of people do
Maybe.
things like that.
I
You
think
know?
Do you know what it is
Feel
with
guilty
me?
as well.
Mine
Yep.
is because my dad's very old. I'm going to be honest. And
Yep.
this sounds really harsh, but I always say, you
You know
ain't
his
got a dog.
ends.
You ain't got a
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
Bro,
I don't know why I'm doing all of this.
Up and down on your edge.
He's going to be
I
like,
say all the time, like, and it sounds harsh, yeah, but I'm like, I can't even sweat over you, man. You're on a ticking, you're on a clock, like literally.
We all are, but
no,
yeah.
and I don't mean that in a.
No, you're being
No,
realistic.
I say that because I literally thought I'm literally beefing an old
An old man.
Like,
no, but I don't think you're beefing an old man. You're
No.
beefing the feelings that,
I know,
quote
but-
unquote, the old
but do
man
you know what? Do
gives you.
Do you want to know what's really interesting though? Yeah, really interesting, because I remember like, so I was asking my friend. I was like, do you think you can like be such a traumatic person, yeah, but forget the bullshit that you've put through people?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know when I realised you can, him.
Yeah, my dad's the
Sorry,
same.
yeah.
My dad's the same.
Do you think they forget? They just don't care.
No, Beverly.
No, after
Oppression.
yeah.
No. I genuinely believe, yeah.
It's
Prime
there.
example. Do you remember when we was outside Keith's house? When we was at Keith's
Yeah,
house and I was
yeah,
having
yeah.
that stupid conversation.
And I came to
yeah?
get you 5 times.
Yes, right. That stupid conversation, yeah.
Are you okay?
Prime example. Oh my gosh. I forgot that happened.
He's lying.
Oh my no. As in he was, when I say yeah.
I don't believe that.
He literally was
No, but
like.
I said that to her.
No,
Yeah.
as in like, what I'm saying is, you
You're
see
such a
how
good
with us,
actor.
yeah, we internalize shit and we continue to like, not every day, but like it might niggle at you. You see with them?
I think it's no.
It
I
can
think
be
it's
put into
possible. I think it's possible, But do I think that's the case with everybody? And that one there, no. Because it's easier in that situation to pretend, oh shit, I'm really sorry, I didn't know. Let me act up.
I was even talking about with my dad, so my mum and dad were having a conversation, it was so, you know when something's so fucking ironic, I have to swear. You know what you're just thinking? And the thing is, when she told me, I got mad. But obviously, what am I going to do? Go find an old man? I think not. So I just
can't find him anywhere. Whether he was old or not.
I just thought, when I was younger, yeah, right. You think we have a back?
What do you mean? Oh my God, my dad will finish me. Honestly.
I've talked to my dad before.
For what?
Because he was banging the fuck out of my mum. You think I'm going to stand there and watch you be... Nah, sorry.
No, obviously you're going to attend, but I don't think I would even get... I think I've even like play fighting in an instance with my dad. The way it's like, I'm already my hands behind my back.
No, I've had fights with my dad, legitimately. So it's not... And not because... And I'm not saying this to brag, but again, this is why...
Thug of the family.
Who could
it be?
It's not something I'm proud of, but from a young age, it's like
Beverly,
I'm not gonna watch you batter the shit out of my mum, and then I'm 16 and I'm gonna just stand there. You're getting time to your story.
I hear that.
Like, do you know what I mean?
100%.
So it's not a thing it's not. That's why again I'm not scared to fight a man, and it's bad.
I don't think it's bad necessarily.
No. Sometimes
I don't fight. That's my last.
It's the last resort, but I'm not gonna let you just attack on me.
I believe you.
A lot.
I used to fight, man.
I used to fight.
Yeah.
If you've got me to the point of fighting, you're going to die. So there's no point.
Yeah. One of us is gonna die.
No, not one.
But I think it's just because I had so
and that's why I don't
range.
fight.
Do you know what I mean?
That's why I don't fight.
Like with my dad, he died when I was 17. So obviously it's a long time ago now.
It's not that long.
Like,
don't say that.
It is. It literally is. But he was my hero. Do you know what I mean? And like I really idolized him, but at the same time I like really suffered at the hands of my stepmother, and he did nothing. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like
and
growing up
so
and maturing. Do you know what I mean? And understanding actually what my situation was, and then like having someone who you think is like the best person ever, and actually no, I don't actually forgive you. I don't forgive you for not doing anything,
but I still love
being
you.
My protector and all that kind of stuff. And like I don't forgive my stepmom either. Like when I say they forget, like it's even hard to talk about.
It.
No, they do. They rewrite their...
I've locked her off completely.
Oh, she's still alive. Okay.
Yeah, she's still alive, and she's around, and I just don't interact with her. But she tries to come back into my life, and it's just so difficult because she is mother to my brother, and we're so close, and he's like my bestie. Do you know what I mean? And it's like it's just so difficult because we was actually just getting on with our lives, and it's just like just because you're in your point of life now, that you want to come back in. It's just like no, I will never, and I can't ever forgive you.
Has she apologised even?
It doesn't even matter. Do you know what I mean? Because this is what I'm saying. It's just like I can't get those years back. I can't relive that childhood. Do you know what I mean? Like it's impossible. It's impossible to get an explanation from my dad because he's dead. So no, that is maybe it's even for the wrong reasons, but like that is the one piece of control that I'm gonna keep on to. That you're not gonna get that forgiveness, not in this lifetime. No, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's like if you offer that forgiveness, not that it's as calculated as this, because I don't think it is, and I completely understand where you're coming from, because I'm shit at forgiveness. I'll say that about myself. Something I'm working on. I'm struggling. But like it's almost like she can get that. I don't know her, and it's not even a personal thing, but like that person is allowed to then lift that weight, die happy. And you, like you said, you've still got to deal
and
with
live another
everything.
50 years. And
that is it. Sorry, because for me, I say this.
Look at us being toxic. Nah, fuck that.
No, it's because
You have to be
obviously
real.
I'm doing therapy in it, and it annoys me that I'm spending my own money to be healed from bullshit you put me through.
But
But it's for you.
No, of course.
Yeah,
of course
but
for me, which is
Julie's
why-
mum was like,
which is
every
why-
parent that
Fucks up their kids.
of her generation, they have to do therapy because for her, she came from a war. It was war, right, at the time, but she came here. There's a lot of stuff that was going on, and they didn't heal. So it's again hamster wheel.
I think-
and if we don't get therapy, our kids are also going to suffer.
I think,
and
but
that's-
even
but
if we get therapy,
Our kids
there's
might
things
still-
that
yeah,
our kids
yeah,
will
it's
suffer
true.
from.
Yeah,
We're not.
yeah,
We're all human
We're
beings,
not gonna
and
heal
that's
100.
a revelation that I
Yeah.
don't know. I can't remember when it happened, but you're like, rah, you are fucking human beings,
What,
and
your
you're supposed to be
parents?
perfect.
Yeah.
Raising me, it's
Yeah.
like, so we all need it, and I haven't had therapy like overarching
I haven't
therapy.
had none,
I've
zero.
had bereavement therapy.
Yeah.
And I think I do think therapy is important because I think
But
for
again,
me,
that's a privilege.
of course
Poor
it
people
is.
can't afford it.
Of course. I mean, yeah, definitely. I 100% agree. And even when I had that therapy, it was because it was a friend of my mum who knew somebody else and that, you know. But like, I think just having somebody to talk to and just, because sometimes even I'm very close to my mum and my dad, but sometimes I don't want to, and this is my own thing because I'm so protective over her in a way
That
as
way,
well,
yeah.
that I don't want to burden her with that shit.
She had you so you could burden her.
Yeah. And you know what,
Honestly.
yeah? And if I said that in her presence,
She would
she'd
be
be
livid.
yeah, exactly. She wants me to tell her everything.
yeah.
And I do tell her most things. But for example, and this is why I had bereavement therapy, it was when my nan died, it was her mum. So at that time, I really didn't feel
can't
like
tell
I
her.
can
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
to
because it's her mum, but it's your
her
grandma,
mum,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely think everybody can benefit from it. And it's scary to think that, like, I can't remember, it was a TV program I heard it on, and it's like, we fuck up our kids. Like,
No,
all of
we
us
really
do. We
And I
really do.
think for me, I started when I was going to turn 30. So I was like, listen, you've got childhood trauma that you took into your teens. You took childhood trauma, teen trauma into your 20s. Sis, you can't carry childhood,
Reveals
teen, 20s into your 30s and
30s.
continue the cycle. So like, do you know what I mean? Let's just start offloading and unpacking. And because I'm very like, because there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
You have to
unpack.
start from.
So for me, it's like, and this is what's so magic. So I started my new therapy. I started in January, right?
New
And-
therapist?
New therapist, sorry.
No, I wasn't correcting you. I was just checking.
Oh, so basically,
yeah.
I did therapy before, and then
Why did you get rid of the other one?
I stopped because I got to a place of like being okay, and then last year obviously I had me in a chokehold, and then I started literally.
So
last
why
year
did
was
you switch therapists?
Because I felt like I'd hit several
You've
reasons.
got where you could with that person.
Several reasons. I feel like when I started therapy with her, I wasn't completely honest. I'm very great at like manipulating
Masking.
Yep.
and masking. Like, there's people who
We were brought up that way. Our parents told us, when you leave this house, be a certain person.
literally. So
So
I can
we
sit in
brought
front
up
of
like
you.
that.
We're still doing therapy, and
Yeah.
like we're offloading. But sis, there's so much that do you know what I mean? And I felt like because I'd got so far with her, I felt like I couldn't now come and reveal who I really like.
Yeah.
I was like, it's too
Makes
far.
Oh yeah,
sense.
by
It was
the
your
way,
L.
I've been
Oh, by
lying
the
to
way,
you.
Yeah, I've been like, it was your L.
It was I was too far gone, and I just thought I can't now come and like take off my mask and be like, hey,
Let's go.
This is what's really going
No,
on.
literally. So I was like, do you know what? Let me, and obviously Brent being my therapist on the side,
Unofficial.
my unofficial therapist, it was like
The unofficial supplement.
I literally kept saying, okay, I
on
need
a
to go back to
podcast?
therapy. I need to go back to therapy. No, it was
Oh,
on.
yeah, it
I
was-
on-
yeah.
It was.
And then so I got a new one. And then with her, like first consultation, I said, listen, me, I'm letting you know.
I'm a liar.
Break me.
I'm gonna sit here.
Break me.
And I'm gonna bluff you. Yeah, I'm just letting you know that.
Oh,
this
you
is
told
what
her up front that you was going to
I
lie.
said, listen, like it depends on my mood and stuff here, but generally speaking, it takes me a while to kind of completely bear myself in it.
Yeah.
So challenge me. Don't just take what I say as what I really mean, because you will hear it, yeah. You know what I mean? You will hear her, how are you? I'm fine. Like, you will hear all of that, yeah? And obviously, she's very equipped anyway, so she sees straight through me anyway. So because I was so honest and upfront from the beginning, I'm finding that this time round it's a lot more beneficial. But the crazy thing is, I've been doing this since January, and if I'm honest, it's only now we're in May, and I've been doing this continuously every week. Lord, my bill is so expensive. Yeah, and it's only now that I feel like we're really like
getting into
we're really.
I'm looking for a therapist.
Getting into it where she's literally trying to like. She's now like I'm always crying. Yesterday I had a session, and I was like. Every time I have a session with you, I'm in tears. And obviously, I've got this issue of being vulnerable. Like, as much as I'm vulnerable, I don't like the feeling.
You don't want other people to see you vulnerable. You can be vulnerable in your room and cry by yourself.
So, I don't like it. So, I'm like, it's annoying because every week you're getting me to this place and I'm like, I know I pay you, but like, allow it. Do you know what I mean? And she's like, oh, but you're human. I'm like, yeah, I ain't got.
And our parents don't like that.
I don't know human.
No.
Like,
I told my mum that she should get therapy.
Or it's almost like showing that they're mediocre. Like, can you imagine our parents getting
Can
therapy?
you put the lid down on that pink, the squashies?
Because
It's
it-
been... Drying them out, they're going to be hard. Like, it's just too much.
Come see the next time.
I know.
That was me, bro.
Thanks.
Yeah, I knew it was you. That's what I didn't want to tell you.
No, but parents also make a lot of things by themselves. When I told my mum that I had like insecurity issues, she was like, well, how am I supposed to feel?
They always, what about me? If you know what I've gone through.
My mum even said that, but I said, if you're 50% of me and you think you're ugly, then how am I supposed to feel? I said, you know what?
It's not about you.
I've never discussed it again with my mum.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never ever said to my
and then she says stuff like, yeah, but when I tell you to put simple Vaseline, you don't want to. So why would you not feel like that? I said,
It's La Mer that I'm using now,
you
okay?
know what? It's okay.
No.
They're hilarious.
I don't think they're the right. I don't think the parents are the right. They don't know how to receive.
No.
My mum, she took it so personally.
This is what, you know, like the whole therapy thing is hilarious because like I think like my mum and dad in terms of their upbringing and whatever, quite similar. And the other day I had like a bit of an epiphany. I was like, rah, like my dad, like he's chatty, but he don't talk too much, if that makes sense. Like in terms of like sometimes he'll start talking and he'll be like, yeah, you know, he won't really finish it. And the other day, like we were talking and so you know I said my mum still got that old TV. My dad said it the other day. He's like, your mum acts like she hasn't got anything. She won't, it's always, oh, what can I make this into? Or what can and let me keep this into for whatever, for just in case. Whereas my dad's like, I'm okay now. I don't need to do that anymore. Let me get rid of it. So they're opposites in many ways. And what was I going to say? The therapy thing. Yeah. When I said to my mum, like, I said to her, and in so many ways, she's so modern. And then I said to her, you know, like, have you ever considered therapy? Exactly. You're already laughing because you know what it is. And she was just like, she looked at me, she went back to her screen, continued writing. There was like a good 10 seconds silence. And she was like, and what would I need that for? And I was just thinking,
you don't get it.
The reason that you just looked at me and carried on writing, that's the reason why.
Yeah.
And you know, you were saying like people genuinely can't remember stuff. I'm not sure with my mum whether it's that she can't remember, and I'm not talking about stuff. Yeah, I'm not talking about my childhood because even the other day my goddaughter was staying and I heard her talking and I welled up because I remember her doing all of these. My mum did everything, like to just, you know, I can't describe the kind of love that she poured in. Even like just the little things. She was getting my goddaughter dressed and she goes, okay, put your knickers on. And she goes, and how do you tell if it's the front or the back kind of thing? Like just the little things and like,
she used to do with
and it just it reminded me of all these little things of like teaching me how to look after myself, like the care that went into it. So it's not to do with me. And it's more to do with like her own upbringing and the responsibility that she had, that I feel like if like as soon as you talk about it, she gets kind of like defensive. Oh yeah, but that was a different time, or like I didn't have a choice, or mum didn't have a choice. Like when she's talking about her mum kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but that doesn't mean I'm not criticizing Granny. I'm just saying that for those things, you know, don't you think you deserve that grace? And it's sad to me that she won't even
Allow
consider,
Yeah.
you know?
They're not allowed to consider it.
No.
Basically, because if they consider it, it's a whole nother kind of worms.
Yeah.
There's
And
no
on
time
a logical sense of things, like if it was, for example, if it was for like a mental health, in terms like a mental health thing and seeing a psychologist, she would be an advocate for that.
Got it.
But for her own personal, like just to be her, I don't need that.
Actually, that's true because my mum's done therapy with my little sister due to the need for my little sister, but she's never really considered just do your
doing it
own.
herself.
Like you've married a fuckery man, so
No, you know what? Yeah, the thing is, I've tried to have this conversation with my family because I feel like everyone in my family needs therapy because everybody experienced the
same.
wrath
Yeah.
of that one person, and it's fucked everybody up in different ways. And it's because I see it. I see how it's played out in my brothers. I see how my brothers interact in their own family. Like I see it, and maybe because I'm doing therapy or because I've done it
I was gonna
before.
say,
like,
You've done the work.
so
You
and I'm
understand
doing the
it.
work. I see it, right? And I just always think, oh, do you know what I mean? And as a family, you know when everybody has an issue with everyone, but because we're family, we just have to accept that we're family. But we're not like a tight knit unit where like, I just feel like everyone's got their grievances with each person, right? And we just kind of coexist because we have to, not because we want to. That's just my.
and then once you take yourself out the home, you realise you actually
and
never have a reason
and that's
to
the thing,
to
right? And
live.
I feel like and I see it because obviously my brothers have left now and they're really close, and it's just me. Like now it's just me, Judah, and my mum. And me and Judah are close, but it's like I can see that if my mum wasn't like the glue, everyone would just
that's like my family.
Do you know what I mean? Just everyone's just doing their own thing, and again, that's not a bad thing if that's how you lot want to be, but.
I don't think it is bad.
No, I think
it is.
But where we,
It depends.
But how we've grown, it shouldn't
be like that. It's interesting because, again, like I say, my mum and dad have had very, very similar upbringings, and they're very. I don't think I know two polar opposite people in so many ways. So they're both one of 6. My mum's the middle child. My dad's the oldest, and like. I think position in the family, especially as male, female, whatever, it makes a difference. But my dad has got I would say it's like a cordial relationship with his siblings. I think he had to do a lot and it was a different thing.
They become a burden.
Because he's older. And so when you see them together, it's a great relationship. They have a great time. But there's not that dependent kind of relationship in adulthood that my mum and I think her sisters, because there's 5 girls on that side, whereas my dad's 3 boys, 3 girls. But yeah, like my mum has that with her siblings. Another thing as well is that she's the middle and she looked after her younger two. Like it's weird. So I think that when I see, actually, I think my mum and dad and my mum's siblings were all very close, and how later on in life, in some aspects that's caused problems, whereas my dad and his siblings haven't been as in each other's space, and actually the relationship's been more consistent throughout.
But the reason why I say that, fine, the relationship may be quite consistent, but I'm very much like that, and my mum it grates my mum because my mum says that I operate like an orphan. If I travel, I exist by myself. I do not.
I don't
have
call. When I was in uni, my mum used to be like,
it's because you're so not connected to.
I think it's different being not connected to your parents or parent than to your siblings
Even
as
my
well.
siblings.
So my dad, he doesn't call.
Message me and say, "Oh, you're alive."
Yeah.
Because we don't feel the need to check up on each other.
My mum calls me every day.
We
I don't
don't.
pick up the
No,
phone.
my mum does.
But I won't pick up.
I know,
the
my
phone.
mum calls me.
Definitely,
And the thing is, my mum's had to get to the point where she'll now tell my friends. I remember she saw one of my friends in Canning Town. She was like, "Your friend hasn't called me." And my friend had to call me. To be like, "Your mum."
Is she alive?
Do you get me? But and the thing is, and it's weird because now it's with everyone. When I'm on holiday, like when I was in LA, I can count the amount of times I spoke to people in London because as I said, because when you're with your dad, I think maybe talk to him about it. But when you're the eldest and you're not seen as a child, you see all these people as responsibilities.
Yeah.
Right? So my mum is my husband.
Yeah.
my sisters are my kids.
Yeah.
So when I leave and I travel, I'm like, oh, I don't have
those responsibilities. And
Yeah.
do you know what? It's interesting because when there's been a couple of incidents, it's interesting, like where I've seen him one time, 2017, we went St. Kitts. It was me and my dad. And it was so nice to see him as a child almost in that house. I could have cried immediately, like just seeing, like he was so happy to just be with him and his mum. And then another time where I've seen that, where that place in the family is, because I said they're not like close, they're not together all the time. So was where it was, I think it was my aunt, one of his youngest sisters, I want to say 50th. And he was talking about her. And when he was talking about her, it was like she was his child.
Yeah.
And it made, like, obviously
It warps your relationship.
Yeah, it really does. And I'm an only child. So, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So in terms of a reference point for that, I don't really have much. So those are a couple of occasions when I've really seen, like, you feel like you get a window to somebody, a bit of their past, like that thing that you just wouldn't know because you weren't there.
Because that positioning really does warp how you see your family members.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think when you're the eldest, and if you are in a very difficult home or whatever, your positioning is they're not my family in that way. And
dependence in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it in terms that they are my family, but I don't enjoy them like a family.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy them like friends, and I don't sit around.
It's not a choice.
It's not. And I remember my sisters told me off once, and it really taught me about love language. Because we used to always have arguments, and they're like, "You always bring up what you do, and it was never that I was saying, "Oh, thank me." It was just sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I'd like the appreciation. And my sister's like, we never asked you for that. And I was like, you didn't, but the circumstance did.
Yeah.
So I can't be your friend.
And
in
you
the
also
way that
didn't
you
tell
want
me to sit
be.
down.
I can't hang out. Yeah, I can't. The thing is, I can't hang out with you the way that you want me to be. From the minute I could work, I've worked.
Yeah.
From 16, I've worked, right? I've learned how to drive because, as I said, we had no vehicle in the house. It was me that was providing the transportation. So you stop seeing these people as people that you just enjoy as family, and just, these are my responsibilities. And when I'm not around them, I can breathe. But when I'm around them, I'm worrying about them.
Yeah.
As my sister was like, well, actually, we never actually asked you to do these things. And it's only now that I'm learning, like, my little sister does not like being, we can be in the living room, you can be in silence, just don't be on her phone. Don't be on your phone. Because for her, she's a quality time person, right? She don't really care about gifts and whatever. She's very much like, if I'm on my phone, it irritates her. Because she's like, but you came to spend time with us. But I don't know, because I'm always working, I'm doing stuff. I'm answering stuff. I wear so many hats in life. It's a really weird thing. So when you're saying that, Gina, sometimes I do worry that and also sometimes I'm like, if my dad dies, I know that it will change no dynamic in my household. But if my mum dies,
Yeah, different story.
that whole dynamic, because my mum is the glue.
She's the glue.
My mum is the person
Same with mine.
that checks on me, that will tell me your sister. And I remember I went on holiday with my sisters 2 years ago to Lanzarote. The joy that my mum felt.
Yeah, just
Because
to
she
see
saw
you
her
girls
sister.
together.
Because she saw
And
us
that's the
together.
thing. You know
Oh.
what? It's because obviously I don't have kids in it. So like when me and my siblings like would not be talking and stuff like that, right? So me and my brother didn't speak for for a while. I didn't go to his wedding. Yeah, I know. Oh God, but yeah. But like
reasons,
that broke her, and like I just used to think, like Philly,
Yeah.
mean this word. And then I was like, she would always say like, when you have your own kids, yeah,
You'll understand.
you understand, but you can't be at peace as a mum when your kids are beefing. Like it just doesn't, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I find that so interesting because with my dad, it's the complete opposite. Because I mean, I guess he's got hella pickney in it. So for him, he's kind of lost count. So there's no like, he's not the glue.
Yeah.
Because obviously I've got two families, so to
Yeah.
speak. I've got my dad's side and my mum's side. My dad's got hella kids. I'm number 13. And I always say that I know that the only time we're gonna all be together in terms of that side is when he passes away. But it's not gonna make a difference. Like even after he goes, we're estranged now.
It will
After
be
that, it's gonna
less,
be even worse.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, we're local.
You can't make the effort.
We are
though.
not.
If you want to.
You do if you want to. I mean, like,
Yeah, Sade, I don't want to.
you don't.
That's the problem.
No,
Gina
I
said,
don't-
fuck
I don't-
them kids.
And I think
Honestly.
both perspectives are
Yeah.
okay
But
if you want
do
to.
you know- and the thing with me is, it's not important.
The
To
only
me, it's
thing
not-
is
to me,
if
it's
you
not.
have kids and they have
Ooh,
kids
do
and they
you
don't know
know-
each
Living
other
your
and it
truth,
ends
girl,
up
because
being...
that's actually
Do
a
you know
powerful
that?
thing.
Huh?
Do you actually know?
Of course
that?
I do.
Yeah.
I grew up with like majority. The crazy thing is, yeah, like with certain individuals, we lived in the same household.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? So you again, like we were raised together. Do you know what I mean? But we're so completely like this.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it. I'm at peace with it, and I don't care. And where he is the person in the middle, and he hasn't made
the
to
effort.
bring like to try and sort it, and he doesn't care. I'm like, why the hell should I care?
No, it's if you don't care because you don't care, that's fine. I think not
but
caring because...
I also don't
Yeah.
care because I've seen you,
'Cause you
man,
don't care.
and we've.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't bother me. Like,
I got a similar situation. Like, there's 19 of us all together, like step and half, I think. But I'm more to my like dad's side of like my siblings. But like I'm because my dad died quite young. I made an active effort to get to know everybody because I was quite curious about like who they were because I didn't grow up with all of them and stuff. And like we're not like me and my younger brother are very close for sure, but the rest of them not so much. And on my mum's side, they're all in Nigeria or America, so I'm not close with them at all. And like my stepmom's side, some of them, but not all of them. But like I don't know, it kind of did give me some comfort, like to understand who they are as people, but like I just don't. I'm not a check-in every day kind of person. I'm not all that kind of thing. So yeah.
I think it's because with me, yeah, mine's. I guess maybe because mine stems from a place of not anger, but like.
Do you think you're punishing them because of your relationship with your dad?
No, it's not even me punishing them.
Do you
yeah,
think
but
you're
it's like,
protecting just your own space and your own peace?
you're not of sound mind, man.
I'm done. That's not what I was expecting.
I wasn't expecting it, but it's a very valid reason to not
They can't
associate.
be all of them.
No, of course not. But do you know what it is? Yeah, I guess mine's from a place of hurt because obviously I'm like, so I'm towards the young ones, innit? You lot are big adults,
And yeah,
obviously I'm a big adult now,
but I wasn't.
You
I
lot
wasn't
are even
before.
bigger,
Do you understand what I mean? And you lot are much older than me, right? So I just feel like it got to a time in life here where like you kind of like pushed me to the side, innit?
Yeah.
And left me there. And that's fine because I'm fucking a family, innit? So it's all right. So I'm okay. It was all right, but it's like now that I'm getting older and like obviously I guess you see me doing well online and stuff. No, big man, no.
in your DMs.
Stay where you are. Stay where you are because it's not now that you want to try and kind of like rekindle this situation. Prime example, so it was my dad's 80th, yeah? 2 years ago. And I'm randomly minding my own business. And remember, I don't have any, when I say guys, we're local, I don't think you understand. We live in the same borough. Like we're not, some of them don't live in the borough, some live in Ghana, but generally speaking, the core
The ones
majority
who live,
of them,
yeah.
we're not far apart, right? And minding my own business, my mom was like, oh, your sister called and asked for your number. I said, why? She's like, oh, they want to do something for your dad. I was just like,
Go on then.
Bearing in mind, yeah, every year before, whenever it was my dad's birthday, they always threw him like a family
So
party.
what are they calling you for?
I
Cash?
never got invited. They would always throw a party for this old man, and I would never work because I keep calling him old.
Yes.
And I'll never get invited ever, right? But they invite Georgia. Georgia would get invited.
Okay, that's a different. Okay, that makes
that's
sense.
so
crazy.
they would invite
Yeah,
Georgia
yeah.
because obviously Georgia's baby last, right? She's the youngest.
Got it.
And age gap wise, she's the same age as a lot of their kids. So my nieces and my sister are like peers. Do you get what I mean? So they kind of grew up together.
Grandbrothers.
No, literally. Literally
That was the like comic relief.
Literally grandbrothers. Yeah, Georgia's got grandbrothers and grandsisters. So do I, to be fair. So
How old is your
my
eldest
eldest
sibling?
60.
Oh, yeah, that's grandbrother.
Yeah, I got grandbrother. Literally. So
That is literally George's grandmother.
yeah.
That could be her granddad.
My grandmother.
No,
Literally.
Her dad.
No, not the granddad, the sibling.
Yeah,
Oh,
6
yeah.
years. That's the grandbrother.
That is a grandmother.
Yeah.
Not for you exactly, but for Georgia.
It could
I
be
think
though.
for me,
It could be the
A
grandbrother.
few extreme teenage pregnancies.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was I even saying before this?
Shit, that'd be a great grandbrother.
For Georgia. Yeah.
Grandbrother for me, for her is great
Could be a
grandbrother.
great grandbrother. Yeah, your dad literally could be a great granddad.
They didn't invite you to the party. They invited
I
Georgia.
need to invite
Start using that
Georgia. And I get it
more.
because obviously she's close to like their kids and stuff. It makes sense, yeah. But I would always be on the sidelines, and I'd always think, rah, like, am I some like not bad breed, but again, like, it's wanting acceptance in it. Remember, I'm a person who growing up, I like confidence is a thing for me, innit? So if I'm not feeling like wanted or like included in my family, it's like, are you gonna share the joke?
I can't even share it.
I'm like, wow.
Is it a news?
No, it's not. I wish that was. Anyway. No, I can't even. I can share it, but it has to get cut out because.
Okay, then don't bother. Do
it later.
Yeah. So like that was a thing in it, and so like, so when my mum's like, oh, they want your number for this party, I'm like, oh, so now they know what I mean.
Contributions.
Of course, right? So we're in this WhatsApp group. And everyone's like, oh, hi, obviously it's Papa's birthday.
Digiton. I was going to say the full surname, but it already is.
It's Papa's birthday coming up, yeah.
Fucking brilliant. That's brilliant.
These are the ideas that we want to like. These are the ideas of things that we want to do.
That's
So everyone's reeling off. Oh,
money.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, so what was it?
Of course. And everyone's just, and I'm not texting in this group once, yeah. I'm
so they added you.
You should have said, I'm legally blind and legally broke, okay?
I'm reading everything. And I'm like, these motherfuckers. I thought, wait a minute. I was enraged.
They just wanted an extra person.
Ooh, not enraged, bitch.
I was enraged, yeah.
Angry, you were
I was
enraged.
enraged, yeah. Because I thought, hold on a minute. Like, my blood was boiling, yeah. And then I said to my sister, I was like,
Please, I don't belong.
I said, George, I'm leaving the group. She's like, oh, don't leave the group. It's going to be dramatic. I said,
Yes,
I'm leaving the
yes,
group.
that's
I told
what-
my
that's
mum,
what
I'm
I was
leaving the
going
group.
for.
My mum
Drama.
was like, oh, no, don't. Just wait till afterwards. Like, she's like, even if you don't want to type in a group, don't type in a group, whatever. Then there was one day and was like, oh, yeah, so they wanted a contribution, and then it was like, oh, here's the bank details. At that point, like, I just
Exit
lost it. I
stage
just left the group. Then Jules was like, why did you leave?
I'm guessing you was the only one that
I
left.
just said, child, don't talk to me because you've been included the whole fucking time.
Someone messaged
no
me on the
contribution.
side and was like, oh, what? And I said to my mum, I was like, Mummy, do you know what, yeah? But the thing is, my mum understood where I was coming from, innit? And I was just like,
No, I think we
I've
all
not-
understand.
I've
what
not
you're
spoken-
I'm angry
That
for
is
you.
legit.
Literally,
Mad.
I've not spoken to you lot, yeah, in about 5 or 6 years. Like, I generally have not had a conversation with you lot for years, right?
So,
and it's only because Papa is
No, but hold on. What did you say when you were first added to the group? Because I think what I would have done is either, and this is where
You're working on some
I'm
things.
working on a lot of things, innit?
Yeah.
When we were in the car the other day, I was like, I don't even know who the fuck I am anymore because that old bitch.
Yeah.
But like, it would have been so why am I here? Or
Oh, you broke niggas need me, huh?
yeah, exactly. Or an immediate exit the group or something.
Yeah.
Or is it money that you want? Something very rude. Like,
Yeah,
'cause-
no. I knew the thing is, I knew why I was there. I knew that
no,
the only reason
and
why
I
you lot want
respect
me
that
in here-
you managed to
Because you're the
contain
one that
it.
has all the money. You're the millionaire.
It's not even that. I just think it's a case of obviously you're doing something for him. You want everyone to contribute, right?
No, but
it's
you
like-
didn't want me to contribute in any
When
other
everyone
things.
invited
This is the
before.
thing.
So
And that's
what
really
I'm
annoys
saying
me.
is,
Sometimes
suck my
life you do have to be
motherfucking
paid.
dick.
No, which is why I left the group,
She
and
lives petty.
then I said to my, huh?
I said, you live
I don't
there.
even
do.
think, but then petty is it's got a negative connotation.
Yeah,
Is that petty?
let's reclaim words. Mediocre,
Yeah.
petty.
Yeah,
let's
it's not.
reclaim
I don't
them.
think. I mean, petty can be petty,
Actually,
but I don't think that's
it's
realistic.
Executing justice.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I love that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah, no, but I left, and then I just me and my sister did something for him separately on his birthday
You
because
are
I was
better than
like,
me.
no, do you know what? Because I was like, I'm not trying to be in the mix with all of you lot so you can act like we're one happy kumbaya because we're really not. Like, we are not. And it's so funny when, like, my dad calls, or, like, the other day, I was with Georgia and my dad called and, like, my other sister was there. And then my dad does this thing where he's like, oh, your sister says she wants to talk to you, or do you want to talk to her?
hung
He's
up
like,
the phone,
no.
bro.
God.
But then he put her on the phone.
The
Obviously,
blinking guy.
not to speak to me, and then I was listening to her, like, talking to Georgia, but I've been petty in the background, like, bitch. Like, I'm just literally being childish. And Georgia's like, really? I'm like, nah, she gets on my nerves, man.
I'm guessing she's older as well.
Yeah, but we're not that far
Her
apart,
grand
though.
sister.
Oh, okay.
Like, she's the one that I was, like, raised with.
Got it.
To be
And she
fair.
didn't want to speak to you.
No, because we had a... Do you not
You were at
remember?
odds. You were
I
at
was
odds.
with you. When we went to Hackney and we went to... was it not the Black Girl Magic Show? Or was it Kojo's Comedian? We went to Hackney Empire
And your sister was there.
to watch something, yeah?
Yeah. Oh my God, this was years ago, G.
Literally. It
That was
me,
maybe like
it was
10
me, you
years
and
ago.
Irene.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yeah.
We've not spoken since then. Christel.
Yeah, that was maybe a decade ago.
That was a very long
almost.
time ago. We haven't spoken since. Because...
Oh my God, I remember.
Do you remember when we were buying jerk chicken?
Can
I
you
was with
share?
you.
I remember.
It was so minor though. It was such a minor thing, but again, I'm prideful in it. So we've gone to this comedy thing.
This was like
right?
2014.
Yeah, it was very long. It was a very
Jesus
long time ago.
Christ.
No, it was. And we've gone to this thing, and it's around the time when. Do you remember when WhatsApp? When WhatsApp first got voice calls, but the voice call button was next to your DP. So
Yeah.
people
Okay.
Oh,
used
that
to
was
creep
treacherous.
on your DP
Yeah,
and
yeah.
accidentally call people.
That was
Yeah.
treacherous.
Do you remember when everyone was
Still to
calling
this
people
day,
randomly,
I still
right?
do that.
No, but that's like if
Pictures
you
on
touch
the
your
other
phone
side now.
accidentally. But before, remember the button was right
Yeah,
next
so
to the
you
DP.
couldn't pre without
Right.
ruin shit.
So obviously we've gone to this show, yeah, and I've not spoken to her in God knows how long. So she's obviously called me because she's seen us at this event. But I've seen my phone ring and just put my phone back in my bag because I'm thinking, oh, she's probably calling me by accident because she don't call me.
I saw you, Gina.
Lo and behold, within we're standing there, someone comes over and she's giving me mad attitude. And at the time,
I
she's
remember that,
beefing my
yeah.
mum. Her and my mum are like on bad terms. And again, I've got nothing to do with that. But she thinks that I'm picking my mum's side. Obviously, it's my half sister. And to be honest, growing up, her mum had like a rocky relationship anyway. So she's just come at me with bare vim and like aggression. And I'm like, hello, hi, nice to see you too. Did you enjoy the show? And she's like, don't ever ignore my call. Like, just, you know, them. And I remember Christel was like, who's that?
Yeah, I was so baffled.
And I was like, that's my sister. She was like,
It was the most
She was
baffling
like,
experience
you're
ever.
who? I said, she goes, you're who? I said, yeah. And like, she just, the way she came at me, she
Yeah,
just
it was mad. I remember that day.
Yeah, it was
She
it
was
was
so
embarrassing.
annoyed.
Because I was just thinking, wait a minute. Like, we're in public and you're coming to cause a scene. So what I did the next day was I woke up in the morning and I took my phone and I sent the rudest message of my soul. And I was just like, don't ever in your life talk to me like... And obviously she's older than me, but again, to me, respect has to be earned. I read her. I was like, don't ever in your life talk to me like that ever again. Like, are you mad? Are you insane? And that was in 2014, was it?
Yeah, that was.
And we're now in 2022 and we have never spoken since.
Wow.
And I've seen her on so many occasions and we just literally walk straight past each other.
I like that. I
And
really
it's
like
fine.
that.
Because you're older than me. And you, like, at the end of the day, I didn't get where the energy was coming from because I just thought, hold on a minute. I don't, like, you don't call me. And I said to her, why would I be ignoring your phone calls? You actually don't call me. You don't call me. So I generally thought
As a
you were
mistake.
calling me by accident because you were checking my display picture. Like, I have got no reason to ignore you. But you know when someone comes at you so disrespectful, her tone of voice, the hand gestures, you're coming to give me energy. And I just thought, I just had a really good time here. You're coming to embarrass me in front of my peers. Not on my watch. No, because it was even embarrassing when Christel was like, who the fuck is that?
We were just like, who
And I
is
was
this even
like,
being?
I was like, that's my sister. And her response rattled me and I thought, nah, I'm dealing with you tomorrow. When I
Do you
wake
know
up.
what you should have done? You should have dealt with her right there and then where she fucking dealt with you.
Welcome.
Wow.
Sorry.
No, you're proper war child, isn't it?
Do you know what, yeah?
This is a new fuck of the family.
You know what my dad used to always say to me? He's never hit me or anything, but I said to him like the other day, I was like, was I a dickhead? Because I really did think that you would like beat me up kind of thing, and you never did. So why did I? He was like, oh, obviously I threatened you in it, and like. But he used to say to me like when I was a kid, if you're rude in public, I'm gonna bust you up in public, and that was enough for me to know. Don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Should have reprimanded her right there.
No, I'm not
Reprimand.
I mean, but yeah. And then obviously my mum was like, oh no, sort it out.
Your mum is such a peacemaker.
Bro, she's so annoying,
Christianity.
man.
I said this the last time. I aspire to have that level of grace.
No,
Faith.
one thing about African mums is that faith keeps them at one level
Above.
Because to this day, my mum will beg me to
Forgive
call my dad, send him money. How come you don't give him? Because I give my mum a monthly allowance. She's like, it would be nice. I said,
That's nice.
That nigga works. Oh, my
And
mum
even
had
if
an
he
allowance.
didn't, it's,
No, I said, when she said it will be nice,
Yeah,
I'm saying,
I said that was
Yeah.
fantastic, but not on my watch because I also calculated this man has not given me money in a decade. So where's this coming from? But they operate at this level that I'm like, do you know what?
it's
Jesus
a
is
level
really,
of grace
Jesus
that
is
is
really
just.
operating in your
grace.
heart.
I don't see it as grace.
What
I
do you
think
see
it's
as
pretty
love is
toxic.
blind?
No,
I'm not saying it's not toxic, but
Over
it's
your
to be able to move past whatever it is,
Whatever that
and say, you know what, I'm still gonna do better. I'm not interested in taking the moral high ground ever.
Do you know what I think is toxic? Let me tell you what I think is toxic, yeah, because I feel like it is toxic because when you are a child
If you see it,
in that environment, yeah, and you see certain things that become normal, when you now become an adult and you go through similar experiences, you're gonna think it's okay because you experienced it, like, or you witnessed your mum do it. Prime example, toxic relationships. I witnessed my parents literally, it was toxic hell and abuse, right? And I've been in similar situations in relationships and not in the moment, not identifying that this is a replica of what I was brought up in. And to me, it's normal, yeah?
Yeah.
Because I can be telling Beverly a story and Beverly's like...
sorry, what?
And Beverly's very theatrical with her responses. When I'm telling Beverly...
Like that.
Nah, this is even calm.
Do you know? Because in my head, I can't fathom it.
Yeah.
I've said
So,
that though.
it's like-
So when literally.
So I always think I've got a level of patience, but my level of patience, I guess, has...
When it runs out. It has balance.
it has magnitude. So what she tells me, mine's like negative.
Yeah.
Compared to what I go through, which
Even
it's,
that.
it's pretty bad to me.
Yeah.
But
It's
I'm
not
at
that level.
No, because
And then
peace of
you've
mind is
been in my
priceless.
household and you've seen like how we operate, and I think you can understand why
you are the way you
I'm
are.
kind of like
Men ain't
No
shit.
tolerance.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, it's not that men ain't shit. And my mum says this to me. She's like, and I'm like, it's not helpful when you, sorry, darling, you say this, but she's like, oh, you know, if you think you're gonna find someone like your dad, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, literally.
No.
And she's like, she even says it. She'll say like, ain't nobody perfect. Your dad ain't perfect, but I'm doing all right. And I think that's another thing for me. It's like, I can't now go. My favourite line, my dad came here on a boat. I can't now go and do less
Yeah.
when already I'm okay by myself. Do you know what I mean?
But that's the thing, a lot of women, being by yourself is not...
Yeah.
You can't be by yourself. Society, your mum, your family, what are you saying? What you can't be by yourself. And that again has been indoctrinated in our brain to make us, even if it means being in an unhappy situation.
That's better than being on your
It's
own.
better than being by yourself. People are getting bust up. Some people are getting cheated on.
It's rewritten,
to be
babe.
honest, I feel like we are
Yeah.
rewriting that because we're having these conversations, like we're very aware and we're speaking about it like openly, right? I feel like
It still don't help though.
the older generations. No, do you know what? Yeah, and do you know what? Do you know what I'm realizing? Yeah, I'm realizing that not everything you. So, for example, yeah, I was always kind of taught and told Your friends don't need to know about your relationship. You need to keep things to yourself and blah, 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 blah. It's just you and your partner and all this stuff, right?
And
I operated in that, right? And it's only when I left my relationship that I was opening my mouth.
The resale one.
Thank you. And telling my people and stuff, yeah.
Oh, God.
And when I'm telling my friends
Sorry, what?
And the reaction.
You what?
The reactions I'm getting, they're just like...
It's because it's too late for us to bust them up now.
Exactly.
Of course, but this is
These
why.
times I was in the house every fucking
He was like, yo, bottle of Hennessy, let's go, baby. She's like, I was always there.
Yeah, like, sorry, what?
And I was like, yeah. But like, it's made me realise that you should talk.
Yeah. Be vocal.
And be vocal because
you should even tell me why he's there.
Because to be honest, like, but then it also, do you know what it showed me though, yeah? It showed me that I'm working on, everyone's working on something.
Yeah. And that's okay as well.
My
tins.
What's the word you used earlier when you're desensitized to stuff? Like my level of
my
tolerance level. Yeah. Two, what I've normalized is not
normalized
healthy.
Is the
what
word.
I've normalized in relationships is not healthy at all, and it's because of what I witnessed growing up, right? And what I saw was normal. And obviously, as a kid, you're not really. Not like you assume everyone's household is like yours, but I feel like as kids you don't really talk about like your household like that.
But I think you do. It's you don't think about it. So by default, it's like this is normal for me, and therefore
I was the only one that had my dad at home.
Yeah,
so everyone's like, oh, my mum, this one, this. In my head, I'm like, I don't know what I'll do without my dad. Like in my house, my dad was the guy. If you needed something, dad's there.
100%.
My dad's like, I'm gonna take you on holiday, but any trip you want to go on, just bring me the thing. I'll give you the money. You lot can go. Type vibe. So it's almost like the opposite. Yeah. So in my head again, like I said, I put men on such a pedestal. I'm like, bro,
I put one man on
and
a pedestal.
And you're not on this 6 figures that everyone. You was on basic. Like,
but you did what you needed to do.
Your
and
time
I think
to take me to school and all of that sort of stuff.
That bit is so important.
I'm saying. My dad did nothing.
Neither of them.
Like my dad still drives me to the station.
Oh, he better.
To go to work. Oh, wow. And everyone's like, you're a bit of a princess, aren't you? I'm like, no, because my dad always says to me.
Yes, I am a princess. That's your privilege right there, and you're allowed. Don't let no man come and take you for a rascal either. That's what my dad told me.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Drive me to the station, come back, and I'm 33.
Even okay, so I'm 34, going 35, and my dad, even today, I said, let me give him a lie-in. I'll walk to the station, but best believe on the way back home, you're coming to meet me.
My mum, I call my mum and be like,
I love him.
10-minute walk, man, 0.5 miles is far.
No, I'm doing
that road to East Ham Station is annoying me. I'm not gonna lie.
Mum, it's raining.
Yeah, and and like I said, so one of my best friends, she's got. It is. Honestly, and this is the thing, I'm happy. There was a time when it was almost like, and this is why I feel like I'm freeing myself of certain chokeholds, almost like offensive if people say, oh, you're lucky.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm lucky and I'm accepting of it, and I'm happy to even talk about it because like my friend, we've been best friends since the first day of year 7. And she was the one who said, even now, she has a, like my dad's a Liverpool fan like me, and she's a Chelsea fan. So they have their little football. They have their little thing as well. And like we've known each other for so long. And she was the first person who actually pointed it out to me that you have there is like that's not like for everyone doesn't have that. And her mum and dad are together. She's got a good relationship with her dad, but it was just that she pointed that out to me, and I remember it so clearly, her saying like that to me, and that was the first time I even thought about it to think, wow, actually, yeah,
because to you it was normalized.
It was normal. It was normal for me to think, oh yeah, like, and even my mum says this. I don't remember it, but she says that. Once when I was, and this is primary school age, like, because my mum and dad are not married. They've been together, 38-9 years?
Nice.
And she said to me, oh, do you think me and your dad should get married?
What now?
No,
I'm rooting for them to do it. Ask her.
Do you know what's strange? I think they should. And
legally.
Yes.
So we've
There's
done
grants
Lawyer.
and stuff. Yeah, there's grants and stuff that you get as a
Lawyer.
widow.
Yeah.
You don't just get as a long term.
Yeah, so there was like, you know, we've all got wills and different things like that, but still, even after that, like you said, there's still benefits that even exceed all those documentations that you pay thousands of pounds for to make sure that X or Y and Z is all right. Yeah, it's still marriage.
As a celebration of a milestone birthday.
Exactly. Well,
Not
this
a
is
milestone
it.
birthday.
No, as in
Well,
because
We've
to
been planning
them,
the party.
We've been
I
planning.
think it seems like they don't want to make it a big thing that they get married.
My
So if
mum
they-
is absolutely so. She's like, I can't do. I would. You know, my dad said, "Oh yeah, I'd marry your mum in a heartbeat," but you know, she's not really into the big thing. And I said, "What about going away?" And this same chokehold of siblings that we were talking about. My mum knows that her sisters would be furious if she just went away and
So
did
if you
it,
did a
and that's
birthday-
her idea of what would be, you know,
ideal wedding type vibe.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
What
just
was I
tell
saying
her
before?
birthday. Just tell her next birthday.
No, you were
Quick.
saying about, she said,
Oh,
should your
privilege.
parents get married? You
Yeah.
were talking about the privilege of your relationship with your dad.
If you're
Oh yeah,
yeah.
still can't really remember. I was
Do
going
you know
back.
what I find hard though? Yeah, well, not hard, but what I find interesting is growing up, I was such a daddy's girl though. Yeah, like I literally was attached to my dad's hip. I went everywhere with him. I didn't really have a close relationship with my mum, and then it was getting replaced, so to speak. Here, so one of my
By Georgia?
no, not
Another-
even Georgia.
oh,
One of
there's
my
more?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, because there's a
with
big
us,
gap.
Yeah. So one of my older sisters, she was like 2 years older than me. She came from Ghana, and she came and lived with us, and she caused so much. She was like Satan.
Hey.
But it's
Nah,
because she didn't get
was.
anything from your dad for so long.
She was. Nah, man. she literally was.
Sorry,
yeah.
why? Sorry, Kafra, why?
No, she was a lot. And like she just caused like the dynamics completely changed. Not even just with me, like even with my parents and stuff. So like after that, it's when like I started to kind of pull away. And then you know when you get to that age where you start to see things for what they are, not what you want them to be. So I started to see him as this aggressive, like when I was younger, I didn't take it in. Does that make sense? Like I was just
You can't. You don't have the language or the brain capacity.
I knew like it was bad because I knew it was bad.
Saying it right here.
Yeah, like I knew it was bad, obviously, but you just don't really identify with it, and you kind of just block it out with food or. And I say that because I was an emotional eater when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it came from, like always eating and like being like the chubbier kid and stuff, and like. Obviously, at the time, I was the youngest. I was the youngest for a while. So, do you know what I mean? And then it was the awkwardness of when my brothers came, there was this rift between my. It didn't make any sense. It was
Came
like,
from where, sorry?
were we all born in Ghana, innit?
Yeah. Oh, so they came.
They
way
came after me.
you.
Yeah, they came after me.
Wow.
So when they came, so I came when I was 2.
Yeah.
So I don't remember.
That's what I'm saying. When you came.
Yeah, I came when I was 2.
I'm jealous
And then
of that.
They came.
That you weren't born here.
I don't remember when they came here. I don't remember how old I was, but all I remember is the rift and awkwardness of number one, me meeting my brothers for the first time, which was hella awkward. And then also the awkwardness of the fact that my dad had an issue with them not being his kids. These times, big man, you have a whole football
It's
team.
mental to me.
Like it was mind blowing, but you had an issue with accepting these two. So the dynamics were mad. So there was that. So it's like when I was younger, because I was spoiled and like my dad's little thing, I was kind of in my own little bubble. And then when I no longer was like his spoiled little angel and I was no longer in that bubble,
popped, it was mad
it
for
literally
you.
popped and it. When I say it rattled me to my core, I didn't know what to do because these lot didn't like me, the boys, because obviously I'm his pick-me and he abuses them. So it's like, you're his offspring, so I don't like you.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I didn't get along with my older sister because she kind of replaced me. And then it's like, he was like the common denominator of everything. But I was like, I used to really like you. Like, how did we get here? It was so hard to take in as a child. Do you know what I mean? Or as a teenager.
Make sense of it,
As a
really.
teenager,
Yeah.
to be fair. So like, that's kind of where it all like stemmed from. And then I started like really seeing him for who he was. And I thought, nah, you can't be
once
my
your eyes open.
You
up,
can't be my
okay.
dad. Like
Yeah.
how?
Never close it.
Like, do you know what I mean? And I think that's what I've kind of struggled with. Like, accept him because I remember how much I used to pop I love you. Not saying I don't, but do you know what I mean? You know when the bond is so strong, I literally went from one extreme to the other. So it was so hard for me to like navigate through that. And yeah. Wow, this feels like therapy, boy. Shit.
No,
lovely. I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Literally.
So
anything
Viola.
else on the Viola thing?
Viola.
Yeah.
To be fair, it started from her dad, didn't it?
Can
So
I ask
yeah.
a question? It's a bit controversial.
Go for it.
I'll phrase it like this. Do you think Viola's portrayal of Michelle was her being mediocre?
I didn't
haven't
see
seen
it,
it.
yeah, which
I've
I
seen
wanted
it.
to, but
I've
people
seen it
are
'cause it was a
complaining. Go on.
Is it a film?
Oh, it was
No.
the...
And I think that people need to understand the context. It's not a biopic of Michelle.
Oh, I thought it was.
It's not even
It's
just
one
based on
episode,
her.
isn't it? Like,
It's like
each of
based on all the
First
three
ladies.
first
First Ladies.
Now, what? So I don't find it mediocre. I think what it was is it was necessary to transform her into Michelle. The mannerisms, even there was like a billboard on Sunset when I was walking past. I didn't even know that was Viola because of how she.
But
had
there was a thing, there was a whole
transformed
Instagram thing, wasn't it? About like how she was doing, before it
Yeah.
even got released, about the, like, you know, the closed
The
mouth
little
smile and all the
yeah.
mannerisms, how
All
she
her
had those down.
mannerisms. That billboard, I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, that's Viola. Like it just didn't. And I watched one episode of it and it was like, one, it's also quite satirical. So it's not like it's not a biopic. It's not, it's just literally it's a sitcom.
Any old thing,
It's
yeah.
the thing. And I think it's to transform her into what Michelle is, who actually has very specific mannerisms. Like the way she holds her mouth, the way she
Yeah,
speaks.
she
It's very
does.
specific. Do I think she may be over
Caricature of...
Yes, I think maybe there was a bit of, but I think some of that work was necessary to transform her from Viola
To Michelle.
to that.
Michelle.
GM, because it's that,
What is
even the way
this
she
thing?
holds her
Sorry.
mouth.
Have you seen? You need to see the clip.
Oh, it's called
really.
First Ladies. The show's called First Ladies. It's
Yeah.
on,
I haven't
It's
seen
on
it.
Netflix, isn't
it's on
it?
Yes, on Showtime.
Okay.
Is that what
It's a
Forces
US thing.
No,
Oh.
Forces on Stars.
Tommy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
That's what I've paid for.
Yeah.
Do I think? I don't think it's mediocre.
Innit?
I just think maybe she over-exaggerated that to get the character.
Yeah.
But I do feel some of it was necessary.
Like literally character acting, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what
because some of it.
So why was she getting attacked? Sorry.
Because it is.
It's
It is
too much.
over the
it's
top.
over the
It's not
top.
very good.
It's over
Is
the
it?
top.
Yeah.
Mediocre.
No, is it mediocre?
That's what
question.
Yeah, but I'm saying the reason why I wouldn't say it's
Do you know
mediocre
what
is
I
because
mean?
I think mediocre is when you haven't perfected the craft. I think she over-exaggerated. I think because I think she did.
We all have bad days at the office.
Yeah, and I think she did a good job in trying to make herself
Today I had one.
into Michelle.
Yeah.
I said Michelle's a very specific, like
She is.
the way Michelle carried herself, the way she spoke. The thing is, and it's funny because even if you look at Michelle,
But-
Michelle also does that Mandem type thing. If you look at the way she carries herself, as a
Yeah,
person,
when
Is she
yeah.
around Mandem
Quite-
though? When I watch Becoming...
No, it's not. But I know what you.
I,
It's
I get what you're saying, but she's not
it's
around
the toughness.
them.
the
Yes.
tough, yeah,
Yeah.
like she's still quite tough.
My
like,
bro this, my bro... I get what you're
I remember
saying.
even watching her at Essence, and she is still tough. Everything about her, even
Yeah,
and she
she
says that
has
she
to
grew up
be.
with a guy, she grew up with her brother.
Yeah.
You know, she still is quite. And for you to go from Viola tough to that, you're still
It's a
having
different.
it's
It's
a
polar
different
opposite.
tough.
Yeah.
I think, like, obviously it's hard to have this conversation if most people haven't seen it, but I just wonder, is she even allowed to be mediocre? Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is
No,
the
no, she
thing.
definitely won't.
Because she's got so much.
But that's why we're
Well,
annoyed.
in pay
That's why
though,
people
because
are
was it?
annoyed.
I don't want to do that thing, but there was. I'm sure it was Viola when they were talking about. Was it her that they were like, "Oh, you're like the Black Meryl Streep,"
Yeah.
and then
She
it's like,
talks
okay,
about
but
They pay me then,
Yeah.
pay me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, she should be allowed to be mediocre because
Yeah.
the way you're
Let her
paying
have
me
one.
is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Is she saying paying because previous jobs aren't paying her what she thinks
No,
she
no,
No,
deserves?
just like in general across the
Comparison.
board and
Look at the films Meryl Streep's
money.
been in.
Yeah, the money, the films, like the roles that she's cast
Yeah.
for, everything.
And
Like,
Meryl Streep wasn't she in The Devil Wears Prada?
yeah.
And that was
That's
literally.
Yeah, but the money that
Love that
generates
film.
the money that generates in comparison, as in.
Yeah, but that's only because they allow white women to be. take
Yeah,
those roles in
exactly.
general.
Yeah.
So but I'm saying if Viola took that role, sorry,
What, The Devil Wears Prada?
would it amass the same amount of money.
Well, no, because actually it's so unrealistic for a black woman, a dark-skinned black woman, to be in the job
does that also equate
she was
to the
playing.
reason why she doesn't get that money?
Yes,
No, it's because we don't imagine. We don't allow ourselves to imagine.
Exactly. So then it would be like a Disney film or some shit. Because
remember,
like,
Black Panther,
why?
which was a black film and a black cast,
But because it was
records.
Avengers, though.
Yeah, but
Because it was Avengers and it was an all-black cast and it was put... And also, we have to also acknowledge that it's
Marvel.
Supernatural shit
Yeah.
that's
No, but
happening
it is,
here.
but it's because we don't allow.
We can't have...
writers don't imagine anything else for black people.
No, supernatural
Can
shit,
people-
all black people together, but not black people coexisting in a normal way. Being paid,
But if they started saying no, and then demanding,
but then they won't work. They'll be broke.
That's the problem. But I do think part of it is down to the actors saying yes to these shit.
But then they're gonna be broke.
Because
Because even look at Bridgerton.
Because
Bridgerton, white people made such a big deal to be like, oh my god, how
There's
can you
Asian,
how can you have Asian and black people? Like what the fuck? Like it's
but
it's a fucking mythical world.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's what I'm saying,
anyone
but
who
I'm saying as a
complains.
black actor, and if you for example, like we have the Michaela Coles of the world, like the things that they write now.
Yeah, but
If
look how they did her when it came to awards season.
She's what's the word?
Anomaly?
Anomaly.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. But if everybody acted that way
even that, is
because
she
they're
an
not
anomaly?
chasing the bag.
No, she's not an anomaly.
She's not an anomaly. She's
it's
still
only
writing the same
because
thing.
she's
I
what
mean,
we
in terms of what she's been able to achieve, in terms of how she's funded, in terms of her grade.
Yeah, that's what
in
I'm
that,
trying to say.
yeah.
As
That kind
in,
of stuff. Like
Robert Downey Jr. for
Well, no,
Marvel,
I
he's
wouldn't
just
say
like,
she's
I want
anomaly because I would
percentage,
say-
taking
her
it.
Yeah.
equivalent is kind of like
Can a black person come and say?
No, her equivalent is
But you wouldn't say
Issa
that
Rae.
because you're scared of
I mean,
losing
you
the
can.
job.
The one job.
Okay.
because you also have your kids to feed, your mortgage to
I think
pay.
it was 20 million that you could actually
Yeah.
make if you
I
said,
definitely
I would just want box office money. But yeah,
Sorry, I missed
back
that.
to...
But it's that they don't allow people to imagine. So when we have something like Insecure, that's why we always like, it's just a normal girl
for a while.
doing normal shit. Just doing normal shit.
But that's because she said, I'm doing this.
and I'm gonna do normal shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not the simplicity of her journey. Is
No,
it?
no.
She done like YouTube for years.
No, when I say
Chewing
doing
gum,
this,
was
know what I
it?
mean?
Was that what it's called?
No,
that's
that's
what
what
Issa
you're
Rae.
talking about.
Yeah.
Issa Rae.
Yeah.
But
Parental.
as in,
Ray.
it took a while,
No,
but it's
we're
because
talking
she carried on. Whereas most people just be like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, I can't be bothered.
I
yeah.
just want to get my 1 mil for this show, my 1 mil for this
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
I'd rather do 21 million shows than sit there and do an Insecure type vibe.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't know where it could go.
And I guess she also privileged that she didn't come from a tough background.
Who?
Issa Rae.
Oh, I don't know.
Her dad's a pediatrician. Her
Got
mum,
it.
yeah,
Where's she from? Cameroon, right?
no, her
Everything.
dad's from
Sierra Leone?
no, her dad's from Senegal.
Senegal. That's
Oh, okay.
So
Is she
lived
married
in,
yet?
she lived in
yeah, she's married.
She lived in
Yeah.
Senegal for a while. She
What do you
lived
mean
here, so
yet?
she's
No,
had a good.
because
We saw all those pictures.
Yeah, the pictures was
That was
good.
from
Oh, it was real.
Oh my god, she's in
Yeah.
London now, and my
she's
friend was
playing.
with her, and I'm just like,
I saw the video.
I want to be
of her,
around.
like-
I love Issa Rae.
Really?
There's something about Issa Rae that I just
Well, she
love.
it's like
No.
normality as well
I
as
don't
Yeah.
like her, but
There's
I'm
something
not-
about
I'm
Issa
not
Rae
there.
that I
relatable.
yeah, I just feel like she's so
No, I
like.
tell you hate her, Beverly.
I didn't say I hate her. I just said I'm
what are
not
you
where
saying?
she
I feel
is.
like she's just like one
I
of
saw
us.
Yvonne Orji
Yeah, I
and I
agree.
thought she was hilarious.
See.
I
On
do
the
like
contrary,
Yvonne
I
Orji.
don't.
Yeah.
I thought she was hilarious.
There's something about
She's a comedian.
I don't find her bad. I
Yeah.
think there's something I gravitate more to Issa Rae than Yvonne Orji. Maybe do you know what? It's the Nigerian accent that irritates the hell out of me.
when she tries to go
I
back
hate that.
into it. Yeah. Even her
It
Breakfast
just
Club
feels so
interview.
forced. I
Yeah,
hate
yeah.
it. But I hate that anyway. I hate when people use the African accent for
African-American.
comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This
But
is
her comedy
like-
But can I be
was
honest?
fun,
I
I'm
think
not
it's
gonna lie.
an American thing though.
It is.
'Cause I feel like
Because
when-
the
Actually,
difference-
remember
always
Rotimi?
so poor.
Do you remember Rotimi used to do it? I used to want to vomit.
I
The
feel
difference
like
is though, but at least their parents are actually from Nigeria,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they're
But
imitating
that's
their
what makes it
mums.
worse.
Whereas no, but some people are not even imitating their mums. So their mums don't.
It's just you're just
their mum
taking
is
the
like
piss.
5 generations, bro.
You know what I can't
Relax.
stand? I can't stand black men. Sorry to go back to
Oh,
this.
black men.
Full
Yeah,
stop,
yeah.
guys. The views of Sade are the views of Sade alone.
I can't stand black men that mock
I know what you're
black
gonna say.
women for comedy.
Yes!
It
Do they?
jars
No,
me.
they do. They love
don't pay
it.
It jars me.
They love it.
jars
Everything
me so
about their
much.
comedy is always
Enter Chris
mocking
Rock.
us. They will wear a wig.
Oh, I see
They
what
will
you
wear
mean.
a wig
Is
and
it
make their
like
content
everyone's
about
favorite
us.
Tyler Perry?
But that's the thing. No, not
Medea.
Who's favourite?
Everyone's favourite. Oh yeah, Black Power. Yeah,
That's the whole thing. That's what
There's
makes
a
the
difference
power,
between
like,
understanding what he's done and liking his films.
didn't
His
wanna put
films
a
are
dress on.
atrocious.
Yeah, but the films that everyone likes is what got him
Bro,
to
who's the
where
films
he-
that everyone likes? Because I remember watching
Medie's family reunion.
I remember watching Acrimony and I was like, nah. this is
I'm not
not
gonna
it.
lie. I didn't even realize Tyler Perry was a thing until recently.
When I watched,
Diary of a Mad Black Woman. That's Tyler Perry.
I only watched that like
I'm
last
Fall
year.
from
you know?
Grace. Is that
No,
Tyler
Fall
Perry?
from Grace.
My point exactly. My point
Grace
exactly.
was the worst shit I've watched.
No, Alex Cross. No, I
one
like
with the
Alex
wig?
Cross
Where
when
it
he.
kept
From
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. Is that?
No.
Is that?
No.
I think that is. I think that is Tyler Perry.
Go.
Welcome Home, Roscoe
I
Jenkins.
don't know what that is.
But yeah, his films are atrocious.
Never watched
The only
it.
one that I actually like is Why Did I Get Married? And Why Did I Get Married Too? I
Janet
forget
Jackson.
I
that's-
forget
Janet
that name.
Jackson in that is fucking
Yeah,
unreal.
that's your favourite film.
Unreal.
When she breaks down.
Oh my God.
And she's smashing up the house.
My tits were sweating because I was like, oh.
When she's smashing up the house.
You know when you feel like you're in something that you
Reality.
shouldn't be there? I need to get out of here. Like, I was like, oh yeah, it's only the TV. I had to remind myself.
I feel
she was brilliant in that.
That was a natural
That
thing.
was
So good.
crazy.
That was the Jermaine Dupri that
that's a
fucked her up,
good
and
film.
she had to, you know.
But yeah, how did we get to? Yeah, no, I love a
Men.
good Issa Rae.
Yeah, Issa Rae.
Like I just like.
I'm not excited.
I see her and I'm just like,
I really like her journey.
yeah, it's fantastic.
Maybe I don't know her journey. I just know Insecure.
Again, it's her
Because the other
journey.
film that she did with the Asian guy when she was.
That was terrible.
Oh yeah, that was.
Oh
terrible.
yeah.
That was
What was
terrible.
that called?
Honey,
Exact-
was
can't
it a
remember
honeymoon?
No.
They killed someone or something
photograph
like
was
By
yeah.
accident.
Yeah.
Driving a
Photograph
car.
You know what? I could have.
The
What is
photograph
that?
was
It
really
reminded me of
good.
last night. Is it last night?
What
Oh
was
no,
it?
night
I could have
school.
finished it.
No,
Kevin Hart and
With Tiffany
no, but I
Haddish.
hate Tiffany Haddish. And I don't use that word. I don't use that word a lot.
What?
I hate her.
Oh,
I hate her for several reasons, right? Yeah. So I think one, I don't like black women that
no,
insist
no,
on
no,
being
please.
caricatures of black women.
Yeah.
I think Tiffany Haddish really likes to play the fool.
She loves
And she
it.
plays it not that great. So I remember like when they were talking about Oscar So White and they asked the question. It's a very serious question, but you still want to act the jester. It irritated me.
yeah. What do you think of her in Girls Trip though? That was her like becoming.
That was
that's a
that was the
breakout.
beginning of me hating her.
Okay.
Then let me tell you why I doubled down on hating
Why
her.
are you passing me that way though?
Sorry, you did not.
Now let me tell you why I doubled down on hating her. Is when she became one of Shackle Bar's fruit disciples.
Oh,
Your
fuck.
boy.
Is when I
I'm
really
not
knew.
mentioning no names.
It's
Coin's
when I
name was
really
Fruit
knew-
Private, and I loved it.
No, it's when I really knew she was a moron because she doxed that doctor. They were talking about. She doxed that doctor and gave that doctor's details and was sending her
Oh, I
fans
remember.
to go and harass this doctor to the point that the doctor actually tried to commit suicide.
Oh yeah, Gina's friend.
Like, do you know what I mean? It was like, it was very like,
Whatever, man.
I don't mind if you're going to eat fruits and do whatever, but what you're not going to do is come up here and act like you have a medical degree or
And
any
then be
fucking
giving people,
sense
yeah.
and be giving people advice on
I was even
vaccines.
surprised when she started going out with what's his name.
Common. I was so disappointed.
I said,
in
brother,
Common.
what you did?
I was so because I think she's a moron. I hate her.
And I'm like,
I
what did
don't
you
use that word
see in
much.
her?
I don't
No,
like
what
her.
did you see in her? Honestly,
I
what
don't
did you
like
see in her?
I do not like Tiffany Haddish, and I've literally
I'm
Girl
not-
Trip started it. The Shaka Bars thing elevated it.
I'm not really
I
paying
think she's a
attention
moron.
since. To be fair, you said moron.
And I don't
one
use
of my
that word
favourite
that much.
words.
I don't
Moron.
use that word that much, but her. she's
I think
up
I'm
there.
going
I
to
think
add
there's
it
a
to my
place for her.
vocabulary.
I do.
Morons.
Really?
I do.
But you still got the same hairstyle, no?
Yeah, it irritates me. Do you know why it even irritates me? Because she is what I want. So, but I can't bring it to my fucking barber and say this is what I want.
Oh, okay.
Fucking hate her, bruv.
Get over it, man.
Wow.
No, as I said, the doctor thing for me, because I was like, as a black woman, you're putting another black woman in that position.
What did she do? Sorry.
So there was a time in Clubhouse, you know, like when the vaccines were being rolled out, and there was a whole lot of black doctors coming on Clubhouse and giving their time to be like, what are your questions? So there was one room that her and Shaka Bars had done, where it was like, no, eat fruits and and no, I'm in Ghana, I didn't take the yellow fever vaccine. You could just bribe someone and And then like she told the identity of the doctor where she worked and whatever, and was kind of just egging on her fans to kind of go and terrorize this doctor.
It also, sorry, can I
No,
just
go.
add to that? The thing that I have problem
Your
I
mic.
have with celebrities doing that stuff is that you have the means if it goes wrong or if it goes right,
shit hits
you can
the fan.
figure it out. A lot of people don't. And that's not even just financially. Health literacy doesn't allow you to go and fix whatever stupid problem that you put yourself in. Allow people to, this is the thing, make your own decisions. Don't be coaxed by the government. Really what they're saying is make your own decisions as long as it's the same as mine.
I was actually having this conversation in LA with one of my friends who's actually vegan, and we were having this conversation and I said,
bad idea.
That's actually what was, no, she was very understandable. I was like, actually, that's the problem that I have, because the underlying tone when people say to you, you have to watch, because someone's always trying to sell you something, right? Shaka bars. And the thing is, I admire the work.
Can you stop looking at me every time they say his name, please?
Oh yeah, when you're in that coat.
Hanging upside down from trees and shoe bars. It's like, funny, girl.
I admire the work he does in Africa, so I'm never going to take away from that, right? He does the work, he does whatever. But I think the problem is, I always, whenever someone's come to tell me something, government, anyone, I always look at what are they trying to sell me. So you are telling me I should eat fruit and you have a fruit company. I mean, it's not very hard for me to understand the rationale behind you telling me that I should have a diet based on fruit, right? Because you also want to make money. So that's what I found
in the
funny.
next breath, he'll tell you about the damaging effects of sugar.
So it's very odd. So I always have to look at
artificial sugar.
No, but even
fruit sugar
and selling
even fruit.
So what should you eat then?
Fruit is the
No, you should eat fruit, but it's
No,
about
that's
a balance.
no. That's not a problem. But that's what,
but
do you know what I mean?
saying?
It's like, please don't act like you're giving people
I think it's
this
the
information just for the sake of people giving people
complex
information.
that is
With everyone
presented.
and the capitalist life that we live, I understand that somebody's always trying to sell me something. A service, an opinion, something. So that the one thing that I also found very difficult in that time of Corona is, I didn't care whether you were pro-vaccine or no pro-vaccine. All I really cared about is make the decisions based on the information that you have and for
your
you.
personal circumstances.
Yeah, and not someone vilifying you. Yeah, sure.
Your mic.
Aye, sorry, it's just I was chewing.
It's because she's chewing.
So what I wanted to just add there was like, so I'm studying at the moment, and one of the modules is like, not even one of them, everything evidence-based practice, yeah? So you write all these things, you read all the evidence, so it could be research, it could be what the patient tells you, it could be anything, any information you have is considered evidence. But it has to be applicable to that specific circumstance. So whatever, even the vaccine, the same vaccine, for me it could be fine, and for, I'm not going to put it on anybody's name, but X, it could kill them. So you have to look at the whole picture. So when people say, don't take the vaccine, do take the vaccine, this and that, either way, it's like, it's crazy. Or not just the vaccine, but like any medical advice. And that's basically just backing up what you're saying. It's like, they're trying to sell you something. Can you just not say, read what the information is, consider your own circumstance, and that is the most important thing that I've really...
I'll never forget when you took me to Maynardville and made me run on that track.
Oh, you
Central London. Bro.
No, you were in there. You were in there.
That has to come out.
I loved it for you because I felt like you found a place of belonging.
No, but this was after. This was after. She tried to go back.
No, I liked it. No, she had a place to belong in. Because at that time, we weren't all in fitness like that.
Thank you. Do you know what it was, yeah? It was
Running
because
around in
basically... You need to stop it.
It wasn't the field, it was the train journey. That was killing me.
Maynardville.
It was the hanging.
Dusty.
It was the content.
Those dusty chairs.
Do you know what it was? Yeah. Like you said, it's not like I had like a group of friends who were like really invested.
Definitely that.
into fitness.
Which is what I was doing in your work clothes.
So, Sade's out of order because Sade DM'd me and was crying. And she was like,
live. You weren't even there live.
Yeah, it's because you don't even do normal press ups.
In the doorway, in your work.
She was levitating. She was levitating in that corridor.
Do you know what pissed me off?
In that corridor.
I said, the thing that pissed me off is you lot couldn't see. I was wearing a turtleneck, bro. It was a grey turtleneck and some stupid Topshop skirt. And you can see from the zip wasn't even in the middle
zip was
anymore.
deviated.
The skirt had moved.
Gina, you were that desperate to do content, you couldn't change.
And someone was like, who recorded that video for you? And it was Georgia. Georgia was like, do you not make Georgia laugh? She was like, Gina, I was watching all of this stuff saying, oh my gosh, I remember this. And she was like, do you know what? I remember another video that you done, yeah, but we were trying to get a picture, but she was like, you couldn't get the angle right and you were getting really frustrated. And she was like, she was in secondary school, innit?
No,
I was like,
you had to do what you told her.
I was dark. Listen, did you see my comment when I was like, instead of going on dates after work, this is what I was there doing.
Wait, was
when people say about have you ever been in a cult, you should raise your hand.
Do you know that was when I was a financial ombudsman, my dear? That's not that long ago. You said Dorothy Perkins, that was university, Beverly.
That was like 2014,
15, thank you. It was 14/15.
Gina was
Talking of dates.
calisthenics.
No.
What do you mean, nah?
No, I'm
No, she's
This
calisthenics.
one.
No, I thought you said talking of dates, and then immediately she said, nah.
Go on.
Have you heard of...
Oh, what is this the app you were talking about the other day?
What's that? Is
It's
it
called
Rich Men on
Thursday.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
As in
Don't know.
thirsty Thursdays or just.
Well, yeah, because the thing is with dating, you don't want to give up your Friday night because that could be actually spent with people you like and you don't know.
Getting digged down.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to marry him, but, you know, for now. And then, so Thursday is the dating. So there's this app called Thursday. My friend told me. And
Your
Your
friend.
this friend,
I've
she's
never heard of it.
She's
I've
done.
never seen it.
I'm joking. It's me. And
Shit, Sherlock.
and basically, like, you sign up and then you say, are you available this Thursday or not? And then it shows you like a list of events. Oh, there's something you'd like. So there would be like a Barry's boot camp.
Ooh.
And there might be like a rooftop bar
It's sad that they
setting.
think that that's what you're
No,
gonna do.
literally.
Yeah,
She
they don't
literally, that's
respect
something
you.
you'd like.
Yeah.
Barry's boot camp.
Yeah,
don't
Barry's
respect you
boot
at
camp, and they don't serve alcohol there, which was obviously, I was like, Thursday, I'm going out anyway. And then like different events, and you go there, and I say allegedly, everyone there's supposed to be single. And then it's like more of a chilled out vibe kind of
Bumping
thing.
into each other.
Yeah, oh, fancy seeing you here, you know, like that type of vibe. No? Okay.
No, I don't like men that much for me to be.
Yeah, I hear it.
Have you been before? To one
I
of
haven't
these?
been before. I'm trying to, enlist some.
That's one thing that I
Sounds like a
realised.
lot of
Why are
I
you
don't like
putting
men
to
that
me?
Would you not go?
to Barry's boot camp.
Wingman.
She should go.
No, but it wouldn't be bad.
No, I don't like men that much. to
I
be
ain't going
going
Barry's.
You know what?
on my
It's
way
the
of
fact
doing
that this
stuff.
week I've been asked by several people, are you on dating sites? And I'm just like, no.
People ask me
She's
all the
too
time.
famous for.
Why?
I don't think it's a famous thing.
No, Beverly.
When my
If Cubby's on
no,
dating
it's too
sites, you
much.
can be.
No. When people send me the screenshots of people that are out on dating sites, I'm like, you're married with 3 kids.
Yeah, I've seen a few people that married.
Do you see what I mean? And they won't tell you the truth.
My thing is,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's why I said
I don't
allegedly
want
single.
anyone to be like,
I saw
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I can't just cheat
No, it'll
on
be- it'll
him.
definitely
Yeah, but
be a
you know what
screenshot
you need to
saying,
say, okay, and
Yeah,
and then see what the
someone.
response is after that. Like, okay, so I was on a dating site. You
And
already
what?
know I'm single. Like,
Yeah,
what is it?
What next?
Don't
you
let
can
these
always
people
just
have you on
say
a fucking
someone else.
chokehold.
No, come on, man. Men are
Someone
not
just-
that worth to
What,
be.
No,
catfish?
just say,
Like
just
that.
say someone
What
else on your
but
profile.
I hear you.
Oh, yeah, to
Men
be
are
fair.
definitely not
Yeah.
worth losing
Yeah.
any reputation for, but
But
what about a
why is it
dating
why
site
would
that
she
makes
lose a
you lose your reputation?
Yeah.
Like, she's
this one-
already
this one is
openly
cool.
single.
You
The
know
problem
this
is
one.
the
You just don't
society
even know.
rather
Yeah,
than
you know the
anything
one is
else.
cool.
Come
Yeah, but
across.
anything that anybody can say to her, the response can be, and so, what are
Yeah.
they going to come
What
back with?
next?
No, fair enough.
I'm
you know
single,
what?
I'm
I'm
on a
just not
dating
as
site.
confident
She's not
as
gonna
you
do it. I don't
are.
know. But I'm sitting here knowing she ain't gonna do it.
No,
You
say.
No, I know she's not, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying the
Yeah.
theory
Just-
surrounding
if you
it
ever get
is...
caught out, or just
Catfished.
say, yeah, someone
So-
took my
To my thing,
yeah.
No,
It's-
but
it's
that's
alright, man, I'm alright.
adding
To be fair,
shame
that's a
to
good-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. With
Yeah,
dating
I'm just
sites,
trying
the
to
problem
find a
is,
working
I think,
solution.
yeah, I
I
think the problem
respect
is,
it.
if good
Working
people were on
solution.
there,
And I love
if
that
good people
about
were on
you.
there, I don't think there'd be much of a stigma.
Yeah,
But I feel like
100%.
all the good people have got married off, and then now it's just the dregs. of
Not
I can
every
attest to that,
single good
apart from
person
me,
is
obviously,
married.
because
No,
me, I'm
I'm
there.
saying the good people that were on the site.
Do you
And
know
I'm
what?
saying is
It's
there's
easier
still
for men
good
to
people.
find a nice woman.
Have you been on there?
No.
They don't tell me
where?
anything.
It's a fucking
about?
pit.
On
My,
Tinder and Hinge
my,
and whatever.
my brethren sent me the...
Bumble.
Now they got voice notes. It's ghetto.
But it's like, the other day I saw a picture, and one of the pictures was like some chicken on a plate, and I'm thinking...
Yeah, and they have really ridiculous pictures.
Yeah,
I thought
and you're like,
filtered through
if
that.
you're so fucking stupid that you're gonna put some fucking chicken wings not even thigh or, you know, on there. How can I even swipe in the correct direction?
Some people will do it.
It's mental. And
no
some people will.
I'm just going to start recycling my own niggas, man. I'm tired.
I'm extremely tired. And you know what I've come to terms with as well in my...
How did we get here?
Literally.
yeah. Viola and that, but... like...
I mean, yeah, maybe we should pray. She said she prayed for her.
So this is another thing, because the other thing she said she struggles with, or the two hardest things is forgiveness and faith. And that's something that I really struggle with. But like, everyone's gone quiet because I said I struggle with faith. But yeah,
because you're talking about
but my mum is a Christian and my dad's a complete atheist, thinks it's bullshit.
Really?
Yeah. And yet they still managed to.
My parents are the same.
Yeah. Who's the Christian?
My mum.
Yeah.
My dad, actually, to be fair, has been Buddhist for a while. He was Muslim for a little bit.
I love that. I'm not going to lie. I kind of love that for him. Be free, king.
Wait, that is the title of the episode. That is the title. Be free, king. That is the title.
Yeah,
That
no,
is
it's nothing.
But like, I struggle with it because I don't know, like science takes over sometimes and I'm like, but how? That, you know, why? My favourite question as a kid. But I keep losing my train of thought.
Viola praying for a man. Faith.
Yeah, so praying. So sometimes I think like maybe
You start praying for a man.
Well, not like for me to vocalize. I've been praying for a man. I can't tell anyone that. It's embarrassing.
She said it's off-brand.
Yeah, literally though. Let me pray for, you know, wellness for my family first.
I feel seen.
Yeah, literally. Like, let me pray for, you know, everything within me first before I start to pray for these outside entities. I couldn't imagine. But like, that really struck a chord with me. You know, when it's like, it makes you feel uncomfortable, like you move in your seat, because I thought, yeah, like literally, I've never heard anyone say it just so plainly like that. And it's interesting because my dad, he can quote Bible verses, he understands, because he's been raised in the church. It wasn't really a choice for him growing up. And my mum, obviously the same, she's a Christian, blah, blah, blah. But I've had the option of like, this is one, even my dad encouraged me to go to church as a kid with my mum because the morals, and I completely, that's something that I don't have, you know, that's not a struggle. It's clear, isn't it? And that's why in my head, I feel like that bit's the easy bit, but actually believing and understanding a lot of things I struggle with. And so when she said that thing about like
praying for the man that she got,
I was just like, hey, I was with you until this
have
point,
you tried?
sister.
Oh, sorry, you can't admit it.
No, I would admit it here, and no,
Whisper,
I haven't.
just whisper.
You haven't?
No, I'll be honest.
you know what?
Hands up, I haven't prayed for it.
Have you prayed for him?
I think, okay, so what I've done is I've written a list. I've written a list of all the characteristics that I want in the person. Because I've heard, why are you laughing?
Oh, God.
I'm not saying
can you
what,
share the list? I can share my list.
No.
Go on, share
But what
your
I'm
list.
saying is, by the way, we need to go soon because Brent's kicking us out. But what's it called?
He's asleep, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Is he asleep?
Think so.
He's tired, man.
Oh, sorry.
So,
It's
yeah.
been 4 hours.
Literally. Well, we got 8:30.
Sorry.
Wow, yeah, it's long. But yeah, so I've written like a list of all the characteristics that I want. And I see it as, it's the same with like my career goals and everything, right? If there's things that I want to achieve, I'm going to pray on it.
The thing is, I think it's different because it's
But I'm not-
human.
No, but when I say like, I don't pray for a human, but I'm saying there's certain things that I want to achieve in life, innit? And I want, so what the things I want to achieve in life?
No, in a man. One of the things on your list that you'd like to share.
I don't want to share my list.
I didn't say your list, just one thing.
Okay.
Oh, you wrote it down.
I've got a list.
Written, sorry.
What's my list?
Makes you laugh.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Mine is just to be...
Okay, mine's, okay, one of mine is... I can read my list, to be fair.
Yeah, come on, share your list. I'll share mine.
Is this of men? For men?
Yeah, so God-fearing, not just
Turn the
lip
brightness
service.
up so I can see from...
What did she say?
Turn the brightness You said your list before. I've heard it before. I'm sure. Yeah, I've heard it before.
I said, God fearing, not just lip service, prayerful, good communicator, good heart, honest, must worship the ground I walk on and be so in love with me. Listen, I need
100.
you to worship the ground I walk on and be so besotted with me.
Shiver when I walk in.
Literally, when I walk in the room,
My baby.
you're breaking the tongues, bro. Literally. Funny. There's asterisks on things that I read. Like I'm probably thinking that my best friend, attentive, affectionate, emotionally available, my biggest cheerleader, hardworking, driven, visionary, wealthy in finances, love and wisdom, attractive. I wrote Ghanaian preferably, but to be honest,
Can I ask you a question?
right
You know
now,
the wealthy in finance, forgive me. You just mean wealthy, but you wanted to try it. You wanted it to be.
She ain't thick.
Because I say the same. I want him to be generous.
Yeah,
but you know, I just want him to have money, nigga.
Yeah. Generous with the copious amounts of cash.
No, you know what it is, but I want you, when I say, yes, I want you to be wealthy in money and like wisdom. Like I want you to
Your mind needs to be
everything, man. Honestly, money is amazing, yes, but I don't want you to be rich and dumb.
No, I get that, but I feel like whenever
If you're
people
dumb
say
enough to
wealthy,
give it to me,
you don't
that's
say
okay.
wealthy instead of rich.
A lot of people
Yeah,
don't
you
say
just-
wealthy.
You just
Wealthy.
say rich.
you just
Yeah.
say, but and it's funny because then when you say wealthy, you then say, oh, but it's not just money; he has to be wealthy in all these things.
Yeah.
It's like no, I kind of the
But
rest
No,
of
but
the
then, but then if he is wealthy in just cash, what else?
well, no, the other part of her list is quite
Yeah.
It's quite.
Yeah.
So you don't need to tell me that bit.
For me,
I feel
money
like- I
is
feel like you
literally
do it-
so down on the far down on the list.
Oh, really? Mine's number one. Jack.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Do you know?
I
I
think we
always
know
tell
that
her,
about-
I'm just like, bro.
No,
You
I
just-
think
you have
I'm
to
not
compromise.
saying be poor.
Compromise on what?
I'm not saying be poor
Everybody wants a rich
or
nigga.
be a leech or anything
no, I don't
like
think
that.
everyone wants a rich nigga. I think
No,
people-
everyone does.
I think people want it in context of how much they make.
No, as in, no.
Do you know what?
As in, do you know
Or
why I
how
say that?
much
Because
they're able
I'm
to-
talking about the people that are around me now are on a level. When I say rich, I mean
Yeah,
rich
so in
in our.
context of what they make.
Yeah, as in but as in the quote unquote thing is like, well, I wasn't say 6 millionaire, for example. Like I met a girl, she's like, any guy that I date has to be a millionaire.
Okay, I think that's a bit because I don't hear women state that.
Yeah.
I always hear like either they have to
But
make
then
more,
what's-
Niggas,
they have to make
1%.
more, or
Well, I always
Yeah,
just
but
hear
then if
people
you
say they
earn
want
20
rich.
grand and someone and 30 grand and someone makes 30 grand, that's not rich.
no. But I always the thing is I don't hear a lot of women say my man has to be a millionaire.
No, but I hear them
Or
say
6
figures.
figures.
But I do
women
hear them
say-
say they want a guy with 6 figures, or
Yeah,
they say
yeah,
they
yeah.
want a
No,
guy
no,
to be
that's-
rich.
that's a-
100%. But in context to that,
Yeah.
that's a bit different because for me, if you're just making 6 figures, that's also if you just start making 6
So
figures.
that means you're not rich.
No, if you as a man are also
Yep.
just making 6 figures,
Yep.
that for me is actually the bottom.
No, but does that make that person not rich?
Wait, hold on.
No, it
wait.
doesn't. As in,
I processed it and then
Because she said wealthy.
Figures at the bottom.
you're basic,
My
okay?
face, my face literally was like that.
You're the
You just
1%.
give me-
no, but think about it, in the context of how much we make. If I was saying that I want a man to make more money than me,
Yeah.
if you're just making 6, we're making
You need
the
to
same
be
amount
rich,
of money.
rich.
But that's what I'm saying. So what is your rich?
So like
Can't argue
200,
that.
300.
So that's still 6 figures, but you're talking about
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. In context, that sometimes you have to watch. Sometimes you have to understand the context of the circles and
But
the
there's
conversations.
some people who are earning 20 grand and say they want a man to earn 200 grand.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not
It's
saying.
aspirational, and I don't think there's anything.
But
wrong with
also
that. Everyone
sit down.
has.
No, I'm not
I
saying
don't think
there's-
everyone's like that. I think it's just what's popular on social media. to be
That's what I'm saying. I
honest.
think it's very
And also, as well,
contextual.
I wish that people weren't condemned for that. If that's your preference, I think that's your preference.
No, 150%. But that's what I'm trying to say. With that comes a lot of things.
It does.
But
of
people
course.
don't think about the lot of things that it comes with.
What do you mean?
They want this person to always be, they want quality time as well as being rich. But if someone's earning 200, 300,000 grand, quality time may be reduced because they're still on that.
No,
But
but
what
I
I'm
think
saying,
that person understands the
But you've got
lifestyle.
so much money.
the
you don't-
person that
you can
earns
work
that
it
does,
out.
but not the person that's asking
I
for
think
it
I
all
think,
the time.
I think one thing that we need to stop doing as well is stop doing acting like women don't understand the conditions that come
Some
with the
don't.
lifestyle.
Some don't.
I think a lot of women understand because I have female friends who are
I think some
wealthy
people
men.
welcome it.
Yes.
I have
Stay
female
out my
friends who are
fucking
wealthy
way
men
and give me the
who are
fucking
actually
peas.
very okay with the conditions that they live
Honestly.
under.
No,
I think
and,
some
that's-
people
and you
do.
have to accept that. But what
Yeah,
I'm saying, some
dumb.
people don't accept it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think we have this narrative that women don't. And I think the reality is most women do understand and will accept the conditions that come with a wealthy man.
No, I've heard
Most
people,
women will
I've
know.
heard people say it.
Me
Honestly,
personally, I can't
but
accept them
like,
conditions.
Like if you're in love with someone,
Yep.
it's a very beautiful thing. It
Yep.
really is, kind of thing. Like treasure it.
She
All
said
of that.
yada yada yada.
Don't pay bills.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like if if you're dating, I've dated broke men.
Yeah.
A lot.
Sister's tired.
It's not easy, is it?
But what's painful about it?
Paying them.
She said, what's paper, but they don't have any money.
Apart from the money part.
No, that is the painful part.
Their self-esteem is wrapped up in that. And that's not necessarily coming from me, but it's just how they see themselves.
I feel like
But some
I've
people can have
dated men
200
like
grand and
that.
they're still insecure
Yeah.
and just be fucking other girls whilst you're still at home, chilling with your money.
It's too much.
I'm not even like anywhere near where I intend to be.
It's very funny when we villainize rich men and we make it seem like poor men, when actually most of our dating experiences have been with poor men.
Yes, it has.
I mean, I've not dated a...
No, that's what I'm saying. So,
Excuse me. No, radios. You have.
Whenever we characterize rich men, it's always very negative. Whereas,
because that's what we've seen.
No, we haven't.
When I was
Not
younger,
personally.
We haven't because we haven't dated rich men.
Not personally,
but
but
we haven't
when you
seen
look
it
at
at all.
basketballers or footballers and stuff, I'm saying.
I don't have a
always
dating
thought
history,
rich
so I
men
couldn't
came
tell
with
you.
arrogance. So
But
when
that
I was
behaviour-
younger,
no, but that
I
behaviour
avoided them.
of the
I
football
didn't
and
like
whatever
Yeah.
is still in the broke men.
150%.
So that's what I find it funny that
So
we
if you
always characterize the rich man as
But
the
like
villain.
I always say, pick your L and choose what you want to live with.
Yeah, and
If
we
you
don't want the poor L.
Yeah, and that's
Well, it depends. It depends because I think
I don't want the poor L.
Exactly.
I respect it
If he's rich,
because
he
you're
can
honest
still do
about it. But
whatever.
also,
That's
what I
So
say,
why would I take the
But why
poor
would you
L if
take
he's
the
going to
poor
do
version?
exactly the same thing as the rich man?
What I'm saying
just
is
don't
you
get
don't
it.
have to
It's
take
not
the
logical.
poor. You don't have to take the poor. But with the rich, I think comes just loads of more stuff. You
No,
can,
I disagree.
it's not more.
I
It's
completely
different.
disagree.
Yes,
I
it's
think,
different.
Yeah.
It's different, but I'd rather, be able to be picked
100%, but me,
rather
I'm
than
just not
having
there.
to get on the bus because you don't
Jesus.
have
Yeah, but
You
my
get on
dad
the
can
bus?
pick me up in it.
The
So
who?
I'm calm.
I'm calling my dad.
A lot of us haven't had.
Gina's trying to wrap us
A lot
up.
of us haven't had a lot of first-hand experience
Yeah.
of dating wealthy men for us to always characterize wealthy men in that way. Like, I've dated a few wealthy men, and I would say that the experience is probably the same as I had with.
No, 100%. If you've
men
got a
that
preference,
weren't
you might as well go with
I think, but
the whatever.
But because if we've already gone down the route of men are not socialized to be nice people, that doesn't change.
You're talking about pick the best of the bad.
Yeah, pick the best of
pick
the
your
bad.
L.
So you're going to be bad with the money and you're going to be bad without it.
the money.
Let me go and cry in the
It
Rolls
might be
Royce.
That's why I know
public
that
if
most
it's with the
women,
rich guy.
and that's why I feel like
It's a
most women
privilege,
already
but-
know that.
Yeah.
Most women know, like when I've dated men that have made way more money, I have understood they don't have that much time. So you actually make that time that you're with them count. You know, you understand, but you also understand that it also comes with something else. It comes with the wisdom of someone that's actually built something from zero to blah that can actually talk to you about that type of stuff. Or they've excelled, you know, because I've dated athletes and whatever. So they've
they had to be
excelled
excellent
at
instead
what
of
they've done. And that
mediocre.
comes with experience.
There you go.
That comes with the wisdom. That comes with something else that may not also be as tangible when you're dating someone who's on that grind. Because when you're both on that grind, you're both dealing with egos. You're both dealing with, this is tough. You're both dealing with that.
But
I'm not there. Honestly, I can't take the stress. I'm not there.
No, the thing is, I think, like you said, everyone you can pick.
You can pick the best of the bad.
Yeah.
They're all
I think
quote unquote bad, so you just pick the best of the bad bunch.
Just pick
but
whatever
just not
your
there.
heart can handle in it, and what won't put you in an early grave. To be honest, with you.
what's available to you?
Yeah.
That's another important
and
factor.
to be fair, and I do agree with you in terms of some women do need to be honest with the context of where they are, because actually, again, and maybe Cara, because I don't know you, so I can't, I don't want to like talk on your experience. But the circles that we roll in, it's not that hard for us to be around wealthy
100%,
people.
and I wouldn't want to be with any of them.
No, not in that way, but at least you have access to it.
Yeah.
There are a lot of women out there that have access to nothing, none of them,
Yep.
and they're just hoping on a prayer and a wind that they'll see a wealthy person.
I was in
And-
clubhouse rooms. They just go to hotels or they buy flights in business class. and
Yeah,
just
so
bump
it's
into
different.
them and
It's
then-
different when we're having conversations because we know the rooms that we're in, we know the people that we're in. So you actually know that actually you may have access.
Yeah.
And also, and rich, sometimes, as I said, sometimes you have to talk to people from a contextual point of view.
What
That
do you
rich-
consider rich,
What do you
firstly?
consider rich? Because if you're a nurse on £30,000, for example, rich to them might be 60, 70.
Or
If
it
you're
might
a-
not be though. That's the thing.
No, yeah, it might. I'm not saying it.
No, but I'm saying a nurse or any anybody, it could, my rich, even if I'm on £5 a year,
It's still
could
100K
still,
a millionaire.
it could still be the same kind of rich,
and
but I still, there's still room for me not to value it.
But the threshold is a little bit lower.
Not necessarily though.
No, what I'm saying is if you're a woman that's earning 200, 300, men below that are not, if you're saying you want someone to make more or less, you're Paul Smith.
But more or less is different to
I want a rich man.
or wealthy.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes we should contextualize this conversation and asking them, what is your rich?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? It's like, what is your rich? What is your wealthy? What is that?
Yeah. I just
because
think
some people see it different.
Yes, they do, and I agree with that. I completely agree with that. But I also think that depending on, millions of things, other factors, you can make maybe it's a conscious decision, maybe it isn't, to say, okay, actually, whilst the money is important and all these things, yeah, of course, all of us would like more money. Most people would like more money. But you
said everybody.
Yeah, exactly. But I would rather be
happy,
mediocre in terms of salary and with a man that all of those other characteristics than a man that was a millionaire and, treated me like shit or
again,
all of those kind of things.
That we always characterize rich men as the negative. And
no, I'm not.
That's why
just,
the conversation's always this polar opposite thing.
Of course, if you could, no, but that's what I'm saying. It's not, because I'm saying, of course, if the money was like, of course, over everything, if you could have the perfect guy and he was either rich or poor, you'd be stupid to choose the perfect guy who was poor. But if you could have one or the other, I'm going to choose, for me, the money side of things, I'd rather live on. And also, I think the same P word that we've been talking about, privilege, is that I feel fairly comfortable in my own situation, that I don't need to rely on, I'm doing a certain thing of my own. And it's not like huge, but I'm happy. So that is enough for me to decide. If someone can join me in that happiness, I'd take that over someone who's going to come and give me a motherfucking headache and be rich. I know what you're saying.
Let's treat it extreme then. Let's say you meet a guy that's earning 20K.
Guys.
Also.
If you've got the right.
And he's a right guy and he's a great guy, and then there's a millionaire who's a dickhead.
I'm going to go with the guy who's making 20 grand. And I mean that.
Happiness.
Oh, wow.
Fair enough.
A millionaire who's going to treat me like shit. I don't think so.
I'm not there.
No,
I'm not
I can
there.
have a little boyfriend on the side.
I'm not there.
I'm just saying, there's options, man.
Yeah, there's
But
always
I'm not gonna,
there's
because
always
a guy with
options.
say, so
20 grand can
polygamy?
still be a
But
dickhead.
that's the thing though, you don't actually have to marry him, but you're going to because he's got the money.
But if you're
And that's why
genuinely
people
happy in that
Always
situation, I fucking respect it
No,
and go
I
for
know,
it.
and I hear it. And as I said, I know girls that date wealthy men that are not happy. They've understood the
assignment,
the payoff. Yeah, they've understood the payoff. They understand it comes with a gift. They understand all of that, and I'm fine for them. But the thing is, I do agree with the sentiment. I just think sometimes we have this conversation.
It's cute. She said it's cute.
No.
Rich men are
But
always
we
seen
always
as a
villainize
negative.
the rich men, and then and I think it's a bit.
But then it's also the same, because people that have met rich men maybe haven't treated their significant others or wives.
And let's not forget, there's poor men out there acting like absolute trash.
But we've had a lot more examples of poor men for that.
Soften every blow, innit?
I think it just
when
helps.
you watch TV,
but you watch TV, that's not personally.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I said,
very
if it
far
was-
removed.
they were
But
both on par,
we can
I'm
name
obviously gonna choose
10
the
of
man
our
with P.
friends who have dated men that weren't making that much money, who we were paying for these niggas. We were buying shit for them. We were lending them money. And we were still like, yeah, I love him.
Boy.
Well, ladies, it has been an absolute pleasure.
Not tonight, ladies.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
The title should actually be Done Tonight.
Do me a favour, yeah?
Song of the week.
So everyone has got a song of the week. We're not going to play it, but if you can pick your song of the week and send it to me,
Okay.
then that would be great.
I know mine.
So yeah, just all send me a WhatsApp and tell me your songs of the week. You don't need to play it. Thank you very much.
Is that universal?
I think it is actually.
But yeah, let's quickly do an outro, yeah? Because we haven't done one of these in time. So let's see if we
I am.
Let's see if we can actually do it.
What?
Literally, Sade's
Teach
gonna
me.
be.
So you have to say somebody else that you've been.
No, I want to see if she gets it.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool.
Already told her.
So I have been Mrs. I don't care if he's gonna treat me like shit, and he's a millionaire. I got a little boyfriend on the side, so it's all right. And I'm a cheat on my man if he cheats on me.
Oh, I'm cheating.
Christel.
Oh.
I have been mediocrity is not an option because we excellent over here. Sade.
I have been quote unquote many shit, but I still want to get married and have kids. And my mum and dad are good people in my life, and I'm privileged to have them in my life. Kahra.
I have been I packed certain shoes to my hammy and didn't understand. Didn't understand how I didn't make it in.
I didn't understand the assignment.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm actually done.
Gina.
I have been. Oh God. Oh God.
This is so easy. You could literally throw her. My daddy still drive me to work.
Oh, yeah.
It's me.
I have been.
Not anymore.
I'm daddy's little princess.
Literally.
Indeed.
I can see both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why.
Tell me why.
Beverly.
And we are out. Peace.